The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
We walk out! We walk out! Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this glorious Trenches Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. This program starts now.
Football!
It's what we're talking about all day, and it is going to be a glorious thing, but it's not just football today. There's stories coming out of all the sports worlds that we're going to have to dive in as we look ahead to Week 13 of the NFL season, as we look ahead to the championship weekend for college football. Woo. There's great things on the horizon, and today is going to be an absolute blast. College football playoff rankings, the new ones, came out last night, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, with Reese and every human that covers college football except for me and Desmond Howard pretty much seemingly at ESPN. It's a great show. I love watching it. Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State are the first four in right now before or as we head into championship weekend. And then the one-loss teams battle it out from there all the way down to Kansas State cracking in to the top 25 and Liberty at 24. Congrats to them.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk to the General Bob Carpenter at about 2:05 to see where his ranking looks versus the CFP's ranking. He had Ohio State at number one since week 0
That's right.
of this particular college football season. They lose to Michigan in the way that they do. How will that look? For the General's rankings, we shall see. We have Mike Elco joining us today.
Go. Okay.
Yeah, new head coach of Texas A&M. Saw him arms like this at a press conference. We were all with. It looked like they're all the way in down there. He's formerly a defensive coordinator at Texas A&M, so he knows the lay of the land. Big brain guy, went to an Ivy League school, I believe Penn, played safety there, has been incredibly successful everywhere he goes. His latest stint at Duke brought them some national prominence for a football standpoint. I think if he has the backing of a school that'll pay $77 million for a coach to leave to potentially pay some NIL guys, I'll be excited to see what Elco does down there. And JJ White will join us in about an hour and 9 minutes. It's not just them, though. It's obviously the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You were wearing a sloth on your shirt yesterday. You said it was a meerkat.
Yeah, I realized that about halfway through the show yesterday because I don't remember ordering a meerkat. I actually don't really know what a meerkat is, but yeah, that's just classic sloth. I should have known that the sloth had such a interesting face, you could say.
I appreciate and love every elephant shirt that you wear in here because the elephant is my favorite animal at this standpoint.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is the first time I've worn this one. I only have 2 elephant shirts. Try and save them.
You have what I was told via text message that there's 15 new shirts coming right down the pipe.
Look, I got a couple that I don't even know when I want to wear them because they're so nice.
Oh, they're big days.
Yeah, they are so nice. There are a couple in there that have definitely rose to the top 3 power rankings. If college football playoff released their rankings, there'd be 4 new teams up there because of the shirts that just came through the wire. Some light blues, a lot of colors, some dark blues. Zito actually found a shirt for me as well. Perfect Eagle shirt. Probably would have been nice to have on Sunday, but I also had a Sunday Eagle shirt on and completely forgot about it.
Well, the elephant's going to be good anytime. I can't wait for Super Bowl Radio Row whenever we're out there. What you're going to be wearing on those days, make sure you bring it. And your Toxic Table compadre here has a big one this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
As the number 16th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Michigan Wolverines in the Big Ten Championship. Yesterday, you gave a final score prediction of 14-10. The Iowa Hawkeyes beat the Michigan Wolverines.
Yep.
We will do that every single day. Not at this exact point. Okay. Just get a little temperature check on how you're feeling about the game and any news or insight that you're learning about. How'd you wake up this morning knowing that the Iowa Hawkeyes are playing in the Big Ten Championship this weekend?
Unbelievable, per usual. Once again, we kind of talked about this yesterday. You wake up at this time of the year, and it's really dark out, and it's very easy to be like, you know what?
Today sucks.
I want to get back in bed. It's cold as shit. Nothing's going my way. But I said, what was that I hear outside? I heard a hawk squawking.
No way.
Not even kidding. Heard a hawk squawking outside my window. I said, wow, that's a good sign. That's a good omen for this.
I didn't hear any Wolverines. Did you hear a Wolverine doing anything?
Funny enough, I didn't.
I haven't heard a single Wolverine one time outside my house.
I've never even seen a Wolverine. So, you take that whichever way you want. But yeah, I'd say the omen, the temperature check, very high. It may have said, 22 degrees outside. I woke up feeling like it was 95 and sunny.
Oh.
It just, and then you look at, that thing doesn't exist. That's not a real animal.
That's a Wolverine.
That's not real.
That's a Wolverine. I do believe a hawk, the hawks that I've seen, and I think maybe a hawk that you heard squawk this morning, would come down, pick that son of a bitch up, and fly off with it.
Yeah, or rip it in two.
no.
Rip it in two.
I'm telling you, these hawks and these eagles flying around,
Oh, yeah.
they're humans in the sky.
They are.
And they're menaces.
Yeah, they are. Mean.
They will grab something, and they'll just like throw it off a wall.
Oh, yeah.
These
dogs.
birds. Like they will throw.
They'll do it to dogs.
They will take people's pets.
Why would
keep
you say
it
that?
out of the sky.
Because
on the
it
pets. You don't
happens.
need to do that. But there's
dogs.
the side of my house happens to be near a lake. I do well, thank you. So these hawks though, they'll grab these fish, big, nice eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Big fish,
Right.
Okay? Big ones. They'll just throw it off the side of my house, and then they'll watch it fall, and then they'll go pick it up. And they'll throw it off they're smart, they're like sophisticated.
Very much
Like,
so.
all right, well, how do we kill this fish? Well, just take it out of the water. Yeah, but we need to do this quicker. Throw it off a damn wall. They just start chucking it off the side of my house. Have to get the side of the house cleaned 3 times a week during the summer because of what these birds are doing to these fish. I'm telling you, these hawks, I don't know about the dumb one he heard this morning squawking.
Oh, no.
Maybe keep it down, Ty's trying to sleep. But the hawks are the real deal. I don't know what that Wolverine could do right there.
Did you see what that Wolverine did to Eddie George? You haven't seen the commercial?
In the Heisman commercial, I have. I
I've
have.
not
It
seen
is pretty violent. The
Eddie's
Wolverine.
265 to
I was
270.
gonna say,
Yeah.
I think Eddie might be putting on for the camera. I think if he wanted to, Eddie could rip that Wolverine's head off. Throw it on the grill. And
You're saying Eddie's Fugazi in that commercial?
no, I'm just saying Eddie gets it. Heisman House commercial. He's got to play the part. He's got to.
How do we feel about those Heisman House commercials? I think more Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
More RG3 working out in front, talking to himself.
Also more Kyler.
Like that.
Yep.
A little bit more Kyler.
Maybe a
Where's
little more
Cam?
bake.
Huh?
Where's Cam?
Yeah, was Cam turning those down?
Got to be. Big
Must be.
personality. I mean,
Manziel, did he get a
Holy
big?
hell, Eddie George got his ass beat by a Wolverine. I take back everything I said about those little baby-ass hawks beating up birds.
No. We both know. A lot of people hunt for fun. Like, hey, it's fun. Let's go out and sit out in a field all day for 18 hours and drink a bunch of Busch Lights and sit in a tree stand and maybe come back and not even see anything. Hawks hunt to kill, okay? They're not out there trying to have fun. Hey, me and my buddies are going to go fly around and throw some fish off it. We're hunting to kill, okay? We're hunting to stay alive.
Yeah, it's not a good time when they're throwing that fish off the side of my house.
Exactly.
They're not laughing and squawking.
No.
That's a necessity.
Survival.
Big time championship weekend this weekend.
Huge.
You guys are ranked 16th. What if you get a big time win over Michigan? Nobody thinks it can happen.
Nobody thinks it can happen. And I'm trying not to go to this place, but part of me is thinking, hey, this team beat Minnesota. Like they did. That was horseshit. They got screwed over. But what if the Hawks are 11-1?
Whole different conversation.
Are
Are they top 10?
Are they top 10? And then if they somehow do the unthinkable and beat Michigan,
They can't do that, right?
everyone's saying it. I don't know. Can they? We'll see. But if that were to happen, are they in a Florida State situation where nobody wants to let those pesky Hawks in, but you might just have to?
9-year NFL vet sitting in once again for one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs. Tone.
Miss you,
See you
Tone.
soon, Tone.
Go.
Tone is alive.
Yep.
Tone is well-ler than he was earlier in the week.
That's right.
Love that.
So that's good. Trending in the right direction. T's and P's to our guy, Tone, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know if he's back ranching or not. The cowboy went back to the ranch. I
would hope.
What he's up to. But we certainly miss you, Tone. I wonder what weight Tone's going to be when he comes back. Remember, like half of them disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
165 maybe.
He might be.
Might be shorter.
The guy might be a GQ model on the way back. We don't know.
Yeah.
Change.
Last time we saw him miss extended days for a sickness, he came back with a cowboy hat on.
Yep.
Because he watched Yellowstone.
Correct.
And he became Kevin Costner.
Yes.
His gambling record went through the roof.
That's whenever Hammer Dahn actually started, because he was sent to a COVID cave. You remember whenever we were all doing that? When you get COVID and you're isolated from your own family.
Sure.
He was isolated from his own family. That's whenever he really hit his zenith, sports gambling.
Yeah.
He was like just reading through the books, doing that whole thing, watching Yellowstone, gambling, watching Yellowstone. He came back as a cowboy, and we started a sports gambling show daily off of that.
Yeah.
What will come from this one? maybe a modeling career. Have you seen him as of late?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the jawline's coming in.
Very svelte.
And under that hat, nobody gets to see it. The hair is
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
blooming.
Yeah.
It is really coming into its own out there. I'm excited to see this next Tone that comes up. We miss you, Tone.
Miss you, Tony.
But it's been awesome to have you sitting over there, D-Bud, to be honest with you. I've enjoyed it a lot.
It's been good. It's been fun.
High chair over there. You look down on some people?
It's good. The best part about here is I don't have to worry about my penis being exposed when I sit there and shot.
Good Lord, Darius. It is Wednesday.
Joining us now is a man who's
I don't
sitting
need to worry about that
sitting
either.
in the
Got a
seat.
better angle.
In
For
the
different
exposed area, I guess. I did not know that was.
Yeah,
You
watch
had
out
to
for
work
mirrors.
on that, I guess.
See
Jeez
the
Louise.
dimensions. I saw the dimensions a few times.
Why are you sitting like that? You haven't sat like that ever. What is your problem? Ladies and gentlemen,
Put your stack of
Coach
dimes
in the
away.
trenches, 12-year NFL lineman, coach, Super Bowl champion, sitting in an incredible unprofessional position.
Showing off his trenches.
AQ Shipley.
I don't see it.
I mean, you know.
Why?
AQ,
Why does?
it's a little different with Darius.
Yeah,
than
why
you.
is that?
I think it's.
You know why?
I do.
We all know why. Let's move along. The college football playoff conversation, though, is a real one. If Iowa was to pull that off, 23.5-point dogs in Indianapolis, boy, that would throw the Selection Sunday into quite a tizzy.
Yeah.
'Cause what does that mean for everything else? Who knows? Louisville, FSU down there, lower right corner of the ACC championship. All eyes are on that one. There's a lot of people around the country pulling for Brom.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of
Big
people
time.
around the country. And you know what? I've actually come the complete opposite way. Yeah. Put Florida State in
Get
there.
him in.
Wow.
Get him in there.
Okay.
You know what? Why not? Because this is how it's been through the entire college football playoff. So it's the last year having to pick 4 teams, which is dumb to begin with. Yeah, we got Power 5 conferences, only 4 spots, so not even every champion can make it in. So that was just stupid from the beginning. We were not a part of college football whenever that decision was made. So we would like to point out how dumb that was. People say putting me on game day was dumb. I agree. They made a 4-team playoff with Power 5. That was dumb as well. Dumb decisions have been made for a long time here in college football. And I think if you hear Herbie talk, Kirk Herbstreit has to call these games.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have to. Gets to. He knows that he gets to call it. We saw his ass in the booth this past weekend. He loves it.
Oh, yes.
That dude is a little kid whenever it comes to football, but he's at all these games, experiencing all these games. His happiness in life is affected by these decisions that are being made by College Football Committee. Once again, he's lucky to do that. But you hear him go, are we talking deserving or best? Because I'm sick of being told that it's the best teams when it's clearly just the most deserving teams. And if it's going to be just the most deserving teams, just tell us that instead of saying we're looking for the 4 best teams, because that's not how it goes. And anytime you go against deserving versus best, deserving, ACC champion who goes undefeated, that's a Power 5 conference. National champion just a couple of years ago came out of that conference. You don't think they deserve to be in a college football playoff? You're crazy, which makes sense. And anybody can kind of grandstand on that and sit on that. But I think what the conversation was when they moved away from the BCS was we want the best teams in there.
Yes.
Not just necessarily teams that we want the best teams. We want to be able to find out who the best teams are. You have to play yourself into a group or a pool. And once we get into the pool, who are the best teams that are in there? And Herbstreit said, just tell the truth then. Just tell the truth then. If it's the most deserving, say it. If it's supposed to be the best, though, we need to have a little bit more conversation. I think that's kind of where Herbie has lived. In the Florida State team, people do not think they're the best.
No,
they
not at
do
all.
not think they're the best. And if you go through their schedule, it's not their fault that the teams that they beat weren't good at football. They scheduled LSU as their first game. They were not scared in the beginning of their season when most people are playing nobodies to take on an SEC powerhouse in LSU, especially with Brian Kelly with a couple years with his family down there. They're all the way bought in and built in. So it's not their fault. But you go through their resume, not a lot of good wins in there.
No.
Okay? Not a lot of good wins in there. But then you start looking at the other teams that are maybe getting promoted to be ahead of them, like if Oregon beats Washington on Friday. Oregon doesn't have a lot of good ones either.
No.
You know, you go through Oregon's schedule, and I did that this morning for the first time in like 2-3 weeks. Here's the teams that they beat. Okay, here are the teams that Oregon has beat. Portland State was a big one.
Big one.
Yeah.
In Portland?
81-7.
Okay.
They
Big
beat
win.
them. They started really hot.
Yeah.
Close.
You know what I mean? They started really hot. Once again, I like the Oregon football team.
Yes.
I am a big fan of the Oregon football team. I like Dan Lanning. I love that Bo Nix came back to do exactly what he's doing right now. I appreciate everything they got. But whenever you start talking about resumes, it's like, well, which one do we? Then it's got to go to eye test then, I guess. Portland State, Texas Tech, 38-30. That was a dogfight. Hawaii, they beat 55-10. Colorado, 42-6. We all remember when Dan Lanning said, this game ain't played in Hollywood. It's played on turf. And then they released that, and then all of a sudden, public ass beating.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a call your shot type game, Babe Ruth type situation for Dan Lanning, and I appreciate that he did it. I don't think at the time a lot of people were necessarily as receptive to the move, but they beat Colorado. Then they beat Stanford 42-6. Then they lose to Washington in Washington, an incredible game, and obviously everybody remembers the fourth down in which they go for it, and then Penix and Adunze do what they've done to everybody pretty much, and they come back and win that thing. And then Washington State is a win. Okay. Beginning of the year, Washington State had a great story, had good stuff going. Then they rattle off 5 straight losses. I'm just telling you the facts. That's all I'm saying right there.
How many straight?
5 straight.
Oh.
Gump.
They were hot start to the season. I wonder what changed after they won those games at the start.
Well, it did seem like there's a lot of negativity from both sides. We're happy. Hey, let's go Wazoo.
Yep.
There we go, Wazoo.
QB is transferring probably.
Cam Ward, they're going to get a couple of $1 million, I guess, to go somewhere else. Why don't you come to West Virginia, pal? Utah, that's a big-time win.
In Utah.
At the time.
That's a big-time win at the time. Now Utah is no longer ranked, so it is, at the time, going to be judged. Cal, K, USC, K, Arizona State, K. Then he beat the hell out of Oregon State. That's a massive win.
Yeah.
So whenever you start comparing like who has the most amount of wins and like good wins, it's tough to kind of dive into it all. So then it all goes to eye test. So then you're expecting a group of people to agree on 4 teams to look the best. I have no idea how this has been where we are, but I cannot wait to give my takes on Saturday. Because I guess, selection committee meets on Sunday. There's a chance they're going to be watching game day. I'm going to have some thoughts on who passes this eye test, these eye tests. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy about it. But the Florida State people, they're going to be the loudest if this entire thing happens. You know who has no chance of making it?
Who's that?
Penn State.
No chance.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No
You know
chance.
what the good news is, though?
What's that, pal? Top 10.
Top 10 and, a dominant win over Michigan State, Foxy. Dominant win.
That means nothing, AQ. This is the worst Michigan State team I've ever seen in my entire lifetime.
But it is very fascinating how the last year of this college football playoff is going to be the loudest.
Yeah.
And then next year's 12 teams, and they put out what the 12 team would look like.
Oh.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
It is awesome. But remember, next year when it's 12 teams, we're going to be pumped for like 1 year, and then like 2-3 years from now, we're going to be like, they can't even get to 12 teams right.
Yeah.
It's just like a never-ending chase in pursuit of perfection. But if this was next year, shout out to Ross Dellinger for doing this. If this was, I think he's Sports Illustrated.
He might be.
They're in.
He might be.
They're in.
Is he in it? Is he?
I think.
He's Ian Rappaport's friend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're
correct.
boys. He has
How do
his
they know
wife.
each other?
They when Rapshi was at Mississippi State reporting on that team early in his career, that's where they met, hung out, and in Rapsheet's phone, Dellinger's wife is under the contact 6. That's what he told us.
What?
All true.
That's accurate.
That
All
is
true.
Very
No
true.
hyperbole. That is exactly what was told.
I did not expect that. I apologize. No, actually, I think it was all talked about on the show.
On the
was.
show.
So
It
congrats to all parties there.
Right.
Nice job.
And Ross does not work for Sports Illustrated. He's a real human. He works for Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports.
That's a real place.
You know, yeah, it is. They're actually having a resurgence. I think they're hiring people.
Okay.
Which is real people.
Let's go.
Chuck Robinson's still there?
Yes.
Still there.
He's one of the pillars
Yeah,
of
he's
that
got
place.
Yahoo tatted on his chest, Gump.
I think Yahoo got one of the former ESPN guys that was either in digital or social is now running Yahoo Sports. I think they're trying to make like a
Oma.
little bit of a run, I think. Fitz works over there.
Really?
Yeah. The
Oh.
Who's that?
Fitz-
Van Perry.
Yeah, violinist.
Flitz. Jason.
Fiddler, right?
Yes.
Jason Fitz?
Fiddler
Yeah.
on the Roof.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This guy.
Jason Fitz, formerly ESPN?
Yeah.
Raider fan?
There
Yeah.
it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He is at Yahoo as well with Ross. Anyways, big thanks to Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports for putting this thing out there. It would be sick if this was next year. In Penn State, Texas, what a game that would be.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a fantastic one, just kind of get this entire thing off. Also, home games for all these people.
So cool.
So that first round would be home games. So we get another chance to experience, college football's atmospheres. And then whenever you go into the bigger bowls now, it's kind of building up these bowl games as well back in there. And they're kind of rotating them, I think, through. And then we have semis and national championship. It's like we're 1 year away from that. And I know that means nothing to all the teams that are going to seemingly get screwed this year. But just know that the future of college football is very bright, very awesome, and I think very electrifying.
Do you think that we are also looking at more possible problems? Because just looking at this right here, right? Let's say Bama loses to Georgia. Is that going to be a conversation now? They move, an 8 seed or a 9 seed out of the top 12 because they lose their conference championship?
And Tulane is still in because they're the Power 6 Group of 6 champion or whatever, highest ranked Group of 6 champion.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a real thing.
Yeah, it's going to be muddy at points.
Especially because there's no longer a Power 5.
Yeah,
true.
Right?
And they would get in, or they wouldn't get in, but Ole Miss would, and they beat Ole Miss. But because they lose to Georgia, they don't get in the top 12.
Yeah, so I hope they actually are getting into that right now because we're about a year away from it. But all I know is Selection Sunday. I think there's a 4-hour show on ESPN.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about this show from every person that's part of it pretty much, being like, you joining us? You joining us Sunday? Huh? Got a good 4 hours. Selection, we're talking about it all the bowl games.
Okay.
I'm like, I haven't been asked. Well, consider this an invitation. I'm like, oh,
okay.
Thank you, Kirk. Oh, Reese, thank you. I don't think that's what anybody wants. We want it. Oh, well, no.
Sure.
No, thank you. 4 hours they're talking on Sunday.
It's a long time.
That's a lot of talking.
That makes sense. Hour for each team that gets in, break down everything about them and kind of, what to expect moving forward.
I think they're breaking down every bowl.
Oh, poinsettia, and
I think every single one.
Duke Mayo?
I don't know. It's on an NFL Sunday as well, which is wild to think about. I told them, boys, I'll be keeping up. I'll be watching the clips. I'll be doing the whole thing. But yeah, I think they break down every bowl that happens.
It's awesome.
Got to have a take.
A lot of bowls.
All right, let's move to some NFL conversation here in this glorious Trenches Wednesday. Houston Texans, obviously playing much better football than any of us could have imagined with a rookie quarterback, number 2 overall pick, who David Tepper, owner of the number 1 overall pick, said we're supposed to get.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have number 2 overall pick, and we're supposed to have C.J. Stroud. Love Bryce Young, okay? We all thought but we weren't supposed to go to 1 ever. We were supposed to be at number 2 this whole time. We're supposed to get C.J. Stroud. We need more David Tepper, by the way. I want to let everybody know that we feel the owner of the Carolina Panthers speaking is good for sports media. This is what he had to say about the whole situation on draft night and where the Panthers were.
No, it's been reported, and we talked about it. Originally, we were going to go to the number 2 pick, and we thought we would get CJ because we thought the Texans were going to pick Bryce. And listen, we preferred Bryce. He was our number 1 pick. We had a lot of conviction. But in answer to your questions, it's just not the way the process was done. The process was done the way the process was done.
Of course.
And again, even though if there was a process with 5 people in the room and the way the votes came in, it was Frank was the first choice. I always could veto that choice. And even if it was Bryce and the votes came in unanimously in this particular case, I could have vetoed that choice. In both cases, I supported both choices. Okay? I'm just going to say that I supported both choices. I supported the coaches. I supported the scouts, their unanimous opinion. And I supported Frank Reich. So whatever's good, bad, or indifferent is ultimately because the buck stops here. And I take full responsibility for everything.
Go back into
but that's the way
leadership
the process runs.
Go to leadership
And just
quotes.
one last thing, and then we're going to go here. As far as Bryce Young is concerned, I cannot say this, for myself, and I think everybody in this building would share this sentiment. We are totally confident in that pick. Okay, I think the people that made that pick first, would be totally confident in that. Some of them you could ask. Okay. And I think and for me, I'm totally confident in agreeing with that pick.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, David Tepper.
Thank you, Dave.
He just wanted to let his people know there was a time we were supposed to have CJ, but you were watching what's going on, so am I. Okay, I'm seeing what's happening. I thought that's where we were going to be. Instead, it's on how the deal goes. And we end up giving away 7 picks and our number 1 wide receiver in this entire thing to go up to number 1 to get Bryce Young. And let me reiterate, fully confident
Yeah.
in Bryce Young, but we didn't think we had a chance to go get him until we had to go get him. But C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback down in Houston, rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans, what's he going to do? Well, they've been dominant. They've been awesome. They lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars this past weekend, but I think they've outplayed any projections or predictions that anybody could have had for the dumpster fire that was the Texans organization about 12 to 15 months ago, if you recall everything that was cooking there. Now, big time blow here. And AQ, it's great that you're here. Titus Howard, Texans stud right tackle, out for the year. What does this mean, AQ Shipley? This guy is a stud. He is a stallion. And the Houston Texans at the beginning of the year had a banged-up offensive line, right? But they've been protecting CJ well. Losing Titus, what's that mean, AQ?
Yeah, it's a huge blow. They were a mess at the beginning of the year. They had a lot of guys out, and they finally got healthy over the last couple weeks. They finally got everybody back. This guy is a stud. He's an absolute stud. I mean, they have their two bookends with him and Tunsil, and they were CJ was looking so good. The Texans were looking so good. Huge blow. Who knows where they go from here? But, I mean, we've talked about it. One guy makes a huge difference on the offense.
Yeah, because if you don't have the right guy that fills in there, you're looking for the synergy. And if you got to bring another guy, it's like a potential revolving door on who's the guy there.
Yeah, and even if he's just a little bit off, now we got to get chip help. And what's chip help do? Now you get one less guy out in the routes. And, you know, it could affect the entire offense.
Yeah, and losing offensive lineman, no fun, especially when your quarterback's an absolute stallion. So, Titus, T's and peace, pal.
Good luck, Titus.
Good luck, Titus.
You know what CJ will do?
What's that?
Not even blink.
Nope.
This dude's unbelievable.
So good.
Now, I'm seeing Jalen Hurts. I didn't know he's a sex symbol.
Oh, yeah.
He
Big
is.
time.
People are saying Jalen Hurts is a sex symbol. That's why I did not know that until a video of him at the Sixers game hit the internet, where it was seen by a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And the women that were quote tweeting the tweet were like, they were thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
There were some thirsty tweets going out about Jalen Hurts. And as I'm reading them, I'm like, good for you, Jalen.
Well.
Okay, good for you, Jalen. And then there were some other quote tweets from dudes. A lot of hating assholes.
Yeah, they don't like him.
A lot of haters of Jalen Hurts. I did not know that was the case just because he's too perfect is what people were saying now.
I had no idea. I thought Jalen Hurts was kind of like the epitome of what people want in a human being. And yes, he's a stud, but also just the way he carries himself. We see him on the sideline, doesn't blink, doesn't react to anything. But boy, a lot of people are pretty pissed that, you know, hey, I kind of look like Jalen Hurts, and people thought I was good looking. But then once Jalen Hurts came around, now everyone says I look like an ugly Jalen Hurts. There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of those type of comments that, like, I'm a poor man's Jalen Hurts. This guy ruined my life. It's a bummer, but yeah, people don't like him on, you know, the male side of the Twitter.
Yeah, it's just because, you know, hate and envy and things like that.
Sure.
And I would like to say, Jalen, congrats on getting to this point where, you know, seemingly every lady would do whatever if she could. Single lady
On X.
on
Yes.
X on it that I saw.
Yes.
It was only a few million people that responded to this.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good focus group that you can kind of judge. I did not know people were just, you know, like that. And then the dudes saying what the dudes are saying.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother story that I didn't even added wrinkle. Like, oh, he's good at football.
Yeah.
Oh, he's super strong.
Yep.
Oh, he's the richest guy in the league. Oh, he doesn't lose at all. Oh, and he's incredibly handsome. Like that's just all the pieces
Yeah.
of why he's hated. But Jalen Hurts is always like this.
Yep.
Feels like CJ's the exact same way. They lose a tackle. This rookie is seemingly never, ever blinked. I love the way he plays football. Houston's still in a great spot.
Still in a great spot. As long as you got CJ there, and obviously offensive line is important. We saw how different the San Fran overline was when Trent Williams was out. You know, good thing they still have Laramie Tunsil, who's right in that conversation with Trent, in my opinion. I know AQ,
No doubt.
his opinion matters more. But, yeah, I mean, I think that would be all right for sure.
CJ's a dog, dude.
Absolute dog.
Did we know Jalen was a sex symbol? I don't think I was paying attention enough. Did you know that?
I knew it. I saw it in the I seen it on X.
It was starting
on Instagram. It's been like that for a while. I would say coming into this year. He had some GQ stuff, shoots, had I think he signed the Jordan deal. Obviously, incredible success on the field and became the highest paid player.
Hulu.
Oh, and then he also has the full female management team.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was
I remember the full female management team. Like, this is God's gift.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right.
Oh yeah,
Good for Jalen, dude.
Great for him.
Winning.
Yeah, tough for him on X. It is some of my favorite internet. It really has been since football season started.
No, but X doesn't matter. Remember?
Yeah, well, no, X is a terrible place that you should never go on, even though it is the most.
It runs the internet.
Yes,
X runs the internet.
it's the greatest platform.
You know why people are paying $46 billion to buy X? Because it runs the internet. It runs the narrative on the internet. That's just how it is. Now, there's decisions that have been made by people at the top of that place.
Yep.
to quote tweet things that should not be out there.
Yeah, using tough words.
We agree. That is not good. But also, X runs the narratives on the internet. It's just how it is. It's how it always will be. It's so damn important to everything. And the Jalen narrative, I would like it to change. I would like people to be happy that we have Jalen Hurts and that there's somebody out there that is as handsome as he is and as successful, hardworking, humble, seemingly great teammate. We need to keep that guy in good graces as opposed to just absolutely killing him. Some of the tweets I saw were some of the best crafted hate tweets that I've seen in a long time.
D1.
D1 hater.
D1, you just got a new D1 hater.
Congratulations to you, pal. I love everything about it. Let's talk a little bit about Tyreek Hill, shall we, down there in Miami. I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks in-season Miami Dolphins from last night. Now, episode 2 debuted last night, and I think it was documenting Jalen Phillips' Achilles tear. Gumpy, big-time Dolphins fans following along.
Yeah, the whole thing was basically Jalen Phillips tearing his Achilles, and then a lot of Jalen Ramsey, too. Actually, hearing him talk a lot was very cool.
Okay, sweet. He was also in the first one because he gets 2 picks, obviously, in the game that they're covering against the Raiders, and Jalen does his thing, gets game ball, that whole thing. But whenever you listen and watch how that team operates from that Hard Knocks episode 1, it's like they got a tight group down there. And I don't know who this Campanile guy is, this New York Italian, seemingly, defensive coach. He gave a speech that could have ended 4 to 5 different times. And it just kept getting better and better, talking about his family and a burglar or somebody taking his family. And that's the type of pursuit that we need to have if somebody's stealing it. And then we're going to kick their ass. Nobody talks to my kids that way. Nobody takes our family. And you see, like, I'm laughing my ass off while I'm watching it, hoping this guy lose his mind. And then they show Tyreek like, like laughing at him. And the closeness of that group is an incredible thing. McDaniel's leadership is something I've never seen before. The way he talks, the way he acts, the way he does anything. I would assume most people, if you were to ask 10 years ago, showed a video of McDaniel, is this guy a good NFL coach? A lot of people would say, nobody takes that guy serious. Everybody does. This dude's brilliant out there. Legitimately, McDaniel. I know you're a massive fan of what he does. He's going to be on In the Trenches later, I believe.
Absolutely.
But what do you see from the Miami Dolphins team and from McDaniel that maybe says this is different than anywhere else?
Yeah, the one thing, we talked about this earlier, he takes plays that everybody else runs, but he adds a couple things to it. It's like one of those things when you go into these game plan meetings, everybody comes with ideas. They saw something on a college tape. They saw something on a high school tape. They saw something somewhere. And it's like, hey, let's do that. And every coach is like, we can't do that. He does it. He takes things.
Why do they say no? Too risky?
Yeah, it's too risky, and it takes a ton of practice. It takes a ton, and we see it on Hard Knock. We see it all the time with him showing their ability on Wednesday and how much effort and planning goes into it and all that stuff, right? You have to put 10 times the amount of effort to add new wrinkles, to add new plays, to add new little things, and you'll see it later on In the Trenches. He does what everybody else does. It's one play, but you just switch the assignment to 2 guys. And it makes a whole different play.
And the motion that they have is just something that nobody's done before. The timing of their motion, and it's all very obvious that they have to practice it. And on Hard Knocks, McDaniel actually chatted with Tua because I guess at the beginning of the season, Tua would get very upset on a Wednesday if he forgot a motion or if he forgot a little wrinkle to a play that it was. And McDaniel basically said to him, hey, you're doing good at controlling your anger whenever you forget something. He said at the beginning of the season, you'd be upset, but now it's just like one, and then you move on. I didn't even think about how smart Tua has to be.
Yeah.
All those motions that are happening, everything, right before he has to remember the cadence, by the way. Right before he's doing the cadence, he's setting a guy in motion. Normally, that's already done way before that, and it's off and running. They are a well-oiled machine, but that machine has so many added pieces that I don't think we've ever seen before. Go ahead.
You mentioned it yesterday with Kyle, obviously come from the Shanahan tree, that snap we had with Purdy. Like that motion being right there, right before the snap. Like Miami does a lot of that. And then when you have a weapon like Tyreek and he's running full speed across, obviously he's going to be the key of the coverage on the back end. You got him shifting in motion. That's just an extra headache that not only you have to obviously play against, but even practicing. Like that's something you try to practice and try to emulate throughout the week, and it's tough.
Practices are awesome to watch on Hard Knocks. Here's Tyreek talking about this Miami Dolphins team yesterday on CBS Sports Golazo, Destination Miami. I believe this is Inter Miami. Gumpy, what is this? This is a soccer show?
CBS Sports Galazzo with Thierry Henry and Micah Richards. He used to play for Man City, I believe.
And is that that's Clint?
Yeah.
Clint Dempsey right there?
Yeah, he's on that show as well.
Okay, let's make sure we're paying respect to Clint Dempsey whenever he's on the set.
Thank you.
Okay, Gump, I know you're from Canada, but that's our rapping, goal-scoring, trailblazing doe from Texas, Clint Dempsey. So Tyreek Hill stopped by a soccer show yesterday. He was asked about the team and if they can go on a run. Gives a great answer.
Tyreek, do you think you can go all the way?
All the way to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Of course, man.
Nice
we got the perfect team to do it. You know, the way our head coach prepares us each and every week, man, it's next level. And he keeps each and every one of his guys in tune with the game plan and how we keep attention to detail each and every week. So it's a beautiful thing to see. Like the way we practice, like the way we play for one another is something that I've never seen before in a team. Like I won a Super Bowl, and I feel like this is probably the better team than when we won a Super Bowl back when I was on KC. Obviously, man. So, but all we got to do though is we got to come out. Obviously, we got to practice, we got to prepare, and we got to make sure we show up on game day. You feel me? Like,
Yeah, I know.
It can look good on paper, but we obviously got to get it done on Sundays.
On Hard Knocks, episode 1, Tyreek talked about giving up a lot of things in his life to be fully committed, and he just got married, obviously, to his fiance, and seems like he's become the perfect leader for them.
Yeah.
What do you think whenever he says something like that about the Kansas City Chiefs team? He's talking about on paper, or what do you think he's talking about?
I mean, been around the guys practicing, and Andy Reid, everybody knows who he is as a leader, as a coach. Everybody loves, I feel like all the guys that I know that have played for him, loved playing for him. And you hear a lot of that with Mike McDaniel. But Tyreek has been kind of singing these praises since he got there, even talking about Tua. I remember some comments came out, I think, from his podcast saying that he was more accurate than Patrick Mahomes, and all the people obviously, took like, oh, he's taking shots. That's not true. And then you see Tua go out and have the seasons now back-to-back that he's been having. So you have a quarterback like that, you have weapons, and it's very unconventional. Now, can it go on and win a championship? We'll see. I hope so, obviously. But and Tyreek obviously, buys in. He's one of their biggest personalities, their best talents. You get guys back. Losing Phillips is big, but you have other guys that can step up.
Yeah, Van Ginkel, right? He's going to have to be the guy that steps up there, Gumpy, for Jalen Phillips?
Yeah, he was at a barbecue at Bradley Chubb's house on Hard Knocks yesterday. Pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah? How was he quiet? Guy in the corner?
He said about 10 words.
Electrifying?
Oh, yeah. Backwards hat. Looked awesome.
That baby Ginky.
Guy you could have a beer with,
Hey, Jason Pierre-Paul, too. Jason Pierre-Paul just signed down there.
Signed from the Saints practice squad. Did we know that he was on the Saints practice squad? That feels like something we should have talked about because of who Jason Pierre-Paul is. Him getting that in there, who knows what's left on the tires. I hope he goes and kills it. I'm very excited for him to get back down to South Florida. That looked beautiful, by the way.
Oh, yeah, gorgeous.
Would be really a shame, to live in Miami and win a Super Bowl down there.
That'd stink.
That would be a real bummer to have to go live down there. Now, I don't know how people do it. I go down there, immediately go to vacation mode, can't stay focused, can't do anything.
Sure.
That's why you got to keep me out of those warm weather climates for most of the year because I will get nothing done. I don't get, yeah.
Let's go to the beach.
Why not have a little cocktail?
Nice out.
Yeah, why? Like you living in Arizona? Dangerous play if I was to do that. And we all know Tyreek, though, incredibly confident guy, hardworking guy. What do you say? He want to be a porn star when he's done? You know what
he did, yes. Yeah. So
loves the line of
work.
work.
That was before he got married.
About 3 weeks ago.
I was going to say it was a couple weeks before he got married. So.
And maybe he was just talking his shit. You know what I mean? Just
could have been
letting people know
it's a job.
It's
a job.
Hey, a lot of people make a lot of money on there. It's crazy what's going on.
He could easily be, porn's next new stud. He could win that award easy at the PAs.
What's the PA?
Porn awards.
Is that what they're called?
AVNs.
There it is. I knew it had
Too quick. Too quick in the back there. You're married too. What's going on?
Yeah, whoa, Nick, jeez.
That was unbelievable.
A lot of years of research.
Yeah. It's in Vegas. I don't know how I know that, but it's in Vegas.
Nick and AQ are kind of like the Warren Sharp of the porn world. They kind of know, they write a book about it. They're very invested. They know the new things, the new designs that people are using in their offense, if you will.
Oh, yeah, you got little wrinkles being added this year at the AVNs, boys?
Hopefully not too many.
It's really
Shanahan back
it's
there.
really Tone's world, and we're kind of disciples underneath his empire.
Hey, Tone, we miss you. Tone would have shined right now.
Hopefully he doesn't come back from the cave with something like that knowledge under his belt.
You almost said something in there. All right, speaking of another quarterback that we absolutely love, and we're not 100% sure if he's going to get in the porn world. I don't think that is anywhere near his future, but maybe another Super Bowl is. Russell Wilson is speaking about the turnaround about the Denver Broncos this year. But if you recall what he said whenever they were 1-3, he's just speaking from the heart and speaking from the book of Russell Wilson. This is this is Russell Wilson way back earlier in the year when we were all killing him.
Yeah.
And this is Russell Wilson now. This guy's never changing for nothing.
It's gonna be a great season. I still believe. We still believe. We believe. We don't keep believing. So that's what we're gonna do. We just believed. We believe. And when we got that win, it was a tough game. We were struggling in the first half, and then we just kind of took over, and that's when the belief really started happening. And I think the biggest thing is we've played some really great teams.
Hell yeah! So this is him calling back from the book of Russell. If you remember, whenever we were 1-3, all we needed to do was believe. Now, what is different? Well, we believed is what we did. They bought in. Do you believe in the Denver Broncos?
I'm a big fan of what they're doing. They've changed the way that they play football up front, especially. I mean, their offensive line is doing a great job. They're running the ball. They got good schemes. Sean's doing a great job scheming it up right now.
So you believe in the Denver Broncos?
I like what they're doing.
At 1-3, did you believe?
Nope.
See, that's the issue. When Russell Wilson speaks, we got to listen. That's what I just learned right there.
For sure.
Russell Wilson's, during this 5-game win streak, they're obviously have won 5 since the moment he said we got to believe. 202 total yards per game, 8 touchdowns, 71.6 completion percentage, 109.5 rating. Broncos are 6-5, are in the playoff hunt, and everybody said they were going to be dead. Remember, Sean Payton called out Nathaniel Hackett in the offseason. Nathaniel Hackett was head coach for the Broncos for 1 year. It did not go well. Russell Wilson had his worst year of his career by far. Then they started terribly, and Russell Wilson did not look great, and the offense was not there. And then flashes of old Russ started coming out. He got back in the kitchen and started cooking. They started running the ball a little bit more. They started protecting a little bit better. Cortland Sutton started making plays looking like Ty Lockett, and all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, Sean Payton is a good coach. Russell Wilson is good at football, and that Denver Broncos defense, what it looked like at the beginning of the season when it was giving up 70 to the Miami Dolphins, vastly different looks like what they looked like last year whenever they were a great D. D-Butt, I ask you, do you believe in Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, good football team. And Russ has been playing good football all season long, even when they weren't winning. Honestly, his numbers were pretty good. It was defensively, it was kind of a shit show over there. And to your point, they turned things around. Number 1 in turnover margin, talked about that yesterday, plus 13 in the last 5 weeks. Also, number 2 in the league in points per game during that stretch, 16 points per game. And then number 5 in the league on third down conversions on defense.
Why were they so terrible at the beginning? Vance Joseph and them were just speaking 2 different languages? I mean, they look like nothing like what they were supposed to look like.
Sometimes you just got to get smacked in the mouth. You got to get embarrassed sometimes. And 70 points, that's a generational embarrassment.
Yeah.
And guys, you got to look. And they've had talented guys over there. Obviously, Kareem's down, but Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain, the best corner in the league probably. McMillan has been making plays in the slot since he's been in there. Young guys up front. Obviously, you get rid of Gregory. You give those guys an opportunity. It's been a team effort. You got to respect when guys kind of look themselves in the mirror and flip the switch, and they definitely done that on both sides of the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, Vance Joseph. I remember they were talking about the rumors were flying behind us. They're going to get rid of Vance.
Yeah.
They're going to because he's got too much talent there, and they are playing very bad. Remember they were saying Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
And by they, I mean people were like telling me, like, hey, Rex Ryan's going to get approached to be the Denver Broncos defense coordinator. And that owner over there, the Waltons, the Walmart family, they got enough money to pay him head coaching money to be a defense coordinator over there. They're just going to want people to win. Now, whole different ball game. Now it's like, this is Vance's defense. Vance is doing his thing. They're playing great football. Sean Payton's got the offense rolling. Good for Denver, because you're in Patrick Mahomes' division.
Yeah, you are.
You know, so I'm happy that you're kind of doing this thing. Now, on the defense side of the ball, there's obviously a conversation happening for Defense Player of the Year. Is it going to be TJ Watt, or is it going to be Myles Garrett, who can just take games over? Well, let's listen to what Mike Tomlin had to say, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, about TJ Watt and how he feels about him.
TJ is the best defensive player on the planet.
Okay.
Right now. And he proves that week in and week out with the plays that he delivers us. I get a bird's eye view of it. I see the lifts that people go through to minimize his impact on the game. I know the type of games that we've been in, close ball games, and you know how that at times minimizes a guy that plays his position's ability to impact the game. None of those things slow down the train that we all know is coming.
Okay, so Mike Tomlin's weighing in. Obviously, Mike Tomlin is a massive piece of TJ Watt's success. I would assume TJ would say that. But then you start thinking like, Myles Garrett, pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, Avery.
We agree. We love Myles Garrett.
Yes.
We actually said they should put a statue of Myles Garrett in Canton and say, like, yeah, this exists in the NFL. We don't know what your league has, but we know we got one of these. Do you have one of these? Oh, and by the way, windmill dunks.
Yeah.
Whenever, whatever it needs. This is what a football player can look like and does look like. Welcome to the NFL. We've said that. There's stats coming out now, though. Hey, and I'm not a big, hey, stats mean everything guy. TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, 31-24 whenever it comes to solo tackles. 13.5 sacks, 13 sacks. 3 forced fumbles versus 4. Ooh, Myles Garrett take the lead there. Fumble recovered. Interceptions, touchdowns, tackle for loss, QB hits, you name it, right? And JJ's going to come on here in about 20 minutes and probably echo a lot of these particular sentiments. But this doesn't get chatted about, mostly because the convo about the Pittsburgh Steelers was how goddamn terrible Matt Canada was as an offensive coordinator. I didn't know those stats were real. I actually, whenever I saw him, I'm like, can we get another look at this thing?
Yeah, make sure it's real.
Because whenever I saw Myles Garrett play against Colts, it's like Myles Garrett took that game over. And I know TJ does the same exact thing, but they didn't have an offense that was anywhere near not being the conversation of, is TJ able to do it? I like that Mike Tomlin went to bat, and I like that we're seeing these stats.
It just seems like when guys are generational talents like TJ Watt is, there's just an expectation that he's supposed to do that every year. Because I always think about some of the years Rodgers had when he was with the Packers. He'd throw 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but he's nowhere near the MVP conversation because by his standards, that wasn't a great year. And he came on the show and said, hey, down years were career years for other guys. I feel like it's kind of similar with TJ. He just does this stuff year in, year out, and it's kind of just the expectation. If he doesn't have 15 or more sacks, you're almost saying oh, wow, is TJ losing a step? He didn't quite have the year he had last year. And then also, he's had the injuries and stuff like that. But it's when he plays and when he is healthy, he's going to have this kind of year every single year.
And they should block the guy, AQ. Yeah, all right, offensive line, you should block the guy. Maybe you should put a hand on TJ Watt, potentially, AJ or AQ.
Not sure what they're doing there. Really not sure what they're doing there.
Well, maybe it was maybe Browning said let him through.
No,
Sunshine.
Exactly.
Remember at Titans?
Try and flip him.
Hey, let TJ let the ball through. Maybe that's what he said, and Browning just didn't know. You bring up Aaron Rodgers. We got some breaking news on Aaron Rodgers. The New York Jets have opened the practice window for quarterback Aaron Rodgers' return.
Whoa.
Now, that's a 21-day window, I do believe. We've seen it around the NFL already this year with Kyler Murray. I believe Justin Jefferson had his open, and it's the next step in returning from IR, and this is all very new in the NFL. It used to be you go in IR, you're done forever. Then there was a couple people that were allowed to come back early. Now it's just kind of this is how it is in the NFL, which is a much better place. We think we all agree with that it is a much better place so you can come back from it. So 21 days to go into a practice. If Aaron Rodgers accomplishes this, and he could have told us this yesterday.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
He could have told us this
That was
yesterday.
the first thought.
He's always been, pretty, maybe. Remember that one week he said, no real progression. Then he was doing 4 or 5 step dropbacks a couple of days later. So he's sandbagging us as well as the rest of the world. And Greg Doyle's not happy about it. The Indy Star. But this is bananas. And if the Jets are still in it, and he's healthy enough to come back, and he was to play football again this year, it'd be a story that people would talk about forever, I think, AQ Shipley.
That would be the most insane thing ever. I mean, I've watched guys get Achilles injuries. They are terrible injuries. And they take so much time to recover. And
we're worried about him the next year.
11
worried about him the next year. And we're 3 months?
11 weeks. He said tomorrow's 11 weeks from surgery or whatever.
I mean, the fact that he's going to be on a practice field this week is crazy.
No, we don't know if he'll be on. He's got 3 weeks.
Oh, they just opened it?
Yeah, and numerous players have gone through these 3 weeks and not got on the field. Justin Jefferson, actually, after the window closed, they designated him back going into their bye week just now today. Shout out to the Vikings getting Justin Jefferson back.
Huge.
He's activated from injured reserve today. So I don't know what the practice window necessarily means. Maybe they just want to be able to test people on the field. You got 21 days to kind of test them, and then they're able to bring them back even if it's not in that window. So
they have to put them back on the roster, all right? Activate them?
I don't know, because that Justin Jefferson thing made it seem like
his window closed a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did they put him on and then just have him inactive, and then now he'll be active this week? I think you don't have to make a designation after that 21-day window?
I do not know. Honestly, I do not know. Very new. Yeah. But I will say this. Aaron said yesterday, he said that he hopes that what he's doing will give people more confidence to try the surgery that he did in the rehab that he did. Because I think this is potential. Now, when we start talking about science on this show, people love it.
Oh, yeah.
They take.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Modern Medicine. Okay, I'm Pat McAfee. I'll be your host today. I believe this particular surgery has been around, but I assume that there's been a lot of people that haven't trusted it. So it's like, nah, there's no reason to rush an Achilles. This is a devastating injury. Don't do this. From the way it sounded with Aaron yesterday, he's hoping that others will see what he's been able to accomplish in 11 weeks with this Elytros surgery that I think is a very aggressive type surgery to get back, to heal the Achilles in the rehab and recovery of it all. I think he is trying to prove that, yeah, it might have been a little risky, but also this doesn't need to be 11 months. It could be 11 weeks instead of 11 months, which is absolutely bananas. And that would change sports medicine going forward. That would be not just on this continent, by the way, soccer players, anybody that this happens to, it'll be a whole new world. You think about the ACL. The ACL used to be like, hey, it's over.
Yeah, death sentence.
And then science, medicine, doctors want to work, and it's like, okay, they have the ACL figured out now. People are coming back stronger after ACLs, which is great news for everybody in sports and everybody in the world. It's like the Achilles seemed to be this thing that was just always going to be a killer, always going to be a killer. You're out for at least a year, maybe the next year as well. You're never going to come back the same because the Achilles is something we don't understand, and whenever it rips, could have for no reason.
Yep.
Can I strengthen it? That's what they... So is it just going to tear and I won't? Maybe. Can I strengthen it? We don't know. How come it's always non-contact? We don't know. But we know you're out for about 12 months. It's like, damn, that is a very aggressive thing that happened here in 2020, 2021, 2022.
Right.
And now here we are with Aaron saying, nah, it doesn't have to be that way. We can change it. There's a lot of people hoping that Aaron has success whenever he gets back on the field. But if he gets back and it's not good, boy, they are going to be in his face about the science and what it's, we're hoping that's not the case. This is a game changer for everybody.
For sure. And that's why you just hope that the Jets can kind of just hang on because it really is. Like, if they lose their next 2 games, like, I get it, and that would be sweet for him to come back and play before, anyone else has ever come back and do this. But it's like, is it really worth it? Because at that point, they're already thinking, hey, now next year is what this year was supposed to be. We're going all in. They'll actually have a high draft pick too, so they'll be able to get someone else. Like, I just hope they're not in a situation where, because we all know he wants to get back really bad, but I hope it's not a situation where they're 4-11 or whatever, and he's like, well, you know what? I've done all this. I've kind of put everything I have into this. I might as well come back early, kind of just to prove that it can be done.
So D-Butt was right. So they have 21 days to activate them. And if they do not activate them onto the roster, then they go on the IR for the rest of the year.
Okay.
So basically saying in the next 3 weeks, we'll make a decision on what Aaron's going to be or what he's not going to be. Now, could you just have him be on the 53 or whatever it is and still not healthy? Yes. I think that's what they did to Justin Jefferson for a little bit there. And then they've activated him. So here we go. We got 3 weeks now. That would be 14 weeks after surgery whenever this 21 days is up. And if he's able to come back and the Jets are somehow in it.
Yeah,
that's a big somehow.
It's impossible.
That's a big somehow.
It's not happening. I'm sorry. Aaron, I think, could come back and play at this point for sure. Definitely possible. They're not going to be in it in 2 weeks.
Speaking of returning and being back, Bobby Petrino's back at Arkansas.
Yes.
Bobby Petrino.
Yes.
We know Bob from Louisville and the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
That went really well. And then he went over to Arkansas, and that ended in crash and burn.
Yeah.
On face.
Yep.
Neck.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
You bet.
Public.
Yeah.
Situation.
Right. Loaded good guy.
Yep. I don't know.
There he is.
That may have been a bit facetious, but
this is how it ended.
Yep.
Okay. He would be let go of his duties just a few days after this whole situation took place publicly.
Yeah, I was going to say Sugar Bowl. That's good.
Yeah, it was a good team. And that was not from a football incident. Okay. We just want to let you know that was not in the locker room.
Not turf burns.
It was not. Yeah, he was not running sprints in his face.
No.
He was on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, he wasn't laying on a motorcycle. He's doing his thing out there in Arkansas. Boom, bang, pow, how you doing? Now here we are, 2023. He's going back to be offensive coordinator. And this was Petrino's messaging on X. Rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. Ryan Mallett, obviously a legend from Arkansas, ended up at Arkansas after transferring out of Michigan to go back to Arkansas. We had a chance to hang out, have a few beers with Ryan Mallett in Arkansas with John Daly performing a song. It was the most Arkansas night of all time. It was awesome. The world will miss Ryan Mallett and has missed it. And Bobby Petrino goes, it's you and me, 15. Proud to be coming home. Now let's bring the Hogs a championship. Hashtag, Pig Suey! I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Pumped.
I didn't think he would ever go back to Arkansas.
No.
That just feels like as a human, you would not want to return. But he's like, I got unfinished business back there.
Right.
I got to finish that motorcycle ride.
Yep.
I got to take this team to the top. And he's doing it with a guy who I would assume had a lot of respect for him. So maybe we need to change the way we view Petrino because we have respect for Ryan Mallett. Ryan Mallett, obviously, Bobby Petrino would not put that up if he and Ryan Mallett did not have a good relationship, right?
I hope. I mean, noted good guy is how we.
Yeah, maybe.
Jeez Louise!
Could be a baby face.
Yeah,
easy
I was
move.
going to say, you're not going to get a whole lot of people hating on that tweet there.
You don't think Ryan Mallett's family would be like, excuse me, asshole, this ain't how this is going to go.
Yeah,
you don't think that would happen?
Maybe, but he could say, oh, no, you don't know. Me and Ryan were tighter than, any of you guys were with him. I was, his favorite coach ever. Ask him.
Anyways, Petrino's going back to Arkansas, and it was a good moment there with Ryan Mallett. We appreciate Ryan Mallett. Dude had a hose.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute hose.
Yeah.
So tall. Do you remember how tall he was in that Arkansas bar? He was so tall. Had no idea he was going to be there. And then we got there, it was like, we're in Arkansas. Of course, every human from Arkansas is here.
Mm-hmm.
That place was awesome. Absolutely packed out.
He towered over that crowd, too.
A week before, we were in New York City. I wore a tank top right into the bar that we went to in New York City. All good. Arkansas, not allowed in with tank top.
Interesting.
What?
Not allowed in.
Not here.
It was awesome.
I would not be
There was like dust running down the street.
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed rolling down the thing. There's like 2 bars in the place.
They had some biker wars going on. They didn't want to know. Pat may have been affiliated with the sleeveless.
Yeah, so you're going to put sleeves on in this bar. And I was like, first time I've heard that. I just want to let you know, first time I've heard that, respect it. I went and bought a Jake Owen, what color green? Turquoise? No.
Neon?
No, he has
Surf.
Who?
Surf green?
Whatever.
It's like an ocean.
I provided Jake Owens with a XL and a double XL green shirt that I seafoam green
That was it.
shirt that I wore, and we had the night of our life. I looked like a mark walking around that bar. His shirt was too small. Did the whole thing, and we got boozed up pretty heavily out there.
Hell yeah.
Then I ended up on Jake Owens' bus with his guitar, and I was promptly kicked off that bus.
What?
I was playing one song for about 45 minutes. It's the only one I know. What do you want? I was hoping to get signed to his label.
Good
Jake
song?
Owens, good guy, huh?
Good song?
Batman.
Yeah, great song.
So, it's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I know, And then I think I was a little boozed up. I forgot I had just played it maybe 10 seconds before that. And I was like, listen to this one.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I thought you could do the other one, too.
I had a great time. Yeah, it might have been.
There it is.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
About 3:30 a.m. Just got done with a golf outing at John Daly's golf course, and then a full concert. And then this guy's got to deal with me with his guitar that he just had on stage.
Yeah.
Listen to me shred this thing. What a night. I love Arkansas. I hope Bobby Petrino wins.
Me too.
I hope he does. And I hope Ryan Mallett gets a damn statue out there. And John Daly, we miss you, pal. He was at DJ Khaled's birthday party.
Yeah. What?
John Daly.
Kidding me?
He was at DJ Khaled's birthday party, yeah.
Sweet.
Nick has slept at John Daly's house twice.
Mm-hmm. Cooked me chicken. It was a real treat. Thank you, John.
Was it good?
Yes.
Was it good?
I got to ask.
I watched him smoke maybe 67 straight cigarettes.
Yeah.
One of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life.
He's
Then
a
a
hero.
gallon of chocolate milk.
He's a hero in those communities for us.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He grew up in a dry county. Nobody knows that. But they got all of the beer in the state in their garages. Dry counties are actually just, each house is a bar.
Yep.
That's what I learned. And boy, we try to drink them dry as well. Hour 2, we'll be on the other side with J.J. Watt, A.J. Hawk, and more. See you then.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel, the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margherita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnakovsky. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram. Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's going to kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
Once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like a joke. You look like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake.
Just fucking bad man puts marbles in plastic case.
You need a guma, my friend.
You guys aren't listening. This right here, AI gave to me a nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. This guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show.
What?
But because I'm gonna blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out, that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble. Hell yeah.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Trenches Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, hour 2 of the program starts, and now football is happening, okay, all around your faces. You just got to look for it. The talk table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Nice elephant on his chest today. The petty remembering of everything animal that we have come to love has made another great presence on this particular program.
Yeah, elephants, I think they're a fan favorite. Like, everybody loves elephants. I think you ask anybody, they should be in everyone's top 5.
Circus is coming to town here in Indianapolis.
Really?
No animals.
So
no clowns.
Wait, no kid.
No animals.
So not a circus.
I appreciate it. I watched the commercial and they're like, the circus is in town. I'm like, oh, people are going to get mad because those elephants inevitably are going to smack them in the mouth and the lions are going to be upset. And they said, no animals. I'm like, all right. So they just got a bunch of Steve-O's running around, I guess, doing a bunch of crazy stuff. And they're like, no clowns either. It's like, okay, hey, everything that potentially brings a little negativity, the circus said we don't want them. I assume they're going to have the people doing the
trapeze and whatnot.
Yeah, that's not the circus.
Jugglers.
That is
that circus sucks if they don't have animals.
What are you talking about? That looks awesome. You don't think that?
There's no way this is who it is.
They're dressed up as the animals.
Ringling, bro.
That's not what we came for. I want to see an elephant I want to see a lion.
I don't know if you've heard about how those
sad,
those
man.
animals are treated. Yeah, it's like the orangutans down at the zoo.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. That's what it's like.
Those orangutans have been looking for somewhere to hang too.
It's orangutan, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you mispronouncing it on purpose, seemingly, because of how they look out there.
Yeah.
Those orangutans, you're looking in the eyes of a human
Yeah.
that is not happy with where it's at right now.
So bummed.
And if you get lucky and you catch it at the right time, it'll dump right there while it's looking at you and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is my life.
Oh, there's my pillow for tonight.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we get a ball in there for them to throw around?
Anything.
Maybe a TV for them to watch.
They probably can't. They probably can't have those things because they'll try and end it to get out of that goddamn cage.
Yeah, I don't know. They said they added on to make it better. We should go check it out this summer, next summer. We should go check out
The zoo?
The happier orangutans.
Okay.
I mean, I went to the zoo last summer and they weren't any more happy.
Well, it was a hot day. None of us are happy on a hot day.
True.
I don't think any monkey inside of Indiana is happy on any day.
That's a good question. We'll look into it more. 9-year NFL vet is here. A man who has been sitting in place of one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. T's and P's, we think you'll be back soon. Darius J. Butler's here. How you doing, pal?
Great, outstanding.
Yeah, fantastic. Better than those orangutans, what you're saying.
Much better than
everyone.
Certainly those elephants and lions that are in those circuses.
I mean, we mentioned the zoo. The elephants that they had at those two zoos, they looked almost white because they were just covered in dust and shit, and they couldn't even.
Well, they roll around. That's what they do.
And then you should have seen the puddle they had for them to, mess around in. It was pathetic. Look, Indiana Zoo, please help your animals.
That's a beautiful zoo.
It is a beautiful area.
It's a beautiful zoo.
It's right on the canal. I walk by it all the time. I'm just saying the animals.
Well, you went on a day where it's 110 degrees. The animals aren't as happy.
No, I'm telling you, this is 24/7. There were rhinoceroses that I thought were boulders just dead, and then they told me no.
They were napping.
Those are the rhinos.
They were napping.
That's not what they look like either.
That's what an elephant looks like.
That's not what the Indianapolis Zoo looks like.
That is literally from the Indy Zoo. That is a picture live from the Indy Zoo.
That's probably where they take them when they have good behavior for 8 months and they get 2 days inside this concrete box. That's what you get rewarded with.
I would like
got a little grass.
That's probably how most zoos are. I would like to say the Indy Zoo is fantastic.
It is. It is a nice zoo.
It is fantastic. The animals got a lot of moxie, though.
They do.
Like, here's an orangutan, for instance, that I've made eye contact with. They know you, you know them. And they say orangutans are humans, pretty much.
Yep.
Obviously, you could get into the conversation however you want to take that conversation.
Right.
Whatever I just said, I'm not getting into it.
How so?
Well, just like evolution and the whole other thing that could, I'm not the person that should be talking about it.
What do you mean, evolution versus what?
Creation.
Science.
Hello.
Oh, science versus religion.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to get into it, but I will say you go to the zoo, you look at an orangutan, you think to yourself, it seems to very similar. I raise my eyebrow, it raises its eyebrow. Wait a minute, It's dumping out of the same spot I'm dumping out of. It's waving, catching,
Walking.
it's peeling things.
Yeah.
It's eating the same exact way. It's like that feels like that's a. Can we get a TV for this thing to watch? That's kind of what you start thinking about when you get in there. Indy Zoo is great, and they got a lot of moxie. Speaking of a lot of moxie, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, Jackie Moon, player coach, ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. AQ, you ever see these orangutans?
Not at the Indy Zoo, no.
Have you ever seen an orangutan before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. I'm talking, they're brilliant. We need to get them on our side. You know what I mean? With everything that's kind of happening, we need to get these orangutans on our side. I'd rather have the old school.
How do we do that?
Instead of the new AI. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Give me the old school paws on the ground, hands on the ground.
I agree.
Orangutan over the AI.
Can't trust
They're
either
real
of those.
strong.
What are you talking
The
about?
orangutans or the AI. Both will turn on you at any given moment.
Well, Mrs. Brooke, my 5th grade teacher who wanted me sent to boot camp because I was selling cigs and she was not happy about it. She's actually the one that found the carton of cigarettes in my backpack on the pat hook in the back of her classroom. She had a pet orangutan. It turned on her.
No.
God
Never
rest
saw
her
her
soul.
teach again. Yeah.
That's it.
died?
That was it?
Nah, I think it just ripped her entire back and face off.
Oh,
yeah.
so she's dead.
No, she survived. Miss Brooke was a tough cookie. She was not happy. I think she did take all the cigs that I was selling to directly to her house, which I can respect and appreciate.
Yeah.
But she had an orangutan, and that orangutan turned. Every friend that I've had that has had a monkey said that at one point it's going to be you or the monkey, and at one point you just got to let that monkey know that you're the alpha. And when that time comes, if you don't show up to the test, it's their house now.
Yeah.
That's just what we get. What are you laughing about?
So funny.
What are you laughing about?
I mean, nobody stands a chance. Look at those things.
Well, especially not skinny AQ. Fat AQ might have had a chance. Yep. You know what I mean? Back whenever you had a little grit.
The science says they're like 10 times stronger than any human.
Oh, okay. That's like Michigan's favored by 23.5 over Iowa.
Miracles
okay?
can happen.
So the sports books got the orangutans versus the humans at minus 1,000. Who cares?
We got a chance.
Bingo. Do you
Yeah.
believe America? Joining us now is a man who probably thinks he has an actual shot.
Yeah.
A man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and an absolute stallion of a human who's beat COVID multiple times and had 10 kids. The president of Ohio, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
AJ, you've heard the orangutan conversation. Obviously, I've seen some that are in battling boredom in one particular zoo, but we have nothing but respect for them. AQ seems to just have this quitting mentality that we can't alpha an orangutan. I assume you're a man, if you got in there, would be able to befriend one of these orangutans by shaking their hands and alphaing them?
Absolutely not. You have heard me mention on this program multiple times, I do not mess with primates. Once they kind of hit, the 2-3 year mark, what do? You see AQ sitting there, meat out, right at the camera. They come for your meat, and then they shove it in your mouth, and they're going to rip your face off, too. So I will not mess with primates, especially once they have hit puberty.
What? All right. We'll keep that in mind.
Sounds like a
Because you got to be with Caesar before he hits puberty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be with him before they hit puberty so they remember you. Because I love those videos whenever they...
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter if you have them after puberty. If they have... whatever, if they're attached to you, once they hit puberty, it's just a matter of time before they rip your meat off, and you know that.
I do not know that. Because
yes, you do. That's how it goes.
I do not know that. I've seen the videos where they let these gorillas back into the wild.
Thank you.
And then 10 years later, the parents...
It's cool for a little bit. Cool for a little bit, pal, until they come for you. You know that. It's just a matter of time.
No. James Franco in Planet of the Apes, they never came to James Franco.
I'm not even talking James Franco, Planet of the Apes, which is an awesome movie.
Well, I'm talking more chimpanzees as well, too. I don't know as much about orangutans, but yes.
The orangutans are the real deal. They're us. The orangutans are the most us. They will whittle stuff away. They'll peel. They're like super duper human. Like they are.
But the macaques.
Actually, joining us now. I love the macaques.
Yeah, the macaques.
Hey, listen, the macaques over there in Asia do not play games.
None.
Wash their fruit.
They wash their clothes.
Yeah.
They'll put on shoes. These things will put on little shoes to run around. You got a lot of rock.
These things
the macaques. They're the real deal.
Yeah.
They're tiny. They're tiny.
No.
It doesn't matter. They're never around humans, but if they were, we could just kick them right down the street because they are small. But they have a tiered system where if you're born in this one, you ain't never getting up the rest of the pyramid, pretty much.
kind of like Japan.
So there's like royal families, that kind of get born in these macaques. I watched a documentary. There was somebody that was
killed their way to the top, though. Get one alpha kill his way to the top.
Well, a woman, a female macaque, actually, started at the bottom, and she was a dog, and she just boom, you're dead. Awesome. Bang, you're dead. And the community had to handle it. A couple murders within the community.
Yeah.
Kinda, and she just said, "No, I'm the captain now."
Exactly.
It was a great documentary. It's 100% true too. And I don't know how they filmed it and how they got them to speak, but it was fantastic. Out
She's
there.
still ruling too.
Yeah, she is. You're damn.
Iron Fist. They call her Putin.
Wait, they got the macaques to talk?
Yes.
Well, they're just body language. What they were kind of lean.
I got to see this.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of talking macaques out there. And for everybody that doesn't believe us, look it up. MACACQUE. Macaque, I believe is how it's spelled.
Not Geo.
Joining us now is a guy who's a big macaque fan.
He is.
I have never seen a guy love macaque more than J.J. Watt does.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt.
Yeah, JJ!
You love these macaques, don't you?
I'm still. There's a lot to process here. There is a lot to process. I don't even know where to start. AJ's putting claims on these chimps, saying they're going straight for the meat. I've never heard that in my life. That's just straight. No. Why? Why that?
Why do you think they love bananas so much?
Yeah,
exactly.
Spell that
put it
out
in your
for
mouth.
us.
They want your parents to find you. It's disrespectful.
The spelling of macaque just threw me for a loop. I'm still trying to process the letters that you just put together to spell that word.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was right though, but it's something along those lines.
It was there.
Let's move past the. You think we're okay? You think we're okay with the orangutans if we were to befriend them and alpha them, maybe get them on our squad, Jacob?
No, we're screwed. It would crush us. It would crush us.
We need to worry about the macaques more than we need to worry about the orangutans, I think, just because the mentality of the two different ones. But no, let's move on. You have an arm sleeve on? What happened? You were going through drill?
No, it's just a shirt. This shirt. I didn't. I just got out of the cold tub and I'm freezing. So I put a shirt on under a shirt.
Cold tub.
Not proud of it.
What cold tub did you get in?
Michael Phelps.
Oh,
well, it's at my house. It's mine. It's mine at my house, but he made it. It's his company.
It's
Chili Goat. There you go. Free pub. Already worth the free cold tub. Thanks, Michael.
Hey, way to go, JJ.
He has the cold and hot tub combos, doesn't he? That they sell. They're ones next to each other.
Yes, he does.
So you're still using?
Yeah, it's really good.
You use those every single workout, every single day, or just when you're preparing to return to the NFL?
I use them every day, man. I love it. A little 38 degrees. Hop in, 5 minutes. Great.
Do you go to the hot tub as well? Do you do the flushing?
No, I do not. I'm a just cold guy. I like to just the cold, and then I carry on with my day.
The flushing is supposed to be the super duper one. And this is a real conversation here. That one kind of came in after the cold tub. So I was a big cold tub user whenever I was playing and kicking balls in the league. It felt like just like a cheat code. I didn't know if it actually worked, but I did feel fresher, better afterwards every single time. So I was like, all right, I'm going to keep doing this. And then they were like, no, you got to flush now too. You got to go from cold tub to hot tub to cold, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then you're done. Like there was like a certain system behind it all. And then I saw Phillips sells the one next to it, I think that AJ just brought up. Like you're supposed to do the flushing. Is that real? That's
Look at this guy.
That's what I should be doing?
So like I'm like you. Like I grew up understanding that you're supposed to go cold tub for like 15 minutes after a workout. As soon as you're done with the workout, as soon as you're done with the practice, you're supposed to hop in the cold tub. Now we're told that getting in a cold tub or getting in an ice bath immediately after a workout or a practice is one of the worst things you can do because it slows down the recovery process. You're not supposed to get in immediately after. You're actually supposed to be doing it either first thing in the morning or prior to your workouts or your sessions. So it's I've definitely learned things, and I've always said like I'm a guy who's going to try things. I want to figure out what actually is the best. And I'm very curious if someday we're going to find out that what we're doing now is wrong. But it just always evolves.
Well, there's never been anything in society that has just been completely to be wrong, like 10 years after, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that we just sat through classes that we were supposed to force to, hey, you have to know this. Right. And then just a few years later, maybe 1 decade later, it's like, yeah, everything you were taught was wrong. It's like, well, okay, that's really good news. And it feels to be happening in the fitness world every single day. We'll continue to listen to guys like you. Now, you say you're open to trying things and learning things. Let's go 1 week ago to what Bubba Gumpino told you before you traveled over to see the Hammers take on Burnley. Run it.
JJ, if you talk to Vincent, Coach Company, if we get up a goal, let's just put all the lads behind the ball and get a point.
Let's park it.
Park the bus. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so you got a chance to go over. We saw all you're pouring a beer, you're doing a crowd thing. Yep. We also saw, what was the score of that game with like 4 minutes left, Gumpy?
It was 1-0 for the proud Burnley squad in the 86th minute.
And then what was the final score after the game ended?
Unfortunately, lost 2-1 to the Hammers.
What?
Oh, no.
No.
We gave you the answer. Gumpy literally gave, this is the greatest footy gambler on earth. That guy knows. We gave you the answer, JJ. It was in your face. You were there. We saw it. How'd this happen? What are we doing over there? We're going to get relegated.
Come on.
Yeah. It was devastating. I mean, there's no other way to put it, man. I was in the stands with the fans. We went up 1-0. I mean, everything you hope for. The whole reason I fly over there is like this moment. Like we go up 1-0 against a team that's, playing really good football right now, and it's late in the game, so you're like, all right, yes, I wanted to be the good luck charm. I'm coming over. I'm now the good luck charm.
Oh, the hero.
I'm standing in the fans. We're all cheering. We're all high fiving. There's beer flying. It's great. And then with 5 minutes left, man, they score the first, or like it was the 86th minute. They score the first one. So you're like, damn it. And I'm like, all right, 1-1. Now I'm trying to hype myself back up and be like, if you told me coming into this game that we get 1 point, all right, I'll take that. And then 5 minutes later, man, they hit the second one, and it was just pure devastation.
In extra time? It was in extra time?
Very late.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. I think it was 91st minute, 92nd minute.
Oh, no, it's not even supposed to. Game's not supposed to be that long.
No.
Was it your guys' fault that there was extra minutes? Like, was it a Burnley player that was rolling around that they had to give an extra 4 minutes to? Or, Gumpy, what was the full play of the game? Do you recall?
Nah, it was every game kind of goes 6 to 8 minutes extra time now. They've kind of changed it with the World Cup. There's a lot of extra time in every game. Yeah.
What's that?
It's to avoid the time wasting, actually, because players would time waste and then they wouldn't add time on, so they would have a bitch.
Yeah, so JJ, you lose in that extra 6 to 8 minutes. That's just in every game now. 90-minute game, but actually 96 and a half, 98 minutes. And you guys just couldn't hold on.
I was so ready for a great night. Was going to go straight to the pubs. Was going to just have a good time.
Saw you pouring beers over there. You look like a professional. Did you go over to Dublin and do the whole Guinness?
Oh yeah, I've been over there for that.
Professional.
One of the news so I did this back in March when I was with the team, and then one of the newspapers over there yesterday wrote, J.J. Watt copies Tom Brady pulling pints in a pub for his team, and I was like, no. I did this back in March. Don't tell me that I'm
the first booze bag, please, please.
Yeah, I got it on the team. Tom got on the team. I pulled some pints. Tom pulled some pints. He's got 7 rings. I got 0 rings. All right, we know how this goes. Don't take the one thing I got away from me.
Go ahead, AJ.
How did the fans over there feel about the NFL? Can you feel it building? I know you posted some pictures. I think you ran into some Texans fans as soon as you got there. Like, what's the overall view of American NFL football? And even, do they watch college football at all?
Yeah, so it's pretty fascinating. So I've been going over there for 10, 11 years, and it has definitely grown massively over the last decade. They used to not know much at all. They used to cheer specifically for kicks. I mean, as I know Pat knows, they loved that part of the game, but they didn't really know what was going on beyond that. Now, every single person over there has a favorite team. They want to ask questions about their favorite team or about their fantasy team. They love that. And now they're actually getting into college football. I was talking to some people. I think Sky Sports over there or BBC just got the rights to college football, so they're going to start having more and more, but they love the atmosphere because of that. You guys know how it is. The atmosphere of college football is actually a little bit more similar to the Premier League with the chants and the cheers and some of those things. So they really do enjoy it.
Yeah, the death threats and everything like that. Yeah, I think they got College Game Day over there.
Yeah.
I think just as of late, within the last 2 weeks, it's got picked up by Sky Sports. I'm like, hell yeah, that's great news. That'd be a great fan base to fall in love with college football. And let's wrap up this conversation about Burnley. Are you firing the coach immediately?
Have to.
I mean, Gumpy knew what was going to happen in the game before it happened, and he even knew how he was going to respond. Gumpy, you knew exactly what this guy was going to do.
We got a shot this week, though. This is must win.
You've been saying that for 10 weeks.
This is must. Hey, this is must win, JJ. We have to win on Saturday.
Against who?
Sheffield.
Oh, it's a tough bomb.
Gary's a
I mean, there is no doubt
that
this is a large game. I mean, we're both in the relegation zone at the moment.
Luton Town keeps getting points too, JJ.
Yeah, they're parking it after they have a 1-0 lead.
Luton Town got a big
86
win.
minutes in.
That Gump coach remotely.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I want company out. I want Gump in tomorrow.
Me too.
We want company.
Pull a Tepper.
Boom.
Hell yeah. Still a lot of season left, JJ.
Well,
You'll be all right.
He ain't going. He ain't going. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, well, I mean, are you going to be Tepper or not? Tepper just lets his fans know I'm not happy about what's happening either.
What a wild move that! Just a lot of interesting things came out of that yesterday.
Well, he believes in Bryce Young. He believes in Bryce.
Sure he does. Yeah, it really feels like it. If I'm Bryce, I definitely get that vibe.
So let's talk about the guy that he did agree to a deal to potentially get, which is C.J. Stroud down there in Houston. You were doing press conferences from the Houston Texans podium. D'Amico Ryans, the head coach, was like, we're welcoming J.J. back in any capacity that he wants. Player, coach, consultant, strength coach, PR guy, social media guy, maybe uniform collector, whatever the case is. We will have J.J. Watt back there. They lose a tough one to Jacksonville, obviously. But what did you learn while you're in that Houston Texans building, and how was it to be down there for about a week or so?
It was great, man. I loved it. I absolutely loved being back there. I mean, just feels like, home. I was there for 10 years, obviously, all my favorite restaurants, all the people, all my friends and everything. It's great to spend time there. And D'Amico has that place on the right track for sure. And it felt really cool to have a game of true meaning and importance back in NRG Stadium at this time of the year. You know, playing for first place against the Jaguars in the division, really, really big game. And you could tell the vibe is starting to come back. It's been a tough couple of years down there in Houston. They haven't really had these meaningful, consequential games. And I mean, it was a tight one. It was a very, very tight one. And I will say, like, I think on both sides, the refs in this game were not great. And obviously, we've had some conversations throughout the year about refs. And I think there were some questionable calls. I think Tank caught it. I think there was a catch that Tank definitely got his feet down. But and I also think, you know, people want to get on Amendola, the kicker off the street coming in for the game-winning kick. This guy's making a 58-yard attempt. This is as good as he could possibly hit this ball. You can't be mad at him. Dead center, 58 yards. Like, how mad can you be at this?
Yeah, well,
you can't.
Amendola's, this is the most angry I think he probably could possibly get. He has a massive leg, known for having a huge leg. Just every once in a while, whenever you have a strong leg, you're not going to necessarily know exactly where it's headed, especially with long balls. So whenever he saw that thing flying straight, there is never a thought in his head that it was going to be short. I mean, he has a huge leg. And that had to be the most devastating one. The from putt-putt pretty much. Yeah. Hitting off the crossbar, coming back center. Heartbreaking.
So you think he should have made that?
Him?
Yeah. You think he should have made it?
If you wanted to be a guy, yeah. I think you make that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, but like, I mean, you got to be realistic about the situation. He signed with the team 2 weeks ago, which means he was on the street. So it means, like, realistically, there was a reason for that.
Yeah, but he's working every day. He's working with Nick Novak. I see this dude working every day. This is his full-time job, getting back into being a kicker. Has a very strong leg, has the ability to make kicks. So in my eyes, as somebody that has watched him from afar, don't know him personally, super handsome, super jocked, by the way.
Nice.
Like, super.
Always a tight haircut. He was with us in Arizona for a little bit last year. He has a tight haircut, and he is jacked. You're right.
Super jocked, like that whole thing. I think he has all the ability to make it. So, like, in my eyes, while I'm watching, I'm like, here we go, bud. You make this, you get, like, opportunity. Yeah. Like, this is, like, for real, because you look at, like, Jake Elliott with that 59-yarder to send that thing to overtime in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like Jake's a guy. So, like, he's going to make that kick, which is an absurd kick. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought he was going to make it. I thought that he was going to make it. This one I did not think was going in.
No.
And then I remembered immediately.
I agree.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
Yeah. No, everything about this situation did not look like it was going to be a recipe for a successful kick, and this is how you become a legend in Philly. That you make it happen in the Kelly Greens on a stormy night to win a big game. Now you're a legend.
So I thought Amendola could have made it. I was just personally pulling for him to make it, if it makes sense. Like, if you...
Oh yeah, so was I. But I'm just saying I didn't think he was going to make it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you signed a guy off the street 2 weeks ago, and you got a 58-yard game winner. Like, I'm not overly confident in that.
Okay, I understand.
And he put it dead center, hit the crossbar. So 58 yards. Because I think, like, this is a great conversation to have with you because you can speak to it.
Oh, people
like what distance should a guy, like, should we be like, oh, you should make this? Like, for me, if it's not our full-time kicker and if it's not a guy that we've had all year long and we're truly confident in, anything over 45 yards, I'm like
45.
All right, this is 50-50.
That's hilarious. I like those expectations. Let's keep those expectations as low as that. For me, it's like 55 and in, got to make it. If you're an NFL guy, that's how I view it. And if there's guys coming up short from like 51, we've seen them. Teams should agree to not allow them in the NFL. Yeah, those guys are not allowed. This is the men's league. You got to at least be able to make it to the uprights from here. You know, like that is something. Yeah. But for me, I think kickers have gotten better. I think inside 55. Let's talk about the atmosphere, though. Maybe the Texans fans might take a little bit of blame here. Maybe if that place was sold out, a little bit more energy.
Oh.
And then he's able to make that thing about an inch further, which then bounces through as opposed to bouncing back. That's an embarrassment. I didn't know that was happening down there. Brand new quarterback who's electrifying and saying everything awesome. Brand new head coach who's a legend down there. Team's playing good. They can't fill up the barn, JJ? Is that real? I didn't know that was...
They're coming around. They're coming around. They've had a very rough couple of years, and they've been kind of... They supported the team through some tough times, and the tough times lasted for a little while. So they're starting to come back around. CJ's asked the crowd to show up. I've now asked the crowd to show up, and I think they're coming around. I think that they're starting to understand what they have. And like I said I think it was a week or so ago. Like, you have all the things that you could possibly want. You have the hometown legend as a coach. You have the young rookie quarterback in MVP conversations. Like, you can't really ask for much more. Go out there and support these guys and give them your backing.
Yeah, because I've gone on the record numerous times, like, Houston, loudest, best place we played every single year. So in my mind, it's like great fan base, great fan base, great fan base. Always will be, always is. And then they start sending those photos out, and it's like, wait a minute, that top tier is like, they're tarping it like it's old school Jacksonville.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of seats. A lot of seats up there.
Red jerseys on, too?
Show me a picture.
What?
I don't, no. No, don't speak on Houston like this. You're lying.
I'm just telling you what Houston's doing to Houston. Okay,
Let me see it.
No,
Connor, somebody, get a picture. He's lying.
They took a photo. I saw full sections of seats.
Nope.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Nope.
It might have been before the game started then. Maybe somebody was painting a narrative. But the photos I saw was like, the next step is let's put a Texans tarp right over top of that thing. So that we can say we sold this out. I'm telling you.
No, you're lying. Nope.
JJ, it can't happen. That's what I'm saying, though. It's a great fan base. That's like, in my mind, it's like one of the best in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And I start seeing those photos, and I'm like, what? Excuse me? That is not how this whole thing is supposed to go in Houston.
I got to see the photos you saw. Where was this? On the internet?
Oh, boy, this is bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Coming in.
You might have been pouring beers in England whenever this thing was going around.
Let me see it. I got to see this.
It's bad.
We're sending it in. I mean, we'll wait.
And it's not just the upper bowl, JJ. Let me just say there's a few in
When is it from? When is it from?
Sunday.
Is it from pregame or is it from
Division?
I got it. Obviously.
Zoom in.
Sunday.
Zoom in up there. Look at all those red, all that red there in the third section. Those are all seats.
Yeah, not jerseys.
A lot of empty seats.
A lot of empty seats.
You know what the next step is, JJ? Come on, let's revisit my conversation.
I mean, that's nowhere near tarping.
Hold on, can we put this?
Near.
Can we put it up over here, please?
Should be.
It's JJ. Let me talk to you about business.
It's like a TV timeout, too.
What part of the game are we here? Is this pregame?
First quarter.
Anyways, JJ, you see, business-wise, I don't want to because you own a soccer team and everything like that, but you see all these seats here that aren't sold. You could probably put those all together and probably this entire park could just get, guess what? Tarped off.
Yeah.
Now what do you have? Well, you have a sold out stadium, but you have, I don't know what, 5-6 sections worth of emptiness in this entire thing.
Gross.
JJ, this is disgusting. If these were red
I agree.
seats,
it's not a good look.
you take all these empty seats, you could probably tarp off this whole area.
At least.
Yeah, that side of the stadium.
And then you could just have a sellout. You still be able to sell out there.
Yeah.
JJ, you know what I mean? And then you're not even
What are the Colts looking like? What are the Colts looking like?
sold out, top to bottom, every week. How you doing? Even whenever we sucked, sold out. 1 year, whenever Peyton Manning wasn't our quarterback, and we went 2-14, obviously, with Curtis Painter, Dana Orlovsky, Kerry Collins. You killed Kerry. You killed him.
I liked playing against those guys. I enjoyed them much more than Luck. I would rather play against those guys than Luck.
Anyways, we had the winningest decade in NFL history. Peyton Manning had 10 wins every single year. How you doing? We were about 8 games into that 2-14 year with no Peyton Manning. Obviously, we all found that out right before the season started. They were showing up with bags over their head. People they were showing up, selling out the stadium, but there was paper bags over their head, and it's like, go to Cleveland. We had a quarterback that was the whole thing that we didn't even know was fake. So Indy will show up. They're not always going to be loud or happy.
No.
But Indy will show
They'll
up.
be there.
Houston, that is. Can we put that back?
No. I think we're good. What's next on the agenda?
Look at that.
What's next on the agenda?
That's a full.
So many seats.
That's a full 3 rows right there.
Can't happen,
What
man.
happened? What's going on? I don't. Yeah, that is frustrating.
There's a lot of blue seats down there, too.
Oh, I didn't even see the high-priced ones. I didn't even see those ones. You had that. We might be tarping off this whole
side. Yeah.
Because look at this. There ain't even a soul up here. And this is just one quadrant. Oh, what's the other side look like? Oh, no. We might be able to tarp the whole.
Is that my bobblehead up there on the top right? Is that?
I mean, there are seats available.
Yeah, that is you up there, buddy. And if you, I don't want to
How did I
continue to
get
bag
relegated
on
to
the
back row?
Yeah, right.
I don't want to continue to bag on the Houston Texans, but this one didn't come broken. Remember, this one had no. You remember it had no bottom.
They all did.
That's why we had to put you up.
All 5.
Oh no!
That's why I had to put you up here.
Travesty.
I'm looking now too. The tickets on SeatGeek are so not expensive to go to a Texans game right now. A lot of green dots.
Hey JJ, why don't you buy Texans fans some tickets?
Yeah.
And give them away. Oh, I don't know what, 30,000 of them.
Yeah, for $20.
Maybe we can fill this place up.
Yeah.
I remember when the Pacers were at the beginning of making their run with the group that was there whenever I was there.
George and Hibbert.
George Hill, Paul George,
Yeah.
Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson,
Oh.
that crew right there.
Oh.
I mean, they were awesome to watch. They make to the playoffs, and the first round of the playoffs couldn't sell the place out. So I actually bought 5,000 tickets up in the upper bowl, and they gave me a great deal. I'm like, we'll give them like for $5 or something like that. Gave away 5,000 tickets to people, filled the place up.
Let's go.
Right? And then people got to experience it, and they're like, our team's good, and they're all the way back. You could do that. You
filled the place up with 5,000 tickets.
5,000 people. There.
Upper bowl.
Upper bowl was not sold. It was not sold out for a playoff game for the Pacers. So I bought the 5,000 tickets that weren't sold out in the Upper Bowl, handing them out to people. They had to make a free throw or something. They get a ticket. It was like a full thing. People get in there. They experience what the Pacers were. All of a sudden, we're back. You can do that for the Texans.
Let's go.
25,000.
You individually handed out 5,000 tickets to people.
I was there. Yeah. It was a long day.
How did that? Yeah, how did that go?
Well,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. At the beginning, the idea was they're going to have to earn it, and then. No, you just
Oh, you're here.
You showed up.
So they weren't going to show up to the game anyway, and then you were like, I'm going to make it even harder. Let me make them earn the tickets to show up to the game they already don't want to go to.
All they had to do was make a free throw.
Easy.
You know, it's Indiana. Everybody's born with a basketball in their hand here.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Hoosiers. Yeah.
Exactly. But too many people were missing shots, so we just started. Yeah. We had some homeless people in there, obviously, for the night. They got some.
Hey, it's warm in there.
Anyways, you could do that, JJ, for the Texans.
Yeah.
Don't you? Don't you want to do that?
Sure.
This guy's a hero.
That's a lot.
This guy's a hero.
Nice guy.
All right, get a hold of the people at the Houston Texans. You know them. Hey, JJ will buy all of these seats, so we don't have to tarp them off and hand them out there. In the what is it? Fourth largest?
Third now, I think.
What is Houston? Fourth largest city? Fifth? What is it?
I think it's dropping down to number 3 now. I think we're going up to number 3. I think we're popping up.
Passing Chicago.
Big city. Yeah.
No.
We just kind of keep getting wider and wider of the space. Yeah.
Yeah, and the people don't want to drive to the stadium anymore.
No, they don't.
That's what they're saying.
Traffic.
Traffic is terrible in Houston.
What's next? What do you guys want to talk about next? AJ, how you doing, bud?
AJ's back.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
AJ Service dropped off their throttle on him. I think it's because he was talking the way he was talking about those primates earlier in the meet and everything like that. AJ, have you seen this photo? I know you weren't on. Did you see what's going on in Houston right now?
I didn't get a reaction from the game. How was the game? I'd love to hear the reaction from the game. I saw
Ohio State, Michigan, you talking about?
The game.
Oh, a little
well,
more
I thought you guys called it the game. Is that not the game anymore?
Yeah, but the way
it is the game. Yes,
we're starting to lose a little luster.
It's the game.
What do you mean it's losing luster?
I mean,
It's
3 straight
the
losses.
game.
3 straight losses.
You know, like Triple H at one point was the game.
Bingo.
Triple H. This is the game. Ohio State, Michigan.
3 straight losses.
Ohio State won 8 straight.
What are you talking about?
Is Ryan Day on the hot seat?
Why are you stirring this?
What
Where's
the
Jimmy
hell?
Franklin?
AQ.
Where's
What
James
the
Franklin at?
AQ, why are you swinging your legs like a 6-year-old in a chair?
Because they can't reach the floor.
This is crack. You look like a 5-year-old, like at a dinner table at like Applebee's.
There it is.
We can get you a little booster stool if you need it.
Wow.
Did you two go on a walk?
This week? Any more
Not
walk?
this week. He was over in Burnley.
Since Sunday, he's still in Burnley?
No, he was in Houston. I don't know. Is he back?
Tomorrow.
Are you back yet?
Tomorrow.
You guys walking?
No, I was in Houston, Burnley, Houston. I got in Arizona yesterday. I got to go to Vegas right after today. I'll be back in Arizona tomorrow, and then I got to go to New York this weekend.
What are you doing in Vegas? You playing blackjack all night? Been trying.
No, I got to do. I'm working on something.
Whoa! What's that?
I mean, I can't. It's a show I'm working on.
A show! Whoa!
Yeah.
Cirque du Soleil?
Dude, perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly through the air, swing my legs like AQ, and land them.
That would be amazing if you did that. What do you a show? You're like creating a show?
Yeah, I literally have no idea what I can say about it or not. So I don't.
You can say whatever you want. You're JJ Watt.
Yeah, I know.
What are they gonna
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, just let the
No.
Great pub.
Come on.
Is it a show that's already been filmed, or is it a pitch to be
No,
filmed?
no, it's a show. It's a show I'm developing. It's a
You guys
show we're
bringing Tag
developing.
back?
We got an idea. No, I'm very curious about kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the show: high performers in all different areas of life, and figuring out exactly what it takes to be great in different fields and different areas. And I've always been very, very curious about that. So, I mean, it's the working title that we're going with right now is What It Takes. And I want to see different people, what it takes to be the best at something or to be at the highest tier of something. And so, I'm going tonight to go see somebody and to watch what they do.
Chris
And,
Angel, got it.
Yep,
Okay,
smart.
so like I love greats as well. I watch documentary on people that are great. I like to learn what makes greats great. It sounds like a show that is going to be scratching me right where I itch. So you're going to go spend a day with Chris Angel, kind of see what he does,
Yep.
and then you're just going to release it.
But yeah, no, it'll be cool. Like, I want to find out like all the little things, like people's routines and do they cold tub, do they sauna, what do they eat, how do they prepare for their certain thing, and it's all different. And then I want to talk to some experts and see like, how did they in this category, how does this relate to that? So I'm fascinated by it all, and I have all my ideas on what made me what I was, and how other people like. Giannis eats candy all the time. It's crazy to me. Like Giannis it's huge that he loves candy and he loves to eat candy before games. And like, if I did that, I would be 400 pounds and I would suck ass, So I'd love to know like how that works. And so I'm going to talk to you, like, I'd love to talk to nutritionists and be like, how come he can do that and I can't? I had a teammate, Jonathan Joseph, who only ate hamburgers. That's all he would ever eat was hamburgers. Again, if I did that, that wouldn't work. So I really want to learn about all that stuff and figure out what makes people great, musicians and entertainers and people who've done halftime shows for the Super Bowl. Like, how do you prepare for that,
This year.
Justin Timberlake.
Any Formula One drivers?
So how many people are you talking about tomorrow?
No, you wouldn't.
This is just one. This is our first, like, tomorrow. It's tonight. I'm literally right here. I'm flying out.
It's Carrot Top, Chris Angel.
Copperfield.
Max Verstappen.
Copperfield.
Verstappen's in Abu Dhabi.
Copperfield's buddy.
Stoner,
What's his
maybe?
name?
Stoner. It could be Stoner, I guess, because Stoner
Michael Griffin?
first ever captain.
Yeah.
Bob Spillane.
Agent
Bono,
Wilson.
maybe Bono.
Oh,
You guys, could get it. I mean, I gave the nugget. in.
Dana White.
Adele.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be Dana
you-
probably or a UFC person. Fighter.
Maybe Adele. Holy hell. Could you
Adele.
imagine if it's Adele?
Yeah,
Crosby.
I'd love to hear what you'd find out.
The Condor?
Wayne Newton.
ooh, that'd be a good one.
What about Penn and Teller? They've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Maybe with the Bunny Ranch. You could go to the ranch, see what makes them great.
Yeah,
Air Force
Throw it around.
nailed
a little
it. Nailed it. Yeah,
you're going-
Spearmint Rhino for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's where you're
Okay.
okay.
More
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I think, who's the ex-WCW wrestler that is
Bill Ding.
Oh, you're talking about Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno runs security, I think, at the...
This spiraled.
What's
This
that?
Spiraled.
No, we're trying to find out
Spiraled.
what
Crazy.
it takes. Are you
Saying
spelling
you're
it?
bigger than Disco Inferno, dude?
Yeah, you're not. But are you saying it's what it takes? Like what?
No, that was proposed, and I said no. I don't like that.
Are you going to pronounce it then? What it takes, at least, so we can make a little professionalism out of this. Has a network already bought this?
No.
Dibs.
Oh, we would like to buy it. Put it on YouTube.
Thunder from Down Under, maybe.
Yeah, we got 3
Might be
hours
going
in the
there.
off. Maybe. I mean, those boys really.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if they some fake accents. I think I don't know if all of them are from
Oh,
Australia.
maybe a DJ.
Maybe.
What?
Are you doing Marshmallow?
What? They're not all from
Steve
Australia?
Aoki tossing cakes?
I don't know. Maybe it is Steve Aoki or DJ Marshmallow.
Mark Davis.
Yes.
There it is.
I'll watch that.
All right. So we'll make a pitch to buy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Give Mark Davis 20 M&Ms.
We want a full presentation
What's
on
the
why you
pitch?
think it'll be successful too. I'm not pitching you. You're pitching me. We're going to try to buy it.
Oh, well. I don't know what we're shaking.
Shake on it.
Shake on it.
How do we watch it? Is it video and audio? Like
No,
what are we
it
doing?
is. Nothing has been like we're filming the pilot right now, and then we go out and you sell it.
Oh, is that how it works?
Who's filming it for you?
I don't understand. What do you? So
NFL Films.
Oh, really?
Oh, is that
and
right?
Skydance. Yeah.
Good luck.
More
Sky.
Oh, this might be on HBO Max.
Could be.
This could be on Mox out there.
Paramount Plus, maybe. Skydance.
What about MGM Plus?
MGM Plus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suitors for Amazon. Will probably spend some money.
Yeah,
on
Apple
it.
TV.
Oh, maybe Apple trying to get into sports. Remember they got the
Fubo.
Methy deal. Chris Angel's big on the internet. Maybe some sort of social platform will try to buy this up.
Or maybe Chris Angel just puts it on a network magically without even getting a deal. Just boom. ESPN.
Don't let him
You're
take your
welcome.
lower half, Tej. Or Jage. Don't let him take your lower half.
Let's move along. Speaking
we had
of,
to. His coach said he's the greatest player ever. We had
start
to.
doing something like that's your F-bomb. That if I used to drop F-bombs. I've stopped, by the way.
Maybe
that's your third Tej since I've been on this show. That's
that's all right. Hey, not a big.
right.
There's worse people.
Do a shot for 5 people or 10 people, $500 for AJ.
All right.
Yep,
Good idea.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
That's what it takes.
You'll see. You'll see. It's a great transition into what we're going next. Just to let you know.
Oh,
That was close.
Go ahead, Ty. Good work, AJ.
Yeah, JJ, speaking of Tej, we were talking about him before you got on. That graphic came up because everyone's been talking about how dominant Myles Garrett's been this year and that he's the runaway defensive player of the year. And then when you put him next to TJ's having just as good, if not a better year than Myles Garrett is. And I kind of thought maybe it's because, like, when you have a generational talent like TJ, he's just expected to perform like that year in, year out. So when he doesn't kind of have stats like that, people are saying, oh, hey, TJ's losing a step or he's not exactly the same guy he was. Why exactly do you think he doesn't necessarily get like the recognition? I mean, because he obviously everyone knows how good he is, but I still feel like people kind of sleep on him a little bit, and that's not just me saying that because he's your brother, but why do you think he isn't kind of respected in the same way? I mean, we're seeing his numbers right there. He's having an unbelievable year, but he does this year in, year out.
Yeah, I think it's because that's the level of dominance that he has created, where which I mean, like he's literally set the NFL sack record. Like he has the NFL sack record with Strahan. So his normal year is anybody else's most dominant year of their entire career. So that's when you're at a level where, you're judged on a different standard, that's a compliment. That's a sign of respect. But I encourage people not to forget. It's like I said earlier with Pat Mahomes, like, don't get bored with greatness. Like, don't get bored watching somebody do something spectacular, doing something that's incredible. Same with LeBron over all these years. Like, don't get complacent with the fact that we're fortunate enough to watch these guys play at such a high level. And with TJ, people can tell me I'm biased all I want because he's my brother, but the reality is just put up the numbers. Just look at what he's accomplishing and what he's doing.
Yeah, but nobody's.
And then every now and then you get a freebie like this. And I texted him right after this and said, those are my favorite sacks of all time. They don't ask how you get them. They just ask how many. And number 89, I'm not sure what your job was on that play, but I have a feeling it might have been to block number 90.
I do at least chip him, at least get some hands on him. But I do appreciate that maybe a business decision was made. Nope, new one coming. Yeah. This guy's me in here. Let me get out of here. But TJ Watt ends up with 2 sacks against the Bengals, and he's continuing to maybe go on a path to break his own record for most sacks in the same year. There's been a couple games where obviously, what a psychic.
Beat the double team. Like, this is what 89 was supposed to do on that other play. Block him, then pass him up, and then TJ beats him, pass him off to the tackle, TJ beats him, forced fumble. Like, people want to say, oh, he had a free sack. Well, yeah, but this one he was double teamed and he gets a sack. So don't give me this like he doesn't get held, he doesn't get double teamed. Yeah, he gets it all. He literally gets chipped all game long. He literally gets double teamed all game long. And then every now and then you get a freebie, and that's the football justice God's giving you a little love.
And Michael Tomlin came out and said, he's the best player on planet Earth, so I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of it. We'll move on. We're thankful for TJ. TJ and Tomlin have been a great tag team on that defensive side of the ball. I hope the world continues to appreciate what TJ's doing. And if he breaks that record, it's expensive.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Was it $500,000 donation?
Believe so.
Why do I do that? Why do I just do that? You know what I mean? I just say stuff. It just comes out. Yeah. And then we got to live with it forever, all of us. I got to live with it all the time. Mm-hmm. I've been with me for 36 years. People hate me. You should see what I feel like. It is too much all the time. He's on his way. He's on his way to do this.
I don't. Why do people hate you? That makes no sense. That's so dumb.
Shut up, JJ. Yeah. Okay.
Like, guy gives money to charity. Guy gives money away to people. Like, kicks on Saturdays.
Well,
guy's got all of his friends on a television show, living great, takes care of people, entertains people. It's all fun. We're having a great time. Why? What's the problem, people? What's the problem?
Well, I think I'm a doofus mostly, if I had to guess, just from what I've dealt with for most of my life. And also, I say things, that like inside voices are supposed to be said. I think I'm kind of known to do that every once in a while. I appreciate all.
What's the worst thing you think you've said in the last year? Like, what's the thing that people would be like, that's why I hate that guy? What do you think that is?
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. Because the ratings thing that we saw, if you remember, that first month we were on ESPN, I guess just the hello at the beginning was really the thing that got everybody.
I'm out.
Just, I do not want to be a part of this. That guy says hello in a way that I don't enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I appreciate all your kind words. Let's move on. You said some kind things about another teammate of yours, which is why you're a legend.
Yeah, JJ, long time ago when Energy Stadium was selling out every Sunday, you had
It used to be a good fan base.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Great.
Long ago in a galaxy far, far away, people used to go to Texans games. And when they would go.
You want to talk about your team?
Hey, just shut up, okay? I'm asking the question to you, brother. You don't ask me the questions, okay? Chach.
All right. Spit it out then. Spit it out.
I'm
Get to
getting
the question.
there. I'm getting there. If you would stop interrupting
AQ's got to catch a flight back to Arizona.
Yes, you guys can go on a walk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I bet you're really looking forward to it. But when you were playing, you had a couple studs. One of them nominated for the Hall of Fame, Andre Johnson. Should he be first ballot? Should he be in right away? It feels like he is one of those guys that everybody universally around the NFL just had a ton of respect for.
Yes, Andre Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame. I will say that until he gets in the Hall of Fame, he deserves to be there. He's an incredible player. He is what he did for this franchise, especially through very, very difficult years early on in the beginning. He was not in an ideal situation by any stretch of the imagination, and all he did was go out there and put up numbers and put up success every single year. Andre Johnson definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and I believe is either yesterday or today is the anniversary of one of the most iconic photos in Houston Texans history, where he is just waylaying Cortland Finnegan. And if you know anything about Andre Johnson, if you've ever met him, if you know him at all, this is literally the furthest thing from his personality whatsoever. So this was before I got there, but if I ever saw Andre do this while I was playing, I would have run through 10 walls to do whatever it took to win that game for the rest of my life, because to see Andre get to this level is awesome. Iconic.
Yeah. We got a chance to be teammates with Andre whenever he came to the Colts there for a year or two. He was awesome. Just one of the coolest dudes of all time. Was very nice to everybody. I think the only time we gave him the ball was whenever we played against Houston, and he went for 2 tuds, like 160 yards and everything like that. I think he's back in the Houston Texans organization. Whenever he was on the field, though, all eyes were on Andre Johnson.
Yeah, great. Like you said, great teammate. And I met South Florida legend, so I'm a big fan of his. Obviously been a Hurricane fan. And one of the first, it's funny seeing that fight, because one of the first times I actually met Andre was actually like a nightclub, and I was with some people. He kind of put me to say, hey, bro, you don't need to be doing this. You need to chill. Don't be hanging out with them. So just always kind of like that cool OG Big Dre. But unbelievable first ballot Hall of Fame talent for sure on the field, hands down. Especially you look at his quarterback situation throughout his career, along with the numbers he put up and the consistent dominant, like 1,500-yard seasons. Like Andre was a dog.
Absolute beast. Reggie's up too, I believe. So a couple AFC South wide receivers.
Shane Leckler, Hall of Fame. Got to be in the Hall of Fame.
Needs to go in. He just went to the Pro Bowl, I think, like 14 straight years or something like that.
That's all.
Just like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm going to be the best in the league. Okay. Are you going to kick in the offseason? Not once. Okay. You're a dog. Are you going to have a half a tin in your mouth whenever you speak to everybody in the warm-ups? Yes, you are. Are you going to have beer for the other kickers and punters every single game whenever they come play against? Yes, you are. Shane Leckler is a movie character, an awesome one, like the best one of all time, and a perfect representation of punters, I think. I love that man. I'm very appreciative of Shane Leckler.
And if you put his numbers up, from my understanding, I mean, we did it like when I was playing with him. I'd look at his numbers all the time and pull him up, try and embarrass him. I believe he blows Ray Guy's numbers out of the water. I believe he blows just about any punter ever's numbers out of the water. Like Shane is truly one of the greatest of all time.
Yes, 1,000%. Now, that Raiders team, they were drafting guys that ran 4.2s.
Yeah.
Hey, how fast are you? Come to our team. How fast? Can you play football? Who cares? You're fast, you come to our team. So Shane, now he was the perfect punter for the situation. He could just murder the ball. And then they got 4.4s, 4.5s covering all across the board. And they were a weapon over there. Absolute weapon.
Are you asterisking? Are you asterisking Shane Leckler's career here?
Absolutely not.
Whoa.
Because if you put me in that position, nowhere near as good as him. I'm just saying he was put in a position that was perfect for Shane Leckler as well, because he used to be able to punt it a country mile every single time. And I can't reiterate this enough. Did not punt in the offseason. Didn't kick a ball. Will go back to training camp, have to relearn how to punt, and said, I figure I got 4 weeks to figure it back out, and I will do that. Instead, he's going fishing. He's going hunting. He's living his life, and then he comes back, and he was a quarterback. He's recruited to be a quarterback. Absolute stud. Put Shane in there. And also, we'll see you.
Did they draft him and Jan? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, nailed it. Nope, go ahead.
Yeah.
That was a good send. That was a good send.
Money.
Yeah. That was a really good send. That was really, really good. You're doing this good thing. You're filming a pilot today. Yeah. You're sending out on hard outs. Look at you, JJ. You're an adult. Absolute adult.
Buying the tickets for the Texans.
Hero.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
That was trash. I really ruined that ending.
No, because we're talking about Shane.
You were crushing it. You were crushing it.
I was going to tie it
Did
together.
they draft him and Jankowski in the same year?
Yeah.
What a class.
And they lived together. And they, obviously a lot of people know about Seabass because of things that have happened.
Yep.
I think Shane can hold his own in that particular department as well.
Sure.
From what we've been told, a couple stories, both on our show in the early years from Shane Leckler and then from others that have told stories, they lived their lives. Those two guys really lived their lives and did their thing. And he was still better than everybody.
Great teammate.
Legend.
Love.
Best friend played for them for a while. Tavon Brent, another 4.2 guy. Was a gunner early in his career, but great teammates.
Everybody loved him. Like Shane, I talked about the beers for the other team. Anytime we played the Raiders or whenever he was with the Texans, which is obviously 2 times a year towards the end of his career there, we would have beer waiting for us afterwards. From who? From Shane Leckler. It was like,
class act.
This guy fucking gets it.
Legend.
This guy,
I remember that.
Yeah, we used to enjoy the hell out of that.
They would come in like the garbage bags.
Yes.
You'd have the garbage bag filled with ice.
Bingo.
Hop on the bus.
It was part of some places would get you, I don't want to bury anybody. Some people,
What'd they get you?
Shane.
This is old school though. Like this, I love this because this is like this stuff doesn't quite happen as much as it used to. Like this is the good old school stuff.
Shane was my type of human. Like the beers he put in there were beers that I would drink.
Nice.
Not all punters and kickers are the same types of humans. There's a lot of different humans that are kicking balls for a living professionally. I think we all understand that. So there's some places that give you like these like assortment of IPAs.
Oh.
And then you have to fake.
Right.
After,
Those good. Poopy beers.
When it's happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not that IPAs are bad, but there's some punters and kickers that seem to be connected to every IPA beer in town. And
yuck.
I don't want to have a pink waffle beer right now.
Good.
You know what I mean? That has 16% alcohol.
Right.
I don't want that right now, but I appreciated the sentiment. And I think Shane was the one that kind of started that all for the kickers and punters. So let's put his ass in there too. And Ray Guy, how's Shane feel about Ray? You talk good about him over there because the Raiders organization?
Yeah, he talked good about him. I would say, because the argument I ever make is whenever I post about it on Twitter or something, is people come back and they're like, Ray Guy is the only punter that deserves to be in. Ray Guy is the GOAT. And like, if you literally put all of their numbers together, I don't even think it's close. So I think that there is some.
So
I think
the evolution of punting, I think Ray would not even probably his numbers. Ray Wood is athletic enough to be able to figure out what we know now modern-wise, though, how to turn the ball over, what exercises do to get stronger, techniques that have gotten much better. But, yeah, we're right now at a stage where punters would, if they were to go back in time.
Who's the best punter right now?
So I got to see Jake Camarda this weekend, punter for Tampa Bay. He fucking murders balls. He hits them so far. Almost got one blocked. Didn't turn over. So a turnover is when it goes like this. That's when a ball goes far. When it doesn't turn over, normally it kind of he didn't turn one over and it went 59 yards or something this weekend in the dome. So that's no wind aided at all. He's phenomenal. Tommy Townsend in Kansas City, he hits balls higher than anybody I've seen. Thomas Morstead a jugs machine still.
Wisnowski, he's been
Mitch Wisnowski for San Francisco. I guess he's a legend, too. They absolutely love him.
Great flow.
Stonehouse.
Stonehouse murders footballs. You know, some of these guys that hit it real far, I often wonder, like, is it going to work? You know, like, it will work. It's like a roll of the dice, though, because all you need is to give up one, and all of a sudden it's like everybody gets real mad. You know what I mean? Everybody starts turning on you. You know, like, this guy's out kicking his coverage. It's like, well, for the first 12 games, though, it was perfect. It was what we wanted. And then because 10 guys can't tackle a guy, all of a sudden it's on the punter. So it's like there's different strategies in the whole thing. But those guys, I think, are
Who's the best coverage guy you had in your career on your coverage team?
So, I mean, Colt Anderson was awesome, the Montana. Well, Joe LaFedge was a guy I had at Gunner. He was a dog out of Rutgers, absolute dog. He was a beast.
Hayward Bay, right?
Yeah, DHB.
DHB didn't have to tackle anybody.
DHB.
He was the first guy that ran a 4.3 that I had covering me. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. So that was a cool thing. He had to make a super humble decision too to go cover punts because remember he was first round draft pick to be wide receiver. Then he ends up at the Colts and he becomes gunner in practice. And it's like, hey, if he's cool with this, are we allowed to have him just run down the field? So I think my net went up like, I don't know how many yards, a lot, as soon as he got in there, and I just punted it towards him. And it was just fair.
Fast.
It was a fair catch every single time. It was the greatest.
Awesome.
So fast.
So
AJ, did you ever play special teams?
I did, and sorry if my screen has been blank for the last 10 minutes. I can hear you guys great. I just can't see any of the show, so I have no idea exactly what's going on, but I can hear you. But yes, I was a 4-year starter at left wing and punt in college, and I played a lot of punt in when I was in the league as well. I was there a few times when I think Devin Hester took a few back on us, no question.
The guy, I was going to say.
He's too good.
Legend.
Too good.
The best coverage guy that I had.
What?
Sergio Brown. And everything that's going on with him now is incredibly sad. I mean, incredibly sad. He was awesome, too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened to him. Obviously something devastating and terrible. We're seeing videos of him on the internet that is not the human that we know. You're talking about like an energy human in the locker room, loved playing teams, loved being everywhere. Incredibly sad outcome. But yeah, those special teamers, real dogs out there.
Hell yeah.
Andrew Jackson.
Real dog.
Do you remember Andrew Jackson? Western Kentucky. He had a gold grill, both of them.
Love that.
He had no idea that there was a football on the field. He had no clue. It did not matter.
Devin Hester, Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
That's the issue, though. Hey, man, like the Hall of Fame, you're going to run it. No, you're not. You're first ballot. How you doing? Keep it moving. You're going to the front of the line. You deserve to be in that other tier that Primetime talks about as well. So knowing that, I ask you this question. Every year I see these semifinalists of like Hall of Famers, and I go through it. I'm like, that guy, definitely. That guy, definitely that guy, definitely Hall of Famer. But then there's like a logjam, I think, of like guys from like 50 years ago, 40 years ago as well, and there's only a certain amount to go in. That's an interesting little thing that happens with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You pay attention at all?
Yeah. It is interesting because I look at the one, like I'm following the Andre one closely because I want Andre in, obviously. He's my teammate. I love the guy. I think he deserves to be in. And then you go through the arguments and you see all the people talking about like, well, what about this guy? He has these stats. Or what about this guy? He has these from this year. And like you said, there's only a certain number of spots. So it does get very, very interesting. That one criteria that people kind of say is like, can you tell the history of the game without saying this person's name or without that? Like, I do think there is something to be said for like you said, Devin Hester, like he is the greatest return man in the history of the game. Like, I do feel like he is a guy that at what he did, he is the best to have done that. And it's synonymous with that spot. Nobody else did it at that level. So I do think a guy like that deserves to be in. I feel like the receiver position and the quarterback position are two really, really tough ones. Obviously, I think receiver, like, these guys with their comparisons, I feel like the Reggie Wayne, the Marvin Harrison, some of those, like Torrey Holt, some of those, they start to get so number comparative where it's not necessarily about like the full-blown impact on the game. And also it's just a tough position to make it in at, man. And then quarterback's obviously a different one. Like, I feel like people were asking if Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer, like 2 Super Bowl rings. Like,
and he's Eli
Manning? Yeah, like he's Eli. Like, I feel, duh, he's in. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin, they're doing the same thing with him too.
What's that?
Because the Super Bowl rings, like other coaches are in who haven't won as many games or as many Super Bowls as Tom Coughlin, but they won't put him in.
They need to just figure out how to get it right with the I don't want to say the
With the old heads?
with the yeah.
Yes,
they
they
need
do.
to just figure out how to get it right. And it's like, hey, you can add on. It's Ohio real estate. I assume you can.
Yeah.
I assume you can make that place bigger as the game continues to grow. Just make it a little, because like if Shane Leckler,
How do you feel about like the 10 or 20 years later type of situation? Because I do think there's guys that but I also think it's super hard, man, because then I don't know. I honestly don't know what to feel
it's
about
not the
that.
whole
'Cause there is-
good, That's what
Well, and the numbers.
Yeah,
thing,
there is that part of me that's like, well, if you weren't in the first 5 years after your career, what makes it 20 years down the line? Why is it now? But then there is the other part of me, like I grew up in Wisconsin, Jerry Kramer, like I think Jerry Kramer deserved to be in, but I also see people's point where they're like, yeah, but if you weren't good enough in the first 5, what changed?
Now, with that being said, I think I've been nominated 2 times now. Okay, so the first time I was nominated, I said, put Shane Leckler in immediately upon my name being on the same list as him and a couple others. And it's like, if I was to be nominated for 20 years and I actually had a care of going in, you could see how every single year your family, your friends, and you would get upset about it, which I think is what happens for some of these older guys, is like they get like really personally pissed off at the NFL and at everybody for not putting him in there. So whenever they finally go in, I get like super pumped for them. But then I'm like, can we maybe just not put their names on the list though, so it's not like a public call out that they're not in the Hall of Fame anymore? You know what I mean? After a certain amount of years, I wonder if that can kind of
Well, that's what I said with Drew Pearson. Like before he went in, last year, he said it basically ruined his life because like every time the doorbell would ring or he would hear like a knock at the door, he was like, oh shit, is that someone? Like, am I finally getting in? And then it never happened for so long, and eventually he did get in, but like it legitimately like ruined his life for like 15 years.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild thing, Well,
the numbers.
Yeah, and like you said it is interesting that whoever is arguing on your behalf plays such a massive role as well. Like that it shouldn't be that like you need some lobbyist on your side to get you in. Like it's sad that
our guy couldn't get Dwight Freeney in.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Gotta be kidding me.
You heard the name right there. Everybody in their head was like, Gold Jacket, that guy's a Hall of Fame. He's not.
No,
sir.
So it's like, it's insane.
Ridiculous.
And if you put Shane in as a punter, then that's taking somebody else's spot, which is why when Ray Guy went in, it got so loud. He's the first punter ever in there. Like, he deserves to be in over wide receiver that did something like 30 years ago. It's like,
And then like 2 years ago, I think it was the 50th Super Bowl or something where we did like 20 guys. We just popped 20 guys into the Hall of Fame in 1 year. Like, yeah, go ahead. Oh, open door. Feel free. Like, it was wild.
What are you going to do? Have you already prepared and planned for your Hall of Fame party up there in Canton, Ohio? I heard it's a big deal. You got to get a good tent. You got to have a good tent. You got to do the whole thing.
I haven't prepared. I don't know what I'm going to wear in 30 minutes to go to this thing I got to go do.
Dress
I don't
nice.
have
It's a
anything planned
pilot.
beyond today.
Dress nice. It's a pilot. You got to look good.
Yeah, I agree. I hope I look good.
Maybe
That's
full
the goal.
99. Maybe wear shoulder pads, jersey, pants, helmet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for the Trenches Wednesday with Watt. JJ, this one was a good one.
Hell yeah.
Talked about soccer.
Oh, I loved it.
Talked about tickets.
Yep.
Talked about TV shows.
Yeah.
Orangutans, remember?
Oh yeah.
Macaques.
Yep.
This guy loves macaques.
Love them.
Spell it again. Spell it again. There's no way that was the correct spelling.
MACACQUE.
Boom.
That's what I'm thinking.
Pretty sure it is.
That's in my head. That's what I see.
CQUE. That's CQ. Does not feel like it can go together.
I agree. That's why as soon as it comes out of my mouth, I say, this guy's did it. OMCAQUES. Too many C's.
Oh.
Too many C's.
Man, that thing would be sick to have as a pet.
No. These ones.
It's the wrong one.
These ones.
These ones-
You know that fuck around and find out thing?
Yeah, bingo.
Right there at the top. Boom. Macaque. That thing, you don't want to be in there at all.
I don't know about the orangutans. These things will rip your meat off. First thing.
Yeah, speaking of, AJ Hawk is back. AJ Hawk is back. AJ, can you see us?
I can see you now. You guys look great.
Why are you so matter of fact about the orangutan straight to the meat, straight to the mouth? Why is
I'm not. First off, I'm talking more chimpanzees, but all primates, like all of them. Do not mess with them. Once their teeth develop and once they get those hormones in them, I told you, it's a matter of time before your meat's in your mouth. You know that.
Yeah, but how you say you know that to me? I don't know that.
It's a real thing. Look it up. That's what. Hey, look at my little friend. Oh, here we go. Yeah,
Holy
mess with that
shit.
guy. You want to talk to him? Her, whoever it is.
Good.
Yeah, please
Lord.
don't
good
misgender.
Yeah, can't have it.
Son of a bitch.
Exactly. Well, I can't
They're
tell
coming.
right here, but that's what I'm saying. Good luck.
I very much trust your opinion on primates. I will say, like, for some reason, you seem like you have researched this properly, and I believe that you have researched this properly. I don't know why.
I agree. It does feel
What
like
made you get into
what
what made you go down a road where your Google search led you to a primate's going to rip your meat off and put it in his mouth?
Well, I found this out years ago. The put it in your mouth part. I kind of came up with that one because I've always said, they said, why would they rip it off and put it in your mouth? I said, because that's the most disrespectful they can kill you, and they're your parents or your loved ones to find you dead with your meat in your mouth. So I added that part on. But
Okay.
Yeah, no. Listen, ripping the meat off is a real thing. I don't know where they place it once they rip it off. I just said.
Yeah, but you're saying
I'm
matter of
guessing
fact.
both.
You said you know that. It's like you're the only one.
Yeah,
I know that.
You just passed this information on to 20 million people on ESPN. Now everybody,
20 million.
I'm going to go around telling people.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Yeah, show's getting big, guys. Get on board.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because the hello thing, which we also talked about today.
We did.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. We got to break down the college football playoffs. You got to go film a pilot episode of What It Takes.
Hell yeah.
Where we find out what makes the greats great.
That's right.
What's the recipe?
We'll do it.
What's that?
Do a McAfee episode. We'll do a McAfee episode.
Yeah.
What makes Pat McAfee great?
That's going to be a no
Turner's
for me,
teeth
dog.
and black shirts.
All right. We appreciate you. It's been a good Wednesday. You're not welcome in here to do one of those, okay? You're not welcome to do one of those.
Hey, that's fine.
I don't deserve Chris Angel, Carrot Top, Mike Phelps, J.J. Watt. That's a great crew right there.
Yeah, Mark Davis.
What's that?
Bigger than them?
Bigger than Chris Angel?
Copperfield?
What? Poof.
I gave the answer in this interview somewhere.
Epstein?
Oh. What? Is it?
Why
is he a great in your eyes, AJ?
Yeah,
I didn't say he was a great.
Yeah,
I thought Jage was
with
tracking
your
people
birthday
down
with
there.
that. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on here.
Yeah, there's some. Let's get you out of here.
What it takes with the there's a lot
going on. Yeah, that's what I'm
Primates.
saying. A lot of people
Yeah.
say AJ's such a good boy. I'm like, you listening to what's coming out of his mouth?
I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt. Why'd you got to do that to our guest?
Nature. Sorry if you can't handle nature.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about
the other one.
We're trying to figure
Oh,
out.
I thought he made. Well, someone said he cloned himself, so I thought Jage was tracking him down.
Who said that?
He didn't clone himself. He changed
Reports.
You're just making shit up.
Yeah, he changed his
I'm not.
face.
I'm not.
He didn't clone himself.
I don't have any original thoughts. These are all things I see in here.
He looks like a different person. He didn't clone himself.
General Bob Carpenter will join us in 5 minutes. Okay, he's got his.
He knows
rank.
about primates. He knows.
We're not going to get into it because we just found out that you were just lying. To
Yeah, exactly.
You lied.
No,
to
I
me.
was not lying. I added the part where I believe they stick your meat in the mouth.
But you said that an hour and 15 minutes later. You see.
Okay. I don't get it.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Save them from the orangutans and chimpanzees. Put a little chastity belt on.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen out there. We got Bob Carpenter and Mike Elco on the other side of the break. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah. Shock that.
Yeah,
Shock. I can't make it. Steve Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team, pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe, Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to the conclusion no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm shot to kill them off, whatever it take. Pal, sing the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. I mean, why wouldn't you? It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life? Yes. All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron. You know that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah, the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening. You guys were absolutely jacked, dude.
Lighting's great.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
Hey,
Why?
Let's go! This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Primate Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is happening in a big way. That's AJ Hawk. He's a college football national champion. Packed barn, toxic table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler. And Penn State icon Super Bowl champion, 12-year NFL vet, a man who will host In the Trenches later today. AQ Shipley is here. Joining us now is a man who's joined us every single week with a ranking that the other rankers have been paying attention to when they're making their rankings. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the General Bob Carpenter's Top 10.
Yeah,
General, good to see you. Obviously, Ohio State loses to Michigan. That rattled the college football playoff rankings. I'm excited to see what it does to yours. Thank you for making time today. Let's go, General Bob Carpenter.
Oh, Coach, the college football world is on fire, and we sit here heading into conference championship weekend. I'm going to give you my top 10, but I feel like there's probably 8 teams that could be getting in here. Number 1, we're going to start off with the 10th team in. Penn State took care of Michigan State in a big way, 42-0. Take care of business. They're sitting there at 10-2. It's what they were last year, and they'll be sitting on a pretty nice bowl slate.
That, baby, that matters. Number 10 here.
Yeah.
Can't play in a Big Ten championship, but we'll have a good bowl win to go into the offseason.
Let's go.
Another year. Top 10 finish.
Fiesta Bowl. They feel good about life.
Wow, okay. Let's extend Jimmy Franklin maybe 10, 15, 20, 30, 30
That's it. Keep it rolling. 10-2, baby.
What do we think? We think we're going to crack in next year when there's no divisions in the Big Ten? Are we going to be able to get to the top 2 spots up there?
Well, listen, they can beat Iowa 31-0 and feel good about life.
Who's that?
Penn State.
At home.
Oh, that happened?
That happened.
Oh.
At home.
What do you mean?
Come to Kinnick next year, AQ, and we'll see what fucking happens. That's what I mean. He knows.
I do know,
He knows.
actually. I actually lost there. But now you add Washington.
Okay.
UCLA.
What?
Which?
USC.
Yeah. USC. And Oregon.
Oregon's a big one coming in there.
That's a big one.
Not that Washington isn't, no offense, but Oregon bringing in that Nike money.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of similar type recruiting there.
Yes.
I think that is, which is something big. Now, Washington's going to be able to recruit. Obviously, Seattle's a beautiful place. USC, UCLA going to be able to do that thing. But the Oregon humans, the players, feel like a Big Ten potential recruiting battle. Excited for that. Penn State's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Top 10 finish in the Generals. Okay.
Love it.
Who's number 9, General?
You gotta take it easy on AQ over there, Pat. I mean, listen, they're doing the best they can, all right? So give the happy value. Got to boost them up, all right?
Yeah, you are trying. You guys are playing football.
Give them a medal.
UConn doing the same thing. Hey, who's number 9?
All right, number 9, we got Mizzou sitting there. Did a heck of a job this year. Probably one of the most underrated stories you're going to find. Drinkowitz, probably my pick for Coach of the Year with what he was able to do. They smoked Arkansas 48-14, and because of that, we got a Bobby Petrino sighting back in Northwest Arkansas now. So I know that's exciting for the college football world.
Exciting for us. We love the Woo Pig Suey folks. Hope Petrino's, handles his press conference costuming a little bit different than the last one he had over there in Arkansas. But we're pulling for him. And this Missouri story is a beautiful one. Schrader, we had him on the show, obviously former walk-on, went and did his thing, kid from Missouri, kind of taking over there, cooked quarterback great. And Drinkowitz, you're right. What a turnaround, what a team. And remember, he ran right over to Heupel's face, and he said, we stand on business around here. Mm-hmm. Got a good little attitude, good little moxie.
Love it.
I like the Missouri team. Now, once again, that's another story. When you're down there in the SEC, teams like Penn State and the Big Ten, you can kind of get lost there at 3, 4, 5. Are they able to make the jump? We shall see. Who's 8?
All right, number 8. This is where we really it starts to get interesting, Pat, because all of these next teams, I think, can get in the CFP. Some control their own destiny. Some need a little bit of help. But number 8, I have the Texas Longhorns. They beat up Texas Tech pretty good. They played a lot better last week after Quinn Ewers feels like he's knocking some of the rust off. Arch Manning got a little sighting in the game. They might need a little bit of help, but I think the committee wants to try to get them in if they can take care of Oklahoma State in the Big 12.
And on the flip side, Oklahoma State would love to beat Oklahoma and then also beat Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get the big win. They get into the Big 12 championship. And then if they send Texas to the SEC with an L in the Big 12 championship, what a way for Gundy to kind of wrap up this season with that mullet. And on the flip side, Texas could take this Big 12 championship, say peace, go over to Bannister, go right over to the SEC.
Yeah.
Take the belt. That's not something that's great to happen.
No, not at all.
Oklahoma State's fighting for an entire conference.
Yeah, need them for the Big 12.
Texas has a win over Alabama, but you got Alabama seemingly ranked higher than Texas. You and the committee are in a little bit of odds there. Who's at 7?
It is, because I got Bama sitting there at 7. It's been tough because they've been playing some really good football, man, and they've really turned the corner. You look at how bad they were early in the season. Double-digit loss to Texas at home. South Florida game, muddling around. They benched Milroe. I understand, Auburn's not great this year, but they find a way to get it done. Holy smokes. And one of the most, captivating endings you're going to find. And Nick Saban, I know we never really give guys like him, Kirby Smart, Urban Meyer, those guys don't get coach of the year very often because it's always expected. But this might be Nick Saban's best coaching job he's put on in the last decade.
Yeah, they were obviously ranked and appreciated because they're Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Then they lose to Texas, and everybody's like, all right,
Team 6.
Bama has a down year. This is how it is. And all they've done is gone to work. We've been very lucky to kind of follow this year alongside Coach Saban and the development of Milroe. What type of defense was Auburn running there on that 4th and goal from the 31? A lot of people had question marks on how that whole thing worked.
Pretty soft. Too soft.
Yeah,
too soft.
I mean, what a play.
Unbelievable play. You don't see that every Saturday. Rivalry game like the General mentioned. Iron Bowl, don't care what the rankings are, throw them out. Great job getting that done.
I was watching that game thinking to myself, how did this team lose to New Mexico State 31-20?
No kidding.
Well, they were playing against Alabama. I'm like, how are these dudes even on this field able to lose a game in New Mexico State? I guess that's just how football goes. You never know what's going to happen. Rivalry games bring out the best, and Alabama got a big-time win. People are holding that over their head, though.
Yeah, they are.
People are holding that over their head. Oh, the team that almost lost to New Mexico State, it came down to a 4th and goal from the 31? Why does that team get anything? It's like, watch the whole thing.
Please.
Watch the whole thing. It's
different.
What did happen here on the defensive side of the ball, AJ? What do you think's going on? Rush 2? Spy?
I mean, Hail Marys, I feel like you got to get the quarterback off the spot and make him, you got to force the throw. Watch a couple of the Hail Marys Aaron has. If you don't force him and try to make him go to his right or left and, make it at least difficult, I think it's tough.
Well, and also, why do they have a spy? Is he going to run 31 yards?
Exactly. All three guys were basically spying him. Nobody was actually rushing him.
I'd like to run a little stunt game inside and flush him out to his left. That's the ideal situation.
And then he at least is on a tick on a clock whenever he gets outside the pocket because he doesn't have the protection.
I'm sending 6.
Has to throw across his body.
The other 5 get 20 yards off. I'm sending 6 guys after.
31-yard play has to happen.
Yeah.
And they pull it off.
Yep.
Somehow Alabama pulls it off. Maybe they're a team of destiny.
Could be.
Maybe they're a team of destiny. Let's go to our top 6 here, General.
All right, top 6 still control their own destiny. I got Oregon sitting there at 6. They're big favorites, by the way, in the Pac-12 championship. They disposed of Oregon State, did a nice job of that at home, 31-7. Bo Nix looked his typical fantastic self, over 350 yards passing, another couple touchdowns. It's going to be interesting how that Heisman talk shakes out as well. But Oregon, I think they're a team that people want to see in the CFP, given how explosive that offense has been. And then Dan Lanning has that defense playing really nice.
They do. Their resume is going to be one that is going to be tough for people to stand on.
Yep.
If you go back and see who they beat this year, there's not a lot of massive. Now, obviously, the Pac-12 was much better than it has been in a long time, and it's a shame that this is the last year of the conference champions.
Right, of course.
It is a damn shame. But some of their other wins, not great, but the way they're playing football, strictly eye test-wise, it's like, hey, this Oregon team is maybe the buzzsaw in the entire country right now. Selection Sunday just a few days away in the Pac-12 championship on Friday. Does University of Oregon win it, or does somebody in the top 5 win it in general? Who's 5?
Well, that's where I had to do it this week. It pained me to drop my Ohio State Buckeyes, losing 30-24. I know, it stings. It stings, man. But you know what? The tape doesn't lie. The score doesn't lie. Michigan went out there and executed and played a good football game. And 19 million people watching doesn't lie either. I mean, it was a heck of a football game. You want to come out on the winning end, and unfortunately, they didn't.
You think they can still make it in the CFP? That's why you're putting them at 5, hoping?
I think that there's a little bit of hope there. They need some things to happen. Maybe they turn that OSU scarlet and gray into a little orange and a little orange for them for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and probably cheering on Louisville Cardinals as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so if Louisville beats Florida State, Oklahoma State beats Texas.
Okay.
Georgia beats Bama, I guess.
Yep.
Oregon.
You need that.
Washington beat Oregon, or Oregon beat Washington?
I think Oregon can beat Washington as long as it looks good. If it's a tight game and there's that other stuff happen, you may see 2 Pac-12 teams, which ironically, Pac-12 couldn't get anyone in for years. They could have possibly 2 if it's maybe a 3-point game. If Washington wins, I think they're in, Oregon's out. If Oregon wins and it's close, maybe both. But I think if Oregon wins by 2 scores or more, then I think that might eliminate Washington.
All right, let's roll to your top 4. That's a heartbreaker seeing you put Ohio State outside.
No.
That's a shame.
I know.
One bad
It crushed me, Pat. Believe me.
One best Saturday.
One bad Saturday. That's all it takes.
I got to be real with the folks, man. I got to be real with the folks. I've got number 4, the Florida State Seminoles, and you want to talk about another tight one. They barely took care of Florida, poured it on at the end, but down 12-7 at half. Tate Rodemaker feeling his way around a little bit. Florida didn't have much offense. And this team is going to be, they're going to be the bane of the committee's existence because their results look good throughout the season. However, this is a different team without Jordan Travis. And they're going to have to put on a show against Louisville, who just lost to an average Kentucky team this year, to prove that they belong. I think the committee wants every reason to get Florida State out because without Jordan Travis, I don't think they feel like they'll be able to compete, even though they probably deserve to be in there.
Yeah, the Florida State conversation is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
On Sunday.
Don't let it happen.
I cannot wait for it. Because even with Jordan Travis as quarterback, there's people going, is the ACC anywhere near good enough to have a team that represents it? I don't care if they went undefeated and they showed up every single week and did what they had to do. They go into Florida, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And beat Florida in Florida. And I know Florida is nowhere near what we remember Florida as whenever Tim was doing his thing and everything like that. But it's still a huge win with a backup quarterback. And now all anybody's hoping for eye test wise is just like, we need another team in there.
Yeah.
And Florida State's fans are loud, and they're going to be. And they're back in their eyes. If they're to go undefeated, win an ACC championship and get held out, whoo!
Oh, man.
Whoo! It'll be loud. Who's your top three, Bob?
All right. Well, Coach, hanging on, hanging tough. If it wasn't for Florida State's rough performance, I may have dropped them, but Washington sits there at number 3. It's tied 14-14 all at half in the Apple Cup. They're able to pull that thing out tight, and I know that's a rivalry game. And it's, maybe it's the last one in the Pac-12, maybe the last one for a while. We'll see if they can get it squared away. But, you get worried because at the beginning of the season, they were scoring so much. Play a little tougher competition. Defense hasn't been quite as good. Offense has struggled some. And so I think the committee is looking at them like they might be a little vulnerable. And we'll see what happens Friday night in the Pac-12 championship against Oregon.
Hell of a year by DeBoer and Penix. Who do you got at number 2 and at 1? I'm excited to see who you place where.
I put Georgia at number 2, and they played Georgia Tech. It was kind of a little bit of a struggle. Georgia's been good. They've got some decent wins this year. Carson Beck was okay in the game, not quite hitting 200 yards, throwing a pick, throwing a touchdown. I think Georgia's been really good, but you've got to put Michigan at number 1. If you believe that Ohio State was sitting up there in the top 3, they have the best win of anybody this season now. They did it. It was at home. It was a big rivalry game. It was in front of God and everyone. Sharon did a great job coaching. Like they've really played good football this year when everybody was kind of counting them out the last couple of weeks. And so I've got to put Michigan at number 1. And believe me, it pains me like nobody's business to put them up there, but I've got to try to be true to what I believe.
Yeah, we respect it. They beat your number 1 team. You move them up there. A lot of things can happen in the next few days. Excited for your top 10. We got any gimmicks today, General?
Yeah, I got one gimmick, and we talked about it a little bit already, but I've got my Sixth Sense award that I'm putting out there because, Coach, I haven't seen an ending quite like this since I found out that Bruce Willis was dead in The Sixth Sense. And when I'm watching Jalen Milroe dance around and no pressure like you talked about, and he drops that 33-yard dime right back in the corner of the end zone, I'm sitting there thinking, as defensive coaches are everywhere, as D-Butt just pointed out, as AJ's pointing out, get some pressure on the guy, but give Jalen Milroe credit. They practice it. Nick Saban is a situational football guy, and that's a situation you see once a decade, and they executed on it for an ending like nobody's business.
All right. Well, they saw dead people out there, and we don't. Whenever we see you, we see a man that's alive. We appreciate the hell out of you, General. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Carpenter.
Hey, Bobo.
Let's go from college football rankings to a college football story that is awesome. This man has a big brain.
Huge.
Big brain. So much so that he was given head coaching duty at the Duke Blue Devils football team.
Wow.
And what did he do? I don't know, made him a national story, made him relevant. And you get a chance to meet him, you can see why. He's incredibly football intelligent. He's incredibly handsome. And if you see his head, you can tell he's a football guy. Used to play safety, flew around whenever he was playing as an Ivy League player. He's a former defensive coordinator at numerous stops where his defense is just ate up like the hungry hippos. And now, the biggest story in college football, it was who will fill in the spot that was left when $76.8 million was paid to fire Jimbo Fisher and move on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's this man. head coach of the Texas A&M Aggie football team, Mike Elco.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you. Still got the hype man going in my corner. I appreciate that from you always.
Well, to be clear, when I started hyping you up there, I didn't know if you were on the Zoom call or if we were connected or not. So as I was
I was on.
You're on.
I was on. Like I was in the corner getting ready to come out into the ring. You had me going.
Okay, well, first of all, what I didn't say in there, and I think we would all like to, congratulations, man.
Here you go, Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
I appreciate you.
Now,
really exciting time for me. Exciting time for my family. Obviously, this is a dream opportunity that we've been hoping for a long time, and so so excited to be here and be part of this thing.
Okay, so you were there a few years ago, obviously as defense coordinator. You leave to go be the head coach at Duke. What you do at Duke is phenomenal from a football standpoint. Game day was down there. We were down there. Your players loved you. Your team loved you. Now in the world that we're in right now, getting to a place like Texas A&M, we all just saw the $76.8 million buyout. It's like you're going to have an opportunity now to kind of, recruit and do things that maybe you weren't able to do at Duke, no offense to Duke, but like now you're getting an opportunity to really go, right? Is that what's kind of drew you to Texas A&M? And how do you feel now about what the next steps are to kind of get the team back on track?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously this is a place that is resourced and supported at a level that you can win it all, right? And as a coach, that's what you want. You want to be supported by a fan base and resourced in a way that you can go out there and you can win the whole thing. And we certainly can do that. And then, what's next? What's next is everything. We got to put a staff together. We got to start building relationships with the current class that's committed. We got to build relationships with the guys in this building. And we got to go to work. And we've got to become what this program is capable of becoming. It's certainly been well documented how much this place has to offer. We've got to make all of that a reality.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, where are you at in the process of building your staff? That's something that not as many casual fans, I think, talk about. You got to come in and find the right staff and who you want to hire, who do you want there. How difficult is that, and how long do you think that'll take?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's critical, right? The people that back me and the people that support me and the pyramid that we form from the top down throughout this organization is ultimately what leads to our successes and our failures. And so we're going to do it as fast as we can, but we're also going to make sure we do it the right way and that we get guys in here that can coach football, can relate to kids, can recruit, and can do all the things that you need to do to build the program we want to build.
Are you sitting in your office right now? Where are you?
I am sitting right in my office.
I like how we got nothing on it yet. Nothing.
Hell yeah. Nothing. Decorations will come next year.
Oh, I respect.
We got to win a bunch of games. We got to get a bunch of recruits. We got to get some people in this building. There's an awful lot of things that are going to happen before we start decorating stuff.
Okay, so I assume that there's going to be a lot of places that wanted your services for how good of a football coach you are and for everything we learned about you this year. Now, we should have known about you before. We apologize. But learning about you, you seem to do everything right. Texas A&M, obviously they have all the resources to everything. Is it a place you think that can go, or is it a place that you're going to have to win right now? What are your expectations from the people that you're talking to at Texas A&M, and what have others maybe told you about potentially taking this job versus maybe another place that you could have went to?
Yeah, no, I think this one was a little bit unique for me because I know this place hands down, right? And I spent 4 years here, and I've said this to a bunch of recruits. I know every reason why we should win a national championship here, and I kind of know some of the reasons why we haven't. And I'm the guy that can come in here, in my opinion, and bridge this gap the way we need to. And the reason why I'm here is, one, because of how special this place was to me and my family for the 4 years that I was here last time. And the two, because I think we can do it all. We can win it all, and we can do it the right way. And those two things, for anybody who knows me or anybody who's ever talked to me, that's all I've ever wanted. I wanted a place where I could win it all the right way. And that's what I think we can do here at Texas A&M.
That's phenomenal. Their fan base is always there. Always there. Every video I've seen, they are always there.
Any game, anytime, any opponent, whenever, wherever, we're going to be 103,000 strong in Kyle Field.
Coach, these videos have been hitting the internet, though, the night before games. They're called yell practice or something.
Something like that, yeah.
You need to. I mean, I assume it's a massive tradition, but those need not get let out publicly.
Can't have it.
You need to stay in-house. Those need to stay in-house, Coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, here's the thing you got to realize, though, Pat, and I tell this to people all the time. I've told them this about Texas A&M, right? People outside of it maybe don't understand it, but the spirit of this place is unique. And you tell me where else you can get 50,000 fans in a stadium 24 hours before kickoff.
Okay. All right. No. Hey, listen, maybe keep the Yelp practice.
Also true.
All right. Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, Darius.
I'm just saying. There's
Darius,
not a lot of programs that can put that many people in a stadium that far before kickoff.
People loyal down there. Yeah. Darius has a question for you.
Send a couple of them out to Houston, help my guys out.
Yeah.
But, something a lot of people don't talk about, and obviously you have experience with it. Congratulations once again. But how tough is it to kind of move on and I guess up, in this business as coaching, especially recruiting kids and then moving on? How challenging is that for a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the worst part of what happens, and obviously, listen, I made the decision to come here, and to some degree, words become hollow at that point. But you make a lot of special connections. I'm very thankful to President Price and Athletic Director Nina King. They were the ones who believed in me and gave me that opportunity. There were an awful lot of people around that program that supported me, and there's a lot of players in that locker room that believed in me, and all of that comes together and creates this opportunity for me. And in some degree, you turn your back on all of that, and that's never easy. And that's not something that I take lightly at all. And the best I can do is just say that I'll be there to support them, and whatever they ever need from me, I'll be there for them.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, just curious. So, when you come into this situation, how do you balance the use of the transfer portal and recruiting? Because obviously you want to recruit your own guys, and you need to do that because the portal is, in a sense, almost kind of just slapping a Band-Aid on things. For a quick turnaround. But when you understand the expectations, like at Texas A&M, it's not one of those things where it's, hey, we have a bunch of time to get our own guys in here and we can kind of take the lumps and maybe not do that great until those guys develop. How do you kind of manage that fine line between, hey, we want to go out and we want to recruit our guys, but we also need to kind of look in the portal and try to improve very quickly for next year?
Yeah, I think the first part of that is culture wins, and talented culture wins championships. And so that has to be at the premium. And so everyone that we bring into this program has to want to be part of Texas A&M football. And so a large chunk of that is always going to be high school recruits. We play in the greatest football state in the country. The high school football in Texas is where everything will start for us, making sure we build relationships with everybody in this state and clean this state out for every kid that we think fits us the right way. But then you got to expand, right? And expansion nowadays is going national in recruiting, and it's the portal. And the portal's always got a piece of how you recruit and how you supplement your roster.
Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, I would imagine your time that you've already spent there on campus, you already have great relationships with a lot of the big-time high school coaches in Texas. How big of a part is that? How easy did it make it to come back there knowing you already have these relationships in place? And like you said, you want to clean Texas out of all the talent that would fit your program.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing that people are going to support you and believe in you, right? Anytime you go to a place where you've established relationships, you've done things the right way.
Oh, it's gone. They're throttled.
When you can go back into that environment, those people are going to support you every way they can. And, that in and of itself creates a comfort level that makes this feel like it could happen really fast for us.
What was the interview process like? Did you have to lay out your recruiting pitch to people in Texas? Was it they wanted you, they were pitching you bad to come back? What was the whole kind of give and take to get you to this point?
Those things are always extensive. It starts with a little bit of an initial conversation, and then a lot of times it's the body of work, and that's all I've ever sold. I sold the body of work of what I did here at Texas A&M for 4 years, and what we did on defense, incrementally getting better every single year that I was here, and then what I did at Duke as a head football coach. And I've always kind of let my body of work speak for who I am. I've not been a guy who goes out publicly and makes a lot of loud, outrageous statements. It's just not who I am. That's probably why you never heard of me prior to you coming down to campus and checking in on us. But if you check my background and you check who I've been and you check what I've done over the years, that'll measure up against anybody in the country.
A lot of the guys that you had over at Duke on the coaching staff going to make the trip with you, or do you have to recruit those guys, I assume, because whenever you have success, everybody's looking to grab a piece of that?
Yeah, no doubt. And listen, you try to be as loyal as you can to the people who helped get you here. There's quite a few guys that will fit. And then there's other guys. The hard part about when you do this, people don't realize is there's a whole bunch of people you have relationships with in coaching, and either cross paths with them and respect them, or have worked with them or spent time with them. And you got this huge pot of guys. And what I have to do is I just got to put together the right puzzle for Texas A&M at this time. And again, we're going to take our time and do that the right way.
How happy are you to be back in the SEC? Get a chance to chat with Feinbaum today, huh? That's a dream come true, huh? We're back in the SEC.
I'll tell you what, you've made it when you get a request to double team McAfee and Feinbaum in the same day.
Whoa.
That's when you know you're where you want to be as a coach.
Hey, listen, that's a tag team that I think the world doesn't need a lot of, but you are going to crush it, obviously, on that show as you did this one. We can't wait to see what you do down there, man. You're a good ball coach and a good dude. We're proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Pat. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me this year, and obviously look forward to continuing this, and just appreciate your show, everything you're doing, everything you guys are about.
Well, it's stupid. You know that. So I appreciate the fact that a super genius like yourself can appreciate it. Now, as you're piecing together that contract, you're like, if they want to fire me, it's fine, but I know how it goes down here. We need $79 million to buy out of this thing. How much of that business that has taken place? And the coaching, college coaching business is obviously an insane one. And there's a fine gentleman who is a Southern boy who's really at the pinnacle of all of it, Mr. Jimmy Sexton. How much do you pay attention to all that? And how quick did that deal get done for you to get to Texas A&M once you guys agreed that you were the right for each other?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to be the unicorn in this business and how this stuff goes. I started getting paid way more than I needed to coach football a long time ago. And so I got people that handle that. I want a job. I want an opportunity. I want to win football games. I want to win championships. The rest of that stuff, I let other people handle. And, listen, we get what we get, and it's crazy. And from how I grew up, where I started in this business, I was at the United States Merchant Marine Academy calling plays. And so I've way exceeded expectations from where this thing started for me.
Hell yeah. Well, congrats. You've earned it all along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, new coach at Texas A&M, Mike Elco. Thank you, pal.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you, man. Make sure they pay you, and if they fire you, though. Not when, if.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, make sure.
I may hire you. You're going to be half agent, half hype man.
Hey, you got it, bro. You got it. Hey, I'm okay with that job. Pretty good at both of them. You're the man. You deserve it all. Coach Elco, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Coach.
We love that guy.
Yeah, they're going to go.
I think so.
Absolutely.
And he said, this place has the backing to win it all. What he said was, this place has the money.
Yeah.
To be able to do whatever the hell we need to do.
Right.
And that's why whenever Jimbo Fisher gets fired, everybody says, 77 million, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's a huge story. It is. But every other coach is like, they're paying $77 million for somebody to leave there. Think about how much money they'll spend to get people in there to do that entirely. Not just for them, but for his staff, so he can pay a coaching staff. And then obviously with the way recruiting is now in the transfer portal, how it's free agency pretty much. When he was at Duke, now obviously Duke is a very well-to-do school, and I had a great time down there. It was awesome. I appreciated it all. It's like at Texas A&M, a little bit different. Like, hey, if there's a Texas quarterback maybe that is thinking about going to SEC Texas, they're also in the SEC, or thinking about going to Texas A&M, all of a sudden the Duke boosters are like, go to another state. Let's find another. There's got to be another quarterback out there. We're not paying a guy $7 million, $5 million. Get out of here.
Fucking nuts.
What are we talking about? Texas A&M's like, how much we got to pay? How much to get him?
Give him 15.
You're right. You're right. You don't deserve that. You deserve more money. It's like, not that Mike Elko will waste that. He will use that in a very intelligent manner. But the fact that he has that as an added weapon on top of what he already can do, it's like he's already got a good eye for talent.
Yep.
We've been able to see that for what he's been able to build. And now he's going to be able to get in some guys, recruit some guys that have not been touchable by a Mike Elko staff before. It's good. It's a weapon. Good for him.
It was quick, too, at Duke. It's not like that took very long. It was one bad year, and then right away they had this year. And obviously, if Riley Leonard doesn't get hurt, they're probably in a much different position. But yeah, Texas A&M might go.
And you heard Riley talk about him.
Yes.
And you heard everybody else talk about him. It's like and you heard his answer there. He's like, you feel like you turn your back kind of on everybody over there. He's still battling with the guilt.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Part of the business.
Hard though. Hard now too. Like the guilt of leaving. Okay, there's probably a couple people you want to bring with you. How many guys on the staff do you keep? I know they've already announced some different guys on the A&M staff that won't be coming back. Like that's a tough process. Not only do you have to figure out who's available, who you can hire, but that's the great thing about A&M. and that people don't talk about much. When you have money to hire your assistants, that's the biggest thing. A lot of coaches go back and try to renegotiate contracts where they add like an extra $1 million that they can spread out to their coaching staff. Like, that's a big deal, man. You got to be able to pay the best assistants.
Allegedly, it's why Rich Rod ended up leaving West Virginia. Allegedly. Really? Why he went to Michigan is because he couldn't get any money to pay his staff. Yeah. He couldn't get any more money to pay his staff at all, let alone recruiting money and everything like that at that time in West Virginia. But it's like paying the staff is a whole nother added amount of money that nobody thinks about. Recruits, we got to pay for recruits. We got to pay the head coach, obviously. We got to build facilities. We got to do this. Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks about like, but who's like developing what we got going on? Because there's good coaches, and then there's some bad coaches. There's bad coaches out there.
There's plenty of them, yeah.
There's bad coaches.
I think they got $11 million, I believe, is from the sheet that was released to the public, is how much he has in a pool for assistant coaches.
Pretty good amount of money.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that compared to other big schools?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I assume he could probably get more if he needed it too.
Yeah.
What's like the structure typically when it comes to like roster building in the college? Is all on the head coach? I know some guys are more football guys, and then maybe you have like a recruiting coordinator or like guys like what's that dynamic?
Yeah, like a general manager. Do they have a? I think it's coach.
Head coach. Gotta be.
I think they're
calling all the shots.
I think they're part of it. They probably have people that go through it at some places. Like Saban talks about having a sports psychologist and this, and I assume they have like people that are like, hey, we need this type of guy or this type of position. We have weaknesses in this. But I think it's always the head coach.
Recruiting too, man.
Especially a guy like him who's said multiple times like how important his culture is. Like I don't think like he's probably wanting to meet these kids and see, and he's not just letting some guy be like, oh yeah, this kid would fit in, no problem. You know, like he probably wants to meet him and talk to him face to face.
This made its way onto X. This is allegedly Elco's contract, and right there, salary pool for assistant coaches, analysts, operating, recruiting, strength and conditioning, $11 million. Is that per year or for the entire thing? Who knows? Excited to see how he divvies that out and who he ends up getting. And he said, got to be the right fit for here. You know, all the people got to be the right fit for here. I'm excited to see what he thinks.
Me too.
Texas A&M goes.
It'd be sick.
I trust Elco.
Did you see that firing clause?
No.
It's only 75% now. They're not doing the full 100% like they did on the last one.
Oh, you're talking about they negotiated another 25%. I think it's the same agent. I think they negotiated.
Really?
I think.
Nice.
What if he wants to bring Jimbo back to be his D coordinator?
He's an offensive guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Elco's a D coordinator.
Jimbo?
Yeah.
Well, is he calling the defense?
I don't know if Elco won't be. Santucci was doing it for him over there.
Oh, yeah.
Duke, Pittsburgh kid.
Right.
That's why I remembered him. He was the one I thought of actually whenever I was like, go ahead and say you're bringing Santucci in the SEC. Good for this. Good for this kid out of Pittsburgh. He's like, we got to make sure we got the right fit in there. I think they wanted the interim coach too. You know what? I think some of the players.
Some of the players, yeah. Definitely liked him. Elijah Robinson. He was the assistant head coach and D-line coach.
Who was the coach at Wisconsin before Fickle went in there? Former
Jim Leonard.
Jim Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, there was a full
huge thing.
Keep him around. We want Jim to stay. He's one of us.
Yeah.
He's as good here.
And he said he would keep him, right? But then Jim Leonard was like, I'm not. I don't want to stay on.
Stayed in the Big Ten, right? Jim Leonard?
I don't know.
Where'd he go?
I didn't think he stayed with.
I just remember.
I thought he's not coaching.
He's not?
I don't know. I haven't seen him pop up.
But I know that when they hired Luke Fickell, though, it felt like all those, we need Jim Leonard to stick around, kind of did get a little quieter. You know, it's like, oh, Fickell, pretty good coach.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And then Leonard chose not to stick around there. But that's always.
Illinois.
Illinois, okay.
I thought he was in the Big Ten.
That's like a 2-month process there where there's a lot of hurt feelings.
Oh, yeah.
But if you win games, guess who cares? Nobody.
Well, and I'm pretty sure Jim Leonard turned down the Packers DC job. Like they were trying to get him to come do it. And I don't think he wanted to. And then, they hire.
But he was coaching in the NFL before the Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Bills or Ravens or something.
Sounds like you know. Why don't you just say it?
Yeah.
Well, I remember playing against him. He was a hell of a player.
Great.
He was awesome.
Heady.
Great player.
Yeah, use that thing.
Yeah, it's like what all undersized white guys. Boom. Just do that.
There's no reason for
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah. You're not
There's
even.
no reason.
Well, you're not even using it.
Expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's not your microphone.
What the hell?
It made the sound. That was the perfect sound.
Do it on the corner of that table.
Wrong.
And we just got, speaking of wrong, Jim Leonard never coached in the NFL.
He didn't coach?
Never coached in the NFL. Maybe you hit your head off too many microphones.
Hey, Q.
Maybe. This is perfect.
Let's cover some things we haven't covered today. Aaron Rodgers is thrown on the practice field today.
Whoa.
They opened his 21-day window in which they have to make a decision on whether he's going to be activated to the roster or if he's going to be put back on IR for the rest of the season in the next 3 weeks. If you remember, it was his left Achilles, right? That was torn. So whenever he's throwing here, see, he gets a little one-legged.
Yeah.
He's going up onto one leg. He's spinning it a little bit. Obviously, big guy in the jacket gets in the way, gets out of the way. Throwing it hard. This is probably the day of the week in which he throws. He has a workout routine. They open his practice ability. Obviously, the world goes crazy. They see him on the field spinning it, especially going up onto one. Going up onto 1 foot with a little two-step there, a little explosion there. Is this guy about to do it, AJ? What do you know that we don't?
I don't know much, but he did say yesterday he's excited to get back on the practice field. So there he is.
He's excited. He's excited. Here's the first video that made its way
I
onto
see
the
him
internet.
go up on his toe. I need to see him go up on that left toe.
He's up on 1 foot, dude, when he's throwing on purpose. This is clearly on purpose, right? Boom, there. Let me lift my leg up. Let me showcase that I can go on 1 foot here. Is he wearing those super shoes?
I'm sure he is.
Kind of looks like it.
With some studs in the bottom of them.
Yeah, make them cleats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should.
Make them cleats. You know Tyreek has those Travis Scott's with cleats on the bottom.
So cool.
Have you seen those?
Yes.
Those things turn sideways. I was watching Hard Knocks because I looked at the shoe. I'm like, those are really cool. Are those built to be like running or whatever? He's bashing everybody on the field wearing Travis Scott cleats. It's phenomenal. Those things were sideways at one point. He's just running right by somebody.
Absurd.
Those cleats, if they...
It's a cheat code.
He is.
It's a cheat code.
It's ridiculous.
So is Aaron. This guy comes...
Yeah, I
What
mean,
if they played barefoot? Everybody.
Who do the Jets have this weekend? 'Cause just seeing
Yeah,
Aaron on
take
that
him.
other field,
Always,
that
yeah.
practice field, that gives you,
Falcons,
you know, your guys
they're
coming back.
3-point dogs to the Falcons at home.
Already.
Well, Falcons are hot right now, too. They're in the lead in the NFC South. Just a few weeks ago, they were calling for Artie's head in Athens. They're currently in the lead. They got the Falcons, then they got the Texans, then they got the Dolphins, then they got the Commanders,
Yikes.
Browns, Patriots.
Okay.
So if they're in it at the end, that last game, Aaron might come back in.
Oh, that would be.
Do you imagine? They're 8-8 maybe.
That's January 7th to be determined. The Browns game the week before, not one you want to, the Browns defense, not necessarily.
Unless Miles is out.
They got the Commanders, though, December 24th, right before Christmas.
Ooh.
But if the Jets lose this next game, they still have hope. Can they lose 2 games, the next 2, and still have hope to?
I don't think so.
No, 9 is that number.
Yeah, with the AFC, with where everybody is, I don't think they can lose a couple straight here. They're going to have to get going.
Come on, Tim.
Falcons, Texans, Dolphins, next 3. Have to win 2 of those.
Yeah, if they win Falcons and Texans, maybe he does come back for that third one.
Well, if he doesn't, let's say Commanders on Christmas Eve.
That's what Rap Sheet said he was aiming for, allegedly.
Rap Sheet said he was aiming for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know.
I'm sure Aaron agrees with that.
Yeah. Okay. All of our responses. Okay.
Okay.
But he also did not tell us yesterday he's going to be back on the practice field, literally.
And will and behold.
Less than 24 hours later.
That would've
So
been-
what do we know? Fucking nothing. We don't know a damn. That guy knows, though.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
He said yesterday. He's
No, I
trying
just
to
know
get-
he said yesterday. Can't wait to get on the practice field tomorrow.
Speaking of the practice field, let's get better ourselves here.
Let's go.
Let's go into trenches, ladies and gentlemen.
You go AQ.
With AQ Shipley.
What do you say, Cush?
Every single week, this guy,
here we go.
who's a 12-year NFL vet, dives into the trenches around the NFL to showcase the best offensive lines and run games and offensive linemen in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley.
Yeah, baby, AQ.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's start with the Oakland Raiders. Hey, let's start right here. Michael Mayer.
Oh, man, that
we're
microphone.
cutting now. We're
That's
cutting now.
too
We're cutting
dandy.
now.
Did you head?
I think you're going to have to come over here a little bit.
Which way?
Right there.
Come this way?
Headbutt that one
Yeah,
too?
I think that's
That's the move. Get away from there.
I think so.
Michael Mayer, rookie out of Notre Dame. He's the one who gets this thing broke. Now, let's watch him put 97.
Oh, geez.
You want
handheld?
Which way is it? Which way am I going
We
to
should
go?
try to fix that thing, though, at some point. Yeah, just turn it off. He's got the handheld. You're
That's
using
Right behind you here, Cush.
handheld will be good. Oh, now the handheld's off.
Go ahead.
Turn it on.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. What an embarrassment this program is.
It's
You have to turn off the mic on your pack. Here, come here for a second. Let me see this.
Probably just free that antenna on that pack and make sound a little.
Yeah, and then we...
there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah!
Nailed it. We're back.
Yes, we are.
All right, here we go. Michael Mayer, rookie out of Notre Dame. Watch this little chip. We got a little triple block between him and Colton Miller, the left tackle.
Why is it called a triple?
Okay, so center and guard right here is a single. Guard and tackle would be a double. Tackle, tight end is a triple. So we just work from
inside out. There it is. Now watch that. Look him get away. Put him back on Colton Miller. There it is. Get out on him. And jeez.
Out the game.
See,
Get off.
Hey, Darius, how hard is that? How hard is Mike Edwards, right?
Yeah.
In space with 20 yards of space, having to come down and make that tackle.
Yeah, it's tough. You want to try to cut off, obviously, the field, get him to that sideline, use that 12th man as your friend, but then you got to deal with that stiff arm. You got to be ready to break down that stiff arm, get him on the ground, but that's an art in itself. Great run.
Another thing that sets us up, AJ, I don't know if you can talk a little bit about this too, but if we go back to this, can we go back to the beginning here?
Yes, sir.
Tranquil, right? Drew Tranquil right here comes downhill. Why does he not go over the top? Because he basically gets the block for the center. If he gets over the top there, we might have a chance, but he runs right into the center, tries to make the play downhill as opposed to going over the top.
What's the deal, AJ?
I mean, he's trying to kind of mirror the footwork of the back, but yeah, I just don't know exactly what if he puts his foot in the ground and he hits that downhill in the A gap and 54 doesn't come over the top, that might be on Tranquil.
McDuffie,
you can come downhill and blast an O-lineman like that.
You got a small nickel back in there, too.
Look at the sense of urgency on Mayer, though. That's what I love. Like I tell kids, like you need to have a sense of urgency and strain. Like, look at this.
Boom.
Eyes on his next guy. Boom. Feet.
Run the feet. That's the key.
Has he been doing more of this stuff lately? Because when he coming out of Notre Dame, some people's knock on him was that he was basically just a receiving threat and couldn't block in the run game at all.
I mean, this is big time. You know, listen, like they haven't run the ball. Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, listen, especially judging people as a rookie, you got to find your way, you got to find your feet, and especially in this part of the game, you got to figure it out. But here we are in week 11. That is a hell of a block, and they get 65 out the gate. Oh, now I love this. I talked to Pat a little bit about this Here, go back to the very beginning. I just want to kind of talk about this. So when we start and they line up like this originally, we get the tight end over here, we get the fullback over here, which they know that going into it. So now we get them as a nickel defense lining up, or if they're in base defense, whatever, we're going to get in an over defense to get the three techniques set here. They know that pre-snap. Now they're going to get the fullback over there, but eventually what they want to get to is the tight end and is going to motion over here. So they set the strength over here, get them to align to it as the strength, get him going over, and then they get the double team there. There's no time to readjust. They're trying to. There's just no time because we're snapping the ball before he gets over there. And then we get the tight end through in the Sam. We get the misdirection with the toss, split zone cutback. Fullback then will go back on the will, and it allows us to get a great angle on the single center guard to the mic. This is awesome stuff.
Hell yeah.
I think I sent this to AJ on Monday.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great point, AQ. You can't get your three in your shade flipped when they're snapping the ball when he's directly behind your quarterback right there. If he went over and got set, yeah, okay, here we go. You can go pat the D line and get him moved over. There's not enough time.
Has McDaniel kind of changed NFL offenses? Would you say?
He is. And again, I said this earlier on the show. He is the one person that when the ideas come on Monday and Tuesday to actually implement them and have enough balls to put them in the game plan and run them in the game. All this play is if you had the tight end over here, they're basically just running a split zone. But by doing this, with motioning the tight end over, you can insert him through the B gap to get on the Sam. If this tight end was on the ball right here, you'd have to work some type of a combo with him and the tackle to get there.
Triple.
But a triple. But by doing this, now you get something different. It's just giving the defense something different with their eyes.
Yeah, I love McDaniel's always doing something.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He's always up to something.
Him walking in, was awesome with that puffy jacket on. Actually, loved that.
Dude, you should watch that Hard Knocks. He was sitting there and they asked him like a question about, they give cakes to turnovers on defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, how'd the cakes start? And you would have thought they asked him like the question in Harvard where that janitor figured it out.
Sure.
Where he goes, oh, the cakes. Tim Casper, Coach Casper, I think he talked to the team and he said he would give them cakes, and then it just became a trend. And then they just cut away from it. It was listening to him describe it like he's right, 100% right. Super smart, obviously. But the way he chooses to speak and operate and act and does, like the way he is just nothing like what you think an NFL head coach would be. But because he does this type of stuff and because they're so successful and because he's always himself, it works down there. He feels like the perfect coach for this team.
Perfect. I agree. I love watching him on Hard Knocks. I love watching his interviews. I love watching just the way he operates, and he's so smart at the football stuff. One last point I want to make about this is the toss. We get the toss. Anytime you get the toss, when they're running just a simple split mid-zone right here, they have to think that it's going outside, so we get them flying over the top. It sets up the blocks for everything.
Instead, it's a toss inside.
Bingo. We get the cutback.
Is there any like smart McDaniel stuff? Because I want to just like hear, because obviously he's very smart. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah, he talks about the routes and why he picks for routes to do things. Like he breaks down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear him, but his delivery is always in just a manner that is just like so casual, so chill. You just kind of got to piece through it. I assume there's been a lot of conversations that McDaniel's been in with not smart people where they think to themselves, this guy's a doofus.
Yeah.
He's got no idea. It takes like I think why he got a head coaching job is because somebody was like, hey, this guy's actually a fucking genius. Yeah. We just got to listen to how he speaks as opposed to everything. He is awesome to watch on there. And what he's doing in the game is different than anybody, right?
It's completely
in the
different.
history?
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, he's taking just one or two different assignments. We've seen it in San Fran, and he was the architect behind that. Let's not forget that. Everybody talks about it. The offensive line coach out there, he'll be the first one to say it. He's the one that has been the guy in the run game to change these assignments.
We have a guy joining us in the middle of this In the Trenches, which is fantastic. We have no idea why or how. This is unexpected and unannounced.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us again is a person called. We didn't answer. We're calling him back.
Who is it? The suspense is killing me.
It's got to be Kaboli.
It's got to be Aaron.
It's not Aaron. Aaron's on practice field today. AQ. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt.
Wow.
Yes.
What's going on?
I got a bone to pick.
With who?
I got a bone to pick. I was watching the film of the show, and the Texans photo that you put up, they were wearing battle red this week.
No.
In that photo,
You saw
they were
those
wearing
seats.
blue.
No. That was from this week.
No, it wasn't. You sons of bitches. Whoa. You sons of bitches.
All right. Maybe we did take the chance.
I love that he
maybe
called
we
back
did
for
take
that.
the chance to really say some stuff about the
Was that
Houston
like
Texans.
4 years ago?
No. It was from November 19th.
Yeah, it was definitely the season, though. It was this season.
It was this season.
It was this season.
This is some grade A bullshit.
Oh, there was one from this week, too.
Yeah, hey, put this one back up.
Yeah, hey, Gump, stay in the back room and shut your mouth, all right?
It's giving you facts, JJ. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't need your facts. I'm sick of it. I'm pissed over here.
All right. Well, hey, listen, we take back everything we said.
right.
But with that being
All right,
said,
go back to AQ swinging his legs and showing off fun blocking schemes.
Thanks, man. We'll show your defensive line getting their fucking asses kicked. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Well, next time we're not going to go for a walk. We'll do a little one-on-one in my backyard.
I got Phil. I got Phil.
only one person's taking a walk.
I have played against you a few times. Let's not forget that.
Not now. Hey, JJ, I want to let you know, AQ at about 2:30 where he's sitting at right now, he's still going to try the same tactics, though. You know, he's going to lead with the head.
Go get him.
You know what he's
Yeah,
trying
he's
to
going
do?
to cut block. He's going to cut block. That's what I would do if I was scared, too.
Bingo.
Oh.
Scaredy cat.
All right. Both you going to need
Later.
I love it.
See you, dude. Sorry about it.
Wow.
Love it.
Nice little rivalry.
Trenches.
I did like that you brought that up, though.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I've been watching.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it say 11-19.
When is that picture from, by the way?
The ones from this week aren't
It is from this year?
It was from last week's game.
Oh, perfect.
This has been an issue all season.
Yes.
It has been an issue all season. We just chose to bring it up in a very loud fashion.
I love it.
Because he's thinking about return. Is that why he's thinking about returning?
Could be.
Sell out a stadium.
Right.
Smart move.
Taylor Swift.
Of the program.
Let's talk about, hey, Jason Kelsey said Jordan Phillips, a little dirty stuff in there.
Yeah.
You see that on the film? Did you watch it?
We did see it. I think everybody saw it. There was a couple times, on the, what was it? There was the quarterback sneak where he jumped the count, and then there was a couple other ones late after the play where he was kind of throwing a little knee, hopping on pile late.
What's that? Is that normal? Is that normal operating procedure?
Listen, every D lineman's got their little shtick. You're always trying to everybody's trying to get under everybody's skin. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, you're not like that, right? Offensive linemen don't have their little things either, right?
Well, we got plenty of plays later where you can judge us offensive linemen. But on this play, Jason Kelsey, Cam Jurgens. We're going to watch them. Love this scheme. All it is an inside zone, but we're going to cut the defense right now with big Landon Dickerson on the down block. Kick out. And listen, we've said this. These guys are good linebackers, but they're light.
Yeah.
They are light. And this is one thing we continue to see over and over again with these Buffalo Bills is their linebackers are getting thrown in the run game a little bit. I think that's starting to be a little point of contention that people are going after.
You think that people know that?
Yeah, we saw it a couple weeks ago with Miners, right? Whenever he just threw 43, like that. This is same guy. He's phenomenal linebacker. He's quick. If he can get to the gap and beat you there, boom. But he just takes himself 7 yards out of the play right there.
Yeah. We talk about like one guy affecting the O-line. Like Matt Milano is that one guy for Buffalo on defense as a whole. But if you're Buffalo, how are you not knocking on Shaq Leonard's door and giving him whatever the hell he is?
Well, that's not his style either.
Oh, yeah, true.
Shaq is a
finesse guy, right?
Shaq is a sideline guy. He's going to find – he's visiting this team, I guess.
Yeah, Philly.
He's visiting this team after visiting Dallas.
And it's Sirianni or
Which makes
Boas,
sense,
too.
yeah.
See, text him 10 times a day.
I mean, how good is that? How good is it? I mean, he doesn't get touched for 50 yards.
That'd be fun.
It's got to be awesome, right?
That'd be fun. Hey, that's why
we're just going to run
Sirianni's
individual
talking his
drills.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a big-time win.
The Eagles are winning so much, too. So many of these defenses, I feel like in today's game, are kind of built to almost just survive the run game.
Go back to the beginning on this.
But survive the run game and get to the fourth quarter.
Listen, Kelsey makes this whole thing run, obviously, with how athletic he is, but this is a great scheme because all this is, like I said, this is an inside zone. If you were to just single this, and now Jordan Phillips, I think this is, right? Is this 97? Yep. So he's able to just kind of push this pocket this way. Now he has to get a cutback, and now you don't have it. But this is the new thing that they've been doing, especially with athletic centers, is we get this down block right here. You widen here. It creates the hole. It makes it super easy because now we get him kicked out, him cut down. As long as we can get the kick out here and get to the backside, that creates the huge hole. And now with the zone scheme, a lot of times you see everything just pushing sideways. And then you cut back. Eventually there's going to be an unblocked defender that's going to make the tackle.
But not with Philly. He'll run downhill.
That's awesome.
Right.
With a couple pulls and such. They got a lot of big, gaping holes.
Oh, I love this. I think we got eyes on this, right? So we get the motion. We get McCaffrey going out wide, and then he's going to come back in and settle right here on the wing. Show the same form. Oh, there we go. You're going to watch this guy. You're going to watch this guy. You're going to watch this guy. You're going to watch all these guys on the second level because they see something. They smell something, right? Oh, here comes the shovel pass to McCaffrey. Watch it freeze all of them for a second as they just sit there and we hand off to Debo, and he just walks in for an untouched touchdown.
Oh.
You see how they all just kind of froze?
Yeah.
It's just constant, over and over again when you turn on this film. They get in the same formations. It's always this deuce off. Deuce because we got two tight end bodies. But guess who the bodies are? Kittle, and now we got McCaffrey. Sometimes it's Juszczyk. Sometimes it's Debo. It doesn't matter. They put the same people in different positions, same formations. You never know what the fuck's coming. And here we go. You never know what's going to happen. But here, it's always going to this guy down here, right? Nope. We go to Debo. We walk in.
That's just Shanahan big brain stuff, right?
That's right.
It's just awesome.
That's calling a game, not calling plays.
It's exactly what we talk about.
Hell yeah.
There's a difference. There's a big difference when you're coordinated about calling a game and not calling plays.
Speaking of calling a game, Jalen called game, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great lead in there right there.
Thank you.
Game winner. Winner, chicken dinner. We get this. Hey, I think this is a cover zero check. I really do. Hey, we get down to the 10-yard line. We're going to go cover zero. You see this time and time again versus cover zero. They get these huge plays. And by doing this, hey, let's check draw. We'll get him motioned over here. You get one guy pulling out and kicking out the 25 off the edge and ear hole. Look at that ear hole. Folds him in half as Jalen just walks in for the game winner.
Brandon Graham knew it.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He called it.
He called it not only during the play or before the play was snapped, but while the field goal was happening for Buffalo in overtime.
Yeah.
We're about to win this, bitch. You don't know Jalen Hurts.
Put it in one's hands.
And then whenever this play happens, Brandon Graham on the sideline is like, oh, one's going to score a touchdown here. He knew because why? Because you think it was a cover zero check?
Yeah, I think, listen, McDermott knew he had to make a play here. Like, they're going to try and win the game after Buffalo already got the field goal, right? It's like, hey, they're gonna score. They have to score a touchdown. They're going to end it right now. They see cover zero. Hey, let's check to this. Boom, game over.
You think Sirianni kicks a field goal to tie that?
Oh, no way.
Chance.
No way.
If they're within the four and in,
Let's say they're at the 13.
Yeah, they have to.
Okay. How much time?
Fourth and what?
Yeah.
4th and 5 at the 13.
Have to.
You got 14 seconds left.
I think he's going.
You think
Going.
there's no way Sirianni plays for a tie ever.
We
And
don't
after
fucking play for ties around here, okay? We win fucking football.
Yeah, but at the end of the season for home field advantage, like a tie might end up helping you. You know that.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not bitch, so I'm trying to win football games, okay? I don't want to see 10-1-1 on my record ever, and then you never will see that on my record. We're winning football games.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Happy to hear that.
Can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. Which is pretty absurd.
I love what he just wins.
Yeah.
And they would have to do it against the Niners, which, hey, more power to them.
Find out.
I feel like this Niners team's coming in the buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm.
But the Philadelphia Eagles sees everybody buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Every game's a big game when you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Absolutely. And
That's how
if
it
you
goes.
think that Sirianni's been talking shit, a bunch of shit, like in these last couple weeks, wait till Sunday.
They beat the Niners.
Oh, my
Where's the game at?
God, in
Philly.
Philly. He's going to be
in the tunnel.
Underdog.
Yeah.
They're home dogs. This is the number one team
Philly
in the
is
NFC, and they're
home
home
dogs.
dogs.
Would they be all right without Lane Johnson? Potentially.
It says Lane's going to play, right?
Oh, okay.
I think I read that.
Okay. Hey, listen. Sounds good to me.
I think he's supposed to play. But anyways, we saw this guy last week.
What's
This
his
is
name?
2 weeks in a row. Biotish from Wisconsin. It's another Wisconsin center that they go after.
I think he's a Tyler, actually.
Tyler is right. Now check this out. This is
no.
unfair. It's,
Oh,
it's
no.
unfair.
Oh.
Darius, it's unfair. It's unfair.
We got to go low. We got to go low.
And he doesn't even use his head, I don't think.
Player safety.
Clean it.
That is
Player
nice.
safety.
That's good, clean football.
We just throw a guy 15 yards. No big deal.
Guys used to fall on us too, so that was good.
I mean,
6'3".
Why don't guys? Why do guys decide to fall on them and rub their stuff all over them?
well, we're going to get a little bit of that after this because we got two nice plays. Look at this. I mean, just keep running. He
just
looked
a
at him.
shove.
Just a shove.
Why he let 5'7" go though?
Where's 5'7"?
The guy that actually made the Barton.
Oh, let's see.
He
Let's
goes-
see. Let's see. Let's see.
You need a pancake.
He lets him go. Goes after the little guy.
Nice.
Right there.
Wow.
Get in right behind him. Right behind him. Boom.
So, listen, I don't even think he looked at Barton. I don't even think he looked at him. He said, man, fuck it, I'm going to that guy the whole time. He said, it's over. I'm going right to the seat. Boom. See you later. He still got +5. That's a
57,
win.
what are you talking about? I got knocked on. Somebody else should have had him. You see what
Somebody
I mean?
else should have had him.
This guy, big money, right?
Hey, Chris Lindstrom. Gotta love him. Yeah, big money guy. We talked about this before the show. I think they paid him $5 for, I could be wrong on this number, but it's over $100 million. 5 years, $100 million.
For a guard.
For a guard, which they've invested heavily. Obviously, they run the ball down there with Coach Artie Smith. But I don't think you guys understand how hard this is, these one-on-one blocks in the zone, because he can make this cut anywhere. The minute he makes this cut, he has to have enough balance to be able to turn it up vertical, and then he just buries them.
Damn.
Jeez.
Like a one-on-one bury like that in the zone scheme is so hard because so many times these guys have their eyes on the backfield. When they go to push back and make that play right there, they make the play because you're running the zone and you get thrown by as an offensive lineman. But his ability to stay connected and push vertical, incredible. Now, same game. This guy had about 7 or 8 of these. I only picked 2 of them. Watch this deuce block. We're going to take him off the screen. We put him in an arm bar. We fucking bury him like it's a UFC cage match here. Watch this. Let's just continue this. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Boom!
Jeez.
Deuce block.
It's 2-on-1.
Playing 3 technique sucks. You got to take it on doubles like that.
Yeah, guy's getting double teamed.
Yeah, it's called a deuce once again because this would be called.
Well, so if this guy was down here and it was guard center here to the play side, it'd be an ace. Play side here would be a deuce. Play side back here, they typically call that a tray. Then you have a quad, and then over here you either have an A, B, C. Some people call it scoop, slip, combo.
Oh, of course.
So we got all kind of names. There's a big glossary of index on the O-line.
Yeah, and all it is 2 bodies on 1 body.
Yeah, so they're deucing, they're scooping. There it is. And now look, he just keeps punching and punching. Watch him keep working that inside leg. Keep working that inside leg. Punch. Oh, man.
Look at Honey Badger. If you watch Honey Badger, he dodges the 2 and then turns around like, Jesus Christ, they just killed that guy.
I'm happy that's not me.
He's bottom left.
Honey Badger had a day. Honey Badger had a day.
Dodge block.
2 of them things.
And turn around right here.
Oh, come on. That's dirty. That's dirty. Look at the last frame.
He's trying to break his
Look
arm.
at him. He's trying to.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. What is that, AQ?
I mean, that's
it's a man's game.
Do that.
Hey, listen.
It's a violent game.
Don't play in the trenches if you don't want to have that happen.
Jeez. I mean, my guy died.
Negative yardage play, though.
The play's over.
Hey, don't worry about the result of the play. We're worrying about what happens later on in the game. This guy's pissed every time he's got to take a deuce block the rest of the game.
The play is over. It's over.
Clearly, there's no whistle because they're still going. Offensive linemen are taught, go to the whistle, be a pest, be a gnat, be everything.
Yeah, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, in the trenches. Jason Kelsey was chit-chatting on a local radio show in Philadelphia about what happened with the defensive line, Jordan Phillips, and we obviously saw a couple great plays there by Jason Kelsey. He was talking about, maybe a little dirty play happening in the Eagles-Bills game.
Whoa. What the heck was going on with Jordan Phillips, their D tackle, going after Cam Jurgens? I mean, like going full speed, not backing off, just trying to crush him. What's the deal with that?
Well, I think the one play was a quarterback sneak. And, I think teams are really, trying to stop that play. They talk about it all week. I'm sure they label it as some type of, level of toughness to stop the play.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was bullshit at the time. I really did. And I said so to the official on the field. I said, listen, I've been running that play a lot of years. I have seen people jump off sides. He made zero effort to stop after he jumped off sides.
Absolutely.
He purposely tried to hurt Cam Jurgens.
He did.
I thought it should have been a personal foul, and I think he should be fined for that play. Now, I'm not going to comment on the rest of the game. There were things happening with the fans. I don't know what happened that got him that fired up, but I thought that play in particular was absolutely a disgrace that the NFL should not allow. I really do. And I don't know Jordan Phillips. He might be the best guy in the world. But that, in my opinion, the NFL needs to do something about because that shouldn't be allowed in this game.
Yep.
At this level, I thought the officials did not do a good job of officiating that play.
I agree.
I really did.
That was
I think
a travesty.
that was so clearly not a offside.
John.
That was a personal foul.
Yeah.
And it should have been stipulated right from that moment. And because they didn't call that, you saw things happen throughout the rest of the game.
Okay, so setting the tone is what Jason Kelsey's talking about. Here's the play that he is referring to. It was a brotherly shove where Jordan Phillips jumped offside and continued to run his feet all the way back, and the ball was clearly not snapped. AQ Shipley, we'll go to you now, obviously, because you're a man who appreciates the trench warfare. Vita Vea is the man for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who defeated the brotherly shove earlier this season. What Kelsey said there, is there just honor amongst the trenches, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do? Because he said that was disrespectful to the NFL pretty much.
That's 100%. He's 100% right. That's bullshit. I mean, you just can't let that happen. It's one of those plays where, you can jump off sides, but the minute you know as soon as you make contact, it's offsides. Just fucking shut it down.
D-Butt, what are you thinking from the defense side? Oh, okay. All right.
We just saw a guy try to fucking snap his shoulder off. 15 yards past.
Yep. Was the play still going?
We don't know.
Was the play still going?
Hey, that play right there, 4th and 1, and Kelsey knows this. That was a tone setter. Look, we're going to send this tone. Sometimes you play certain quarterbacks, maybe banged up. Hey, we're going to hit him low or whatever. You're going to get a personal foul, and we're going to go about the game. And come on, man. Wasn't Kelsey? I love Jason. Didn't Colts and Philly have a joint practice where it was?
What? I don't remember that.
He got
He did, he's fiery.
I think he had Zaire Franklin late.
80 plus 65 plus 30s, 170, 184. Fuck, Jordan Phillips set the tone, man. They only fucking gave up 185 yards rushing.
Hey, it ain't work.
Set a hell of a tone. Set a hell of a tone. Set a hell of a tone. Good job, man. Crushed it.
AJ, what are your thoughts on that? Jason Kelsey is not normally going to say that type of thing either, by the way. That's very abnormal, I think, for Jason Kelsey and any offensive lineman to kind of say. So it must have been more throughout the game that was happening where he was like, this guy, no, wait, hey, come on. We're kind of, this is the NFL type of thing. How do you feel about it, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, I get, there is it is a big fraternity in the NFL. People legit are not trying to hurt players. You're trying to annihilate them, but you're not doing things late and cheap to hurt players. There is a respect thing. I get it. Games get fired. He just kept his legs going. I understand why Kelsey is upset 100%. But also, if that's a D lineman on my squad, I'm not too upset with him. I'm thinking, all right, okay, bud. Now we got to stand up and actually stop the run, though. Right?
Now they know what we're about.
He did have 2 false starts on that last drive in regulation, so it could have worked. Maybe it did.
Oh, got him a little bit gunsh.
Yeah, he was jumpy, jumpy with that hand.
Jordan Phillips fought a fan.
Yeah, he was riled up.
Got everybody fired up.
You're not stopping that play anyway, so shit.
Well, Vita Vea did. I saw Vita Vea in real life this weekend. That's hilarious. His calves, bro. I'd say they're 8-pound bowling balls. You know, you go to like a bowling alley, and they have the different size balls and everything. I would say 8-pound bowling balls are what each of his fucking calves are. It was right in front of me. I'm 10 yards away. I took photos. I'll send a photo. It's kind of weird photos I took, to be honest. I just why I didn't post them.
Well, you never
Because I'm
seen them
zoomed in on this guy's fucking calf. I'm like, look at this thing's calves. And then you see, and I'm saying I don't know. Vita, he's 3 people wide.
Oh, yeah.
He's 3 people wide, and his calves are literally the size of your quads. And then he's just moving all over. And then we watch his high school. He was a running back.
Yes, he was.
Crazy.
He's 101, and he's the one that defeated the brotherly shove this year. And that's what every D-line and defense coordinator, to Jason Kelsey's points, like, Vita stopped it. So are we going to be the team that's going to stop it or not? Or are we just going to let Jason Kelsey and Jalen Hurts crowd surf over our backs like they do to every other team? And it seems like more often than not, they're getting surfed.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the way brotherly shove football goes, baby.
The way Vita, too, was lining up sometimes when he was right over the center. Like, obviously, you know, you talk about Nick Bosa being a jungle cat, being 2 yards. He's just like almost like a sumo wrestler stance, like squatting down. It must just be impossible to move him. If he's lined up like that, how the hell can you do it?
Oh, Vince Wilfork. You ever played against Vince?
Yeah, him too.
Oh, yeah. I played against Vince.
He
was a monster.
I just sent the
Casey
photo.
Hampton.
I just sent the photo in that I took, so it should be in the group text here in a matter of moments. He's fucking gigantic. I took a full photo because you can clearly see him in the full photo with how wide he is. I've never seen anything like it. I was so pumped to just see it because we've had a chance to have him on the show, but when he's FaceTiming, look at those fucking things.
Baby.
Crazy.
Look at those things, dude.
He's got great feet as well. That's the thing. His feet are like he moves like he's a DB almost.
What was he calling?
Big baby?
Big girl.
Yeah.
Big girl. So he was close enough. I guess that's what he was calling in Dominican Sue. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what he said on our show. And in FaceTime, I don't think you get the full effect of how big of a human he is. But whenever he was like close, I was almost like marking out like, hey, big girl. And then I didn't want to, have him get offense, especially after seeing him in person, how big he is. So, I'm just going to shut the fuck up. I'm just going to let that thing do its thing. He's a beast.
Monster.
Is he
Absolute monster.
What, like Haloti Ngata, right? At some of those D-tackle positions throughout the history. You obviously brought up Casey Hampton, old buddy, Vince Wilfork.
Gilbert Brown.
I watched Vince Wilfork.
Sean Rodgers.
Albert Hainsworth.
I watched Vince Wilfork hit Donald Brown one time.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know how Donald got up. Donald thought he was free, so he's running full speed. He's like this, and this thing came from the side and just we turned that son of a bitch sideways. Yeah. And it was like, that was, oh my God. I said, and Donald hopped right up because he's a stallion and a dog and everything like that. But that was when Vince was just starting to get all the love and accolades at the end of his year, where they were talking about he swims. That's how he stays in shape. He doesn't run anymore. And he's obviously an incredible cook. He took over games for the Patriots there for a bit.
Oh, yeah. He was a big part of that early run. But I've never seen a man move other, like, grown men in the like people, they would double team, deuce, whatever, and that shit would just not move. And then when I first got there, it was him and Richard Seymour.
Oh yeah,
he was like the 5 technique, so he was another just grown ass man amongst men. Albert Hainsworth, when he wanted to play, when he had to turn it on, he was unbelievable.
Vince is the butt fumble. The reason the butt fumble happened is because Vince Wilfork couldn't move him, and then obviously Sanchez is coming to the line, and Vince Wilfork just pushes the dude into Mark Sanchez fumble.
Yeah, it was like whenever you punt and the gunner tries to throw the corner into the returner, which is a great strategy and a good move. Vince Wilfork used to do that to offensive linemen.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to throw him into the running back. Okay, I'm going to make a tackle here. Did you and Vince ever dance?
Oh, yeah.
How'd that go? So what did you just said, I'm going to get my Rydell right underneath his chin.
Listen, I've played against so many of these big guys. It's like you just have to know what you have to try and run zone plays to get them moving, because you can't. If you try and run the duo scheme or anything downhill at them, they just sit there and take up space, and you can't move them. So it's like you try and get them moving to let them run themselves out of the play and hopefully cut behind it.
Use their leverage a little bit.
Bingo.
That's what's crazy about, like, Vince and definitely Vita. Like, those zone plays now, their feet are ridiculous.
There was a couple plays where I think Vita wasn't necessarily attempting to slaughter somebody, and it was like those were obvious. But then, like, whenever they needed one, it was like, here we go. This is there's about to be a display of strength here that I don't think we have in many places. So congrats to the big guys doing their thing, and congrats to us getting a chance to give away maybe 20 people $500.
Wow. Hell yeah.
All AQ Shipley's got to do is something. AQ, what do you want to do? You want to throw a football, shoot a basketball, maybe make some putts?
Putt again.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we can turn
Didn't he make 8 out of 8? 8 out of 8 putts last time?
No more
I
putt.
believe he was 1 of 7.
I felt great watching.
Made the first one, though, didn't he?
Is that one back on?
Yep. Talk. Nope.
No.
No, it's not. He's got to hit the.
You got to turn it back on.
Where's that antenna? Leave your shirt over the antenna, let it out.
Yeah, let the antenna breathe, maybe.
Thank you, Butts.
Super fashionable.
That better? We better? We back? We
There
back? We back?
you go.
There you go.
I'm just going to hold it like this.
So the issue is, it's like that mic would be good for you when you were fat.
Yeah.
Because it would sit up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now that thing's going all the way down in between your chest, you know what I mean?
Hello.
Because you got that little baby neck.
Yeah.
Hello.
So did you get all new clothes, AQ?
Yeah, I literally donated 6 trash bags to Goodwill.
This is GQ Shipley now. And what are you going to do? You're going to throw that football into that ball hoop right over there?
Into that hoop.
Have you been practicing throwing the football around?
Nope.
In the Ferragamo.
Okay.
Those are Ferragamo. She's got a Louis belt on too right now.
Wow.
What happened to you, man?
What happened?
Wow.
What do you mean?
This is from the playing days.
I'm proud of you.
I'm on the last hole, though. You guys know how to add holes to belts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to do that, I think.
You know what the right move is? You get a nail.
Get a nail.
Just go right through it?
Yeah.
All right.
Because every once in a while, you'll take scissors. You're like, I got it.
And a phrase?
And I'll jam this thing in there, and then you bend it all, and it gets terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to take a nail, hammer and nail.
Perfect. That's what I'm doing.
Stacking them bales. Hold up. Darius knows that song. He was starting to sing with us.
Yeah.
What is the song?
I just need like 4 more words.
What?
Fucking dog tired by the
5 o'clock hour, and I'm ready to raise some hell.
Don't know.
getting ready.
Yeah.
Who's that?
FGL?
Gassing up the Chevy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Who is it?
FGL, I
Yeah,
believe.
Florida Georgia Line.
It is.
Wow. They didn't crack my top 5 on Spotify.
No.
They didn't crack it.
Good top 5.
Mine?
Good top 5.
Yeah, I got a very
range,
solid
the
top.
range.
Yeah.
I got to check mine. Is
GZ1.
it out on Spotify today?
Yeah, your wrapped up thing. And thank you to everybody that had us as their top podcast. Listen, I forget that the show is a podcast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But there's a lot of people listening. I think we're top 5 sports podcasts on Spotify.
We are.
Sweet.
Which is wild to think about.
That's cool.
We love it. We appreciate everybody that listens. New Heights, #1. Pardon My Take, #2. Bill Simmons, I believe, was #3. FF Baller, that's the fantasy footballers, I believe. And then us sitting there at 5. Look at us.
Wow.
Let's go.
Podcast.
Forget about that a lot.
What?
The podcast.
No.
I really do.
Ty, every day.
Thanks, asswipe.
No, I know it exists.
Sit right next to you.
I forget.
Ty uploads that thing every single
people
day.
actually listen to that and not the live show.
Which we appreciate.
I obviously see it every day.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm just saying. I forget people consume that way.
Thanksgiving was last week. Why don't you be grateful for your toxic table compadre, Ty Schmidt?
A lot of people still listen to the podcast, actually.
I know a lot of people have never seen video of the show.
Wow.
I see. That's
Same.
I know nobody that's never seen video.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know people that only listen in their car to the podcast.
So we'll go out to like when we do those shows on Fridays when we run into people, and I'll meet somebody and I'm like, hey, what's up? They're like, hey, big fan, man. Listen to the podcast every day going to work and coming home from work, whatever. And I'm like, all right. Thank you for doing that. Ty works really hard on that thing every single day. There's a lot out there I'm learning today because the Spotify thing, this wrapped up. Today has been a big learning
I found
day.
out this is like a big, like, in the office.
Construction workers, too.
Puts it up in the office.
Huge.
Podcasts?
Yes.
Construction workers?
Yes.
Because it's audio only, so you can't, you got to use your hands.
Yeah, you can still listen all day long.
Hey, shout out to those construction workers out there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's better not to see us anyways. Except for AQ. This guy looks good.
Hell yeah.
This guy's super dressed up, super nice.
Don't look
That was cool.
Who's got a better closet? You or Darius right now, you think?
Darius, for sure.
I
Because
don't
I only
know.
got like 7 things. No, I mean, this is I've wore this twice, I think, already on the show.
Kayfabe. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that. People forget what you wore last week.
I had no idea.
You know what needs to come back, though, now that it's colder weather?
What's that?
Community sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'd maybe throw that one in the old garbage bag.
I think you should go fuck yourself.
Oh,
jeez.
2 days in a row.
Jeez.
What's that about, AQs?
All right. On that note,
Here we go. I'm going to make it today.
if AQ, GQ, can bury this football into that hoop right over there. 20 people, $500. Going into the holidays, it'll be a great little boost.
Come on, AQ.
AQ, do it for the people after a great in the trenches.
For the
today.
community. For the community, AQ.
That's what I'm talking about, Gumpy.
For everybody.
Way to join in.
AJ, anything to say to AQ before he takes his GQ shot here?
I think he's going to bank this first one.
Let's go, AQ.
So we're going bank, huh? Come on. Go bank.
20 people, $500. Put it in the hole.
Okay, here we go.
Super Bowl champion.
Oh, man. That was close.
He was going for
Right
the
on
hoop,
line.
and then AJ said bank. So he kind of got caught in the middle there.
Yeah.
This one, he's going to be decisive, and it's going to fall. And when it falls, GQ Shipley, 20 people, $500. Top 10 college football program alum, Penn State Nittany Lion, Super Bowl champion, being a hero.
Oh, man. Look good. This is right on.
Right on.
The line is good.
Line is good.
Today has become Primate Wednesday. We've been talking a lot about macaques and orangutans and chimpanzees.
Yep.
And any monkey that exists out there.
The whole umbrella.
Miss you, Harambe.
Rest in peace to Harambe.
Yep. Yeah.
Our own vanilla gorilla here. A man who is as wide as he is tall. Can bury a shot here, and 20 people can win $500. Hey, Cush, you train in a billionaire's basement for this moment right here. Your mental toughness of being a Super Bowl champion is going to come through. Connor's going to tell you a couple things to focus on this particular throw, actually.
Yeah, AQ, look, your shoes aren't really as great as everyone talks about.
Thanks.
You haven't really thrown a football in this office really ever. You can't really make putts. Your basketball shot isn't very good right now. But none of that matters. Just this throw right here matters.
Okay, perfect. I got it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
20 people, $500 with the actual albino.
That was the worst one by a mile.
Connor, your pep talk stunk.
Dude, what do you mean? I hyped you up so much you almost threw it over the fucking hoop.
Is this the one?
You're an NFL guy. Why don't you turn around and look at your kin?
I mean,
That does look like you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had a chest like that.
He's
still.
got your goatee and everything.
Yeah, kind of your facial expressions.
That Belichick build.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Hey, Q, why don't you talk to GQ and AQ right here?
can you put your hands like that?
In the face. In the
Lean
face.
over.
We need the
Can you
face.
lean over a
We
little
need the
bit?
face,
Yeah,
too.
lean. A little lean.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, perfect. Thank you. This show does stuff no other show will do.
About the one. All right.
Hey, so
I'll go this way.
Which
I think
way?
this way.
So you're going to throw
Okay.
all those balls at one hoop, and then you're going to change balls and switch hoops.
Yeah, because I remember it. I remember the last good pep talk I got was that the way that the ball goes, it comes back in off the bank this way.
Okay,
Easier,
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Are you fucking lying to me?
No, this is just like the field goal kickers every single Saturday. I look at them. Have you ever kicked anything before? No. Okay, you toe bashing this thing? Are you just going to toe bash it? No, soccer style. You should toe bash it.
Yeah.
No, I'm a soccer style. Okay. All right. What the fuck do I know? All right. I actually, Randy Bauman, I believe, at DVE, he put out a tweet this past weekend, DVE back in Pittsburgh. He goes, McAfee's got to be telling these people they can't toe bash it or whatever. It's like complete opposite, Randy. I want to let you know, I just saw the tweet within the last day or so. I'm telling you, one guy had shit kicking boots on with a straight front.
Oh, man.
Like old school.
Bash that all day long, man.
Dude that has half a
toe?
foot. The
Yeah.
dude that had
Yeah.
George Blanda.
Blanda.
There it is.
Like he actually, this one kid had shit kickers on that had the flat front, and I'm like, this is perfect for a toe bash. He goes, no, I'm getting my friend's shoe. And I'm like, to do what? You know, I'm a soccer style kicker. I'm like, you should toe bash.
I told the kid at JMU too. Just toe it. Just toe bash it.
We've tried. So what I'm saying is I've tried to help these people win legitimately every single time. Now that's supposed to be Herbie's job. Herbie instead has turned into these guys got no fucking shot. He rules them out before they even step up to the entire thing. I'm like, Herbie, you're supposed to be babyface here. I'm supposed to be the guy that's mad. And instead it turns into Herbie going, this guy sucks. And then I'm like, just you swing hard, dude. Just try and make contact here and do this whole thing. I'm very appreciative of all of them, but they need to toe bash it.
I agree.
You have to.
So when I'm giving tips, I'm trying to help people win. That's what I genuinely would like.
That's why I'm going this way.
Because I don't want any excuses. You know what I mean? I want it to be fair and square. I want you to have every opportunity to win 20 people $500
Here we
with
go.
that Duke right there that was kicked off to myself in a game.
Houston Texans.
It was filled back then, that stadium.
Yeah, never again.
You put it into that hoop, 20 people, $500.
There we go.
AQ, be a hero on this November 29th. Going into the holiday!
I didn't even look. Wow. I wasn't even watching.
Didn't even hit the backboard. He hit the metal around.
Of course. Good hoop switch.
Hit some putts.
Oh, the bag.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Going for the hoop.
We have some breaking news. Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns said Joe Flacco will be the backup this weekend to DTR, who is currently in the concussion protocol. If DTR can't go, Flacco would get the start.
Yes.
For his former rival. Obviously, he's a Baltimore Ravens hero.
Our boy Joey.
He's a member of the Cleveland Browns. Congrats, Joe Flacco. Back in the conversation. He'd be a great quarterback for that Browns team.
Can't wait.
That was a great deep ball.
Yeah.
A lot of this.
Yep.
A lot of this. And when you get them sucked up,
Great deep ball.
Joe can hit any ball that you need. With that defense and how great they are, and I'm not saying DTR is not able to do this. We hope DTR is healthy and good luck to him. But if Joe Flacco is a starting quarterback in 2023 for the Cleveland Browns, that's must watch.
Yeah.
And I'm pumped up about it.
Absolutely.
AJ, any thoughts on footsteps, Joe Flacco potentially being a starting quarterback in 2023?
I mean, honestly, it makes sense. Think about Flacco surrounded with a great defense and then surrounded by a lot of talent on offense. Joe Flacco seems like the perfect candidate for this job right now.
And we've had him on the program one time.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? This is what he said?
Yeah. Hey, it's Joe Flacco.
Seemed like a super cool guy.
He did.
Everybody seems to really like Joe Flacco.
I didn't realize he was wearing 15.
Doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
It doesn't matter what number it is. The only thing that matters is that he has a helmet on his head and a ball in his hand.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
That's called heaven with Joe Flacco.
Yep.
Welcome back, Joey Flack.
Welcome back, Joe.
Sorry, Mahomes. Got a new 15 in town.
1.5 is a real deal. Hey, kid, I see you're about to fuck around with a little cornhole. Is that what I saw there?
I had a bag.
Before we were breaking some news, you walked right through the shot.
Yep.
Yeah, where we throwing?
I mean, can you get one of those to the hoop?
I don't even know if we have the cornhole board set up.
Throw it in the hoop. Throw it in the hoop.
Yeah, all right. If you put the cornhole bag into that hoop, 25 people, $500.
Go ahead. Jackass.
Ooh.
Oh, we're close. We are close.
Right
now, with how easy that was, and now the thought that is certainly attainable, we'll make it 30 people.
Okay.
$500.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All you got to do is bury that cornhole bag into that hoop right over there on this November 29th, heading into the holiday season. Be a hero, AQ Shipley.
Bank.
Oh, no.
This guy sucks.
This guy stopped working out, too. There's another bag right there.
Where?
Right
in front of your face.
Left.
Left.
I got 2 more bags I found.
Top of the desk.
3 more bags I found.
There you
Here
go.
we go.
Won't need it.
I think you got to go to that one. though.
Nope, I think. You think that one?
I think so. I mean, this seems too easy. I mean,
Yeah,
just as somebody who has thrown bags with you before, feels like that was a little bit too easy. Don't you think?
I was pretty good at the cornhole.
You were pretty good. That's why I think like that was pretty simple.
All right, let's
you
go.
should have made that, by the way.
3. I should have 3 to this one.
Yeah, you got one. All you do is make one
Okay.
into that hoop over there.
Come on.
Okay.
And 30 people win $500. AQ Shipley, formerly a very good cornholer. Oh,
And there you know.
this is the right one. Is AJ? How are you at cornhole?
Pretty darn good. And man, if I understand AQ stepping with the right foot because that is kind of proper, cornhole technique. But when you have to go this far, I might go left foot forward, get a little push off so I can get some distance on it.
AJ, you're a good cornholer.
I had the distance.
Oh, yeah. That's how I pay my rent in college, by dominating people in cornhole.
Oh, did you guys have it in the Packers locker room?
No, we never had it there. I just played it all through high school and college.
When it got introduced into the Colts locker room, boy, that was the first time I played. I love that game.
So fun.
That is a great game. And if you don't have any meetings or anything to worry about, you can play a good 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you can get real good. Real good. And this is a sport that basically every town you go to in the Midwest, some kid there thinks he's the best cornhole player of all time.
For sure.
And you can you said you paid your rent. I had a good time for a couple of years there making some money on the old cornhole boards. There's no way that doofus football player can throw those too, right? Yes. At some point, I will be in that cornhole league as well.
ACL?
Yeah. They've invited me a few times because I've spoke publicly about my love for cornhole and at one time how good I was at cornhole. But I believe that to be in the professional league of cornhole, you have to focus on that.
All in.
There is levels to this shit. There is certainly a difference between being an okay cornhole player and being a precision thrower. So until I have the time to focus a couple hours a day on my cornhole throwing, I will not dive back into the world.
Yeah.
But boy, when I was a professional athlete,
you were good,
and I didn't have shit to do during the day, I got pretty good with those bags.
Agree.
I felt real good about it. Now, should I have watched more film? Maybe. Maybe that's why Shane Leckler deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. But those were good times back then, AQ. And you were a great player.
Yeah, we used to be teammates a little bit.
Yeah, that was the right place to be in that locker room.
Yeah, it was.
Yep, certainly. Me and Dwight Freeney.
Yeah.
He was not that great.
No, he lost potato chips. I don't know if we're allowed to say it.
Never with me.
Nope. All right.
No.
Okay. You really threw off.
Last one, you can do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley berries.
Did that go in?
No, it didn't.
I think that might have went in.
It might have.
It didn't.
No,
I think it went in.
It selling it.
Swoosh. Nothing but net.
Unfortunately, it did not.
Can we get an instant replay? Did that go in?
AQ.
I thought it may have. It may have. Honestly, AQ.
I agree, AJ.
I've saw what you saw. Like, is there a chance that thing slid through?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because where you banked it at feels like it should have went in.
Yeah.
Math says, science says that one should have went in the hoop, but I think it went on the other side.
Oh, not even close.
You're just being foolish.
You're just being foolish?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
That was a good one.
All right. That was an embarrassment.
AJ really screwed you up because you stepped with the right again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I get it. You don't want to change it up right there, but that's a long throw. It's a long toss.
All right, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
What about the hoops? What about
Make
the
a
hoops?
putt. Make a putt.
He can't. That won't fucking happen. What about the hoops?
You want the dorsal fin?
Oh, yeah.
Came close.
He did, actually.
Calibrate it.
We are trying our best to have you be a winner.
I'll putt too.
That is
Here it is.
not
Your
a good-
slow-mo on your last attempt. Oh, we got promise. We got hope. Bank.
Oh, it hit the.
Yeah, it's
No.
near,
No.
It was
Thing on
further
the
away
back.
than any. Maybe your worst one yet. Have a good one, Frankie boy. Congrats on everything. Now, AQ, if you can bury that dorsal fin into that hoop over there, 50 people, $500 on this glorious.
Come on.
Winter Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. Oh my! You throw that ball well.
Yeah, he's one of the best dorsal fin throwers on the planet.
Yeah, that's going to be it for today. That's going to be it for today.
What a day.
For who?
Everybody.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Positivity.
Oh, fuck. And that's
I
that.
mean,
Good toss, though.
yeah.
Oh! Come on!
There's one more. There's one more right there. There's one more right there. Underneath.
Right in front of you. Right in front.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
Oh! Tough day.
Yeah.
Not a single thing was made.
I know.
Oh, you got a college football national championship football right there.
Got a graveyard out here. Look like AQs.
Another one.
Flat ball, that's tough.
Tough one. Yep. Oh.
Well, sorry about it, people. That's
We
just how it
tried.
goes.
We tried.
Throwing everything possible.
God.
This wasn't because of lack of effort, all right, guys?
People are going to judge us for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Dude Perfect would never.
Well, we miss 100 shots today?
Should we rewind the tape? Do it 87 more times?
Let's get out of here. All right, we apologize for not being able to win anything for anybody anywhere. Speaking of winners, we got to announce all the winners from this past week. It's coming up here in the graphic as soon as we get out of here.
Yep.
There it is. There's one of them. We'll be back tomorrow. Big time show.
Huge.
Week 13 kicks off.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good game, too.
Let's go. Cowboys Seahawks tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's go. We're going to win for people tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. This is a good thing. Chuck Pagano tomorrow, he's going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to win for the people.
Yeah.
AQ, great work today on Any Trenches.
Great work.
Work, dude.
Darius, great work this week, pal.
You too.
Really great work. Toxic Table, way to go today.
Yeah, you, Pat.
With that
You
elephant
work,
shirt
Pat.
on and the Hawkeyes. Oh, as
yeah.
we sit right now, Ty, what do you think the final score is?
A little bit different than yesterday. I like the Hawks 12-7.
Ooh.
Oh,
12-7.
that's a much different game. 4 field goals?
That's right.
You're going to be like Chicago Bears?
Bingo.
You know what? If this goes in, you're right.
Okay. I guess 14-10. Okay.
Good to know.
44-10.
Oh, we're going to steal one. I really tried to.
Iowa, yeah, offensive explosion.
AJ, great work today.
AJ.
Boys in the back, way to go. All right, for the holiday season, team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Goodbye.